for Royals baseball in Kansas City.
A little bit high, throw down, and it's wide, and Bobby has 30 steals in his rookie season.
610 Sports Radio, KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty, always live on the free Odyssey app.
Welcome to Cody and Gold on 610 Sports Radio. On today's show, reliving the sights and sounds of opening day. The Royals offense falls flat versus Minnesota and the Final Fours this weekend, and nobody wants to go. Now, two guys whose optimism for baseball season was fun while it lasted. Cody Tapp and Alex Gold.
Speak for yourself, man. Speak for yourself. Still
going to go 161-1 now, right?
Yeah, I saw Alex
Nick,
throwing his new powder blue Royals hoodie into a charcoal grill in the parking lot after the game.
Oh, man.
Just let it go. He spent whatever it cost. It really has to get. He's like, this is bad luck.
It's funny you say that. I was trying to explain to my nephew, actually. I was driving home from the game, and I was calling, and my nephew was on the background, and he was, I guess, really upset about the Royals game. He's like, they got killed today. I'm like, one, it was 2-0, but I'm like, you realize the best teams in baseball, the best, are going to lose 50+ games.
How old's your nephew?
What's he? Is he 8 now? Yeah, I believe 8.
So you were breaking that down for him? Did that calm his nerves a
I don't
little
know
bit?
if he understood what I said.
And then he said, and the Easter Bunny's not real. Suck it up.
All I said was, I go, they're going to lose a bunch of games. I didn't want to go into the whole story like they're probably going to lose more than other teams. But I said, even
so here's the deal, Billy.
I said even the best teams that win the World Series, Daniel, I said they lose 50+ games a year. It's true. Think about that.
You should have said,
think about that.
Daniel, based their lack of investments in the bullpen and this infusion of youth.
You see, this is an evaluation year, and they're trying to figure out exactly what young pieces they could build around going forward. No, we did not have that in depth.
Early.
We did not have that in depth.
You might as well. If he's going to grow up a Royals fan, we're being his vocabulary.
Oh, here's the thing,
like
though.
He gets to be a Chiefs fan, and they'll just be at the top of the mountain forever, but that's just a joke.
Here's the thing. His sports fandom, and any kid for that matter under the age of 10, has been so spoiled. So he's a KU fan, okay? He's seen a national championship already. He's a Chiefs fan. He's had 2 rings since he's born, and he was born, I believe, right after.
So he doesn't remember. It's like me
World
with 85.
Series.
He doesn't remember the 2015 World Series.
Since he's been born, there's been 3 world championships for teams he roots for in this city, and 1 national championship with a college team that he likes. So, yeah. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. You guys have fun yesterday? I enjoyed it.
I did.
I enjoyed it because, one, it was just good to be back at the ballpark. It was nice weather. You get beer in hand. Multiple hot dogs were consumed. Nick, I was a little disappointed for someone that claims to be the Glizzy Gladiator. I did not see you consume a foot-long hot dog this year.
I did not. I didn't have any. It took me so long to get into the stadium that by the time I got in there, it was like almost the third. I think it was in between the 3rd and the 4th inning. So
is this the pitch clock's fault that you were missed so much of the game?
Infrastructure. Infrastructure is why we need a new stadium, guys. The kid couldn't handle the crowds.
Need wider concourses.
We waited in line for probably 30 to 45 minutes just to get into the stadium.
I heard that.
I was just kind of I went and got a beer and went.
I heard it took people a while to get in
it's shocking because when we were trying to get in like 2:15, it was easy.
But you know how that goes. People remember it's during the work week, still a day, and so people maybe couldn't get off work early enough, and so you're normally, let's be real, for a lot of Royals games, you can show up 10 minutes before and have no problem getting in. Opening day is the one exception. It was the first sellout at Kauffman since 2018 yesterday. So it was August against the Cardinals, and 2018 was the last sellout the Royals had. And yesterday was officially a sellout. Yeah, if you look at the photo right at opening day, there were plenty of empties, but I think that goes to Nick's point.
It just is taking people a while to get in.
Late arriving crowd. But it was great to be back out there. And a couple interesting things happened while we were there as well. One, Nick was very, very late.
I thought he wasn't coming.
We were worried you were going to bail on us. Even with the jersey that Rally House made for you, we're like, are you really not going to show up? And you ended up showing up in what? 3rd, 4th inning, something like that?
Like he said, it took him a little while to get in, so it was around there.
And someone, before you came to our seat, sent out a photo, and they said, we spotted him. People were spotting you in the crowd, Nick, waiting outside the stadium because of the jersey you were wearing.
Matter of fact, I have it on good authority that somebody, to try to get Nick's attention while he was waiting in line, yelled, "Hey, radio boy!" at it.
They yelled radio boy
Yeah,
at
that
you?
did happen. That did happen.
Hey, radio
Well, that's when we were
boy.
waiting in line. There was one point where we were waiting in line and we weren't moving at all. Like probably good 10, 15 minutes and just, I don't know what was going on. And I thought I'd heard somebody maybe say Pasquassi, but I thought that they were just reading the jersey because it's funny and it's not a real person.
Right.
So I thought they were just kind of like, what's that? And then somebody, very loudly screamed, hey, radio boy! And I turned around, there's like 3 or 4 guys just like, cheesing. Like, hey, what's up? Go Pasquassi!
It's fantastic.
Is that the only Royals jersey? Like, let's say you go to 5 games this year. You're wearing the Pasquassi jersey to everyone?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you should be wearing that for a very long time. So no, it's a. Both those players are hopefully with the organization for a while.
Both of them. I mean, it's a perfect jersey. So he showed up late. The Royals, unfortunately, only amassed 2 hits.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So the offense is broken.
Right.
How are they going to score runs now?
The entire AL Central scored 5 runs yesterday. The
What?
entire combined.
Oh, my
The
God.
division scored 5 runs.
Well, there were only 2 scored between the 2 teams that we watched yesterday.
Correct.
So, that's probably part of it, at least from a numbers perspective, for why it was so low. But it's funny because it's opening day, and last year it was Bobby Witt Jr. got on base, which set up he had the game-winning hit in the inning before, right, to set up the Royals to win it in 9 innings. So you're on top of the mountain, whatever. They won. They ended up losing over 90 games.
Yeah.
The first game is not going to deter my opinion on this. Greinke pitched well. That's good. The offense didn't show up. That's bad. But the game overall moved quickly, felt quickly. And, you made some money on the game, which I feel like is kind of nice.
I did. I hit 3 of my 4 bets. Treasure did not hit the home run at plus 850. It's a long shot for a reason. But we over 2.5 strikeouts for Greinke. Joey Gallo did not get a hit. Very fortunate to catch that bet. You see that one? It was a hit,
called an error.
and then they called an error, and that has to do with the shift going away. That's the only reason why that thing got called an error. It was very fortunate. So, yeah, we did good. That's what you mean, right? By making money yesterday. Yeah.
Well, that and other things. So we have to explain what was easily the most. I know there was 2 interesting things that happening on opening day at the station. One, you heard just about 20 minutes ago on the morning show, in which a gentleman refused
In our seats.
to leave our section full of Odyssey employees all sitting together.
Admitted he was in the wrong seat and still would not leave the section. Just flat out refused.
Wouldn't budge. Guy was comfortable, wasn't going to leave, and was willing to throw fist. The other interesting that happened was, it's about 1 o'clock. Alex and I are just wrapping up a segment, and a woman approaches the table, and she immediately catches herself. Sometimes people approach the table and they're like, they started talking to you,
on the air.
realized we were on the air, takes a step back and apologizes. She then, after we go off the air, I'm like, hey, what's going on? She begins to explain the problem she is having.
Nick's notable notes.
Which is that...
Way to go, Nick.
Doesn't matter. Which is that she can't bring her purse into the game. Now, many of us who have gone to games know that there's a clear bag policy, that you're not able to bring in a bag. I recognize the bag as being of nice... it's a fancy brand of bag. We can just say the brand. It was an Hermes bag, which most sports radio listeners probably don't care.
No, if it wasn't for you being there, I would have had no clue what that
Would you have known that it was pronounced that way?
No.
You just assumed it was pronounced Hermes?
You have a wife. I'm sure you've bought her such a nice bag.
An Hermes bag?
Yeah.
No, we don't make that kind of dough.
I'm sure you have, man.
But so we recognize she's like, I can't bring it in. What should I do? After a short conversation, we try to decide what the hell we're going to do this thing. And we're trying to be nice people, and we're like, it's fine. I offer to ship it. I'm like, look, I'll just ship it to you. It doesn't matter. Just leave it here. Like, I get it. They're out of town from Connecticut. They took an Uber there. They got nothing to do with this bag. And the exact statement she had made at the time was, my husband's not going to just let me throw this thing away.
Well, I would hope not.
Well,
I would hope
we
not.
looked the bag up.
You did.
It was over $4,000. That's how much the purse cost. $4,000. So Gold put a $4,000 bag in his purse because it turned out they were staying
in my car.
or in his car. Turns out
I didn't put the purse in my purse.
Yeah. Turns out they were staying not that far away from you, and you dropped it off at the hotel. And then what happened? You also went to a hotel late at night.
No.
How late was it?
At 8 o'clock in the drive-through, I dropped and returned the purse back to this woman who asked us to protect the purse.
What was it? Why do you think? What is a normal person to do in that circumstance?
What do you mean?
I think a lot of people just be like, "Look, lady, I can't help you with your purse." I don't know what to tell you about this thing. I don't know if you can just go to security and pay for some shipping or something, because I don't know what the policy is. And, like, when you have a bag that you can't bring into the stadium, is there a system in place to do something with it?
No,
I think
they're
everyone
not
else in the case might go back to the hotel. But that would have been a long drive back.
That's the issue. You're in from out of town. You didn't drive to the ballpark. You don't know anybody else around. What are you supposed to do? They're not going to hold the bag for you. It was fortunate that we happen to be broadcasting there. So very, very nice couple. The purse has been returned. So
I should consider selling it.
you would,
Yeah, you could have got $4,000 for that puppy.
They could have never. And the secondary market maybe $2,500.
At that point, Cody, it would have been pure theft. Never crossed my mind.
Prove it. Prove that I took
Proved
it.
what?
Prove it. Do you got a photo of me? Do you have a photo of handing me the bag?
One never would have done that.
To this point, we hadn't talked about it on the air.
One would never have done that in a million years. But the other part is she took a photo of the station and had my cell phone number, Cody Tapp.
Well, okay, so did you try to squeeze her for cash, Gold?
No, I handed her the purse.
You didn't walk in and say, man, is gas really expensive where you're from, too?
I handed her the purse, and she was super grateful. And then she had a folded up bill, and she goes, go get yourself a drink or something.
Did you try to say, oh, no, did you do that?
Wait, it was folded up like you were the help?
Whoa.
What she's supposed to hand? That. Yeah, please.
We don't say that here.
No, but it was the way folded up. It was like,
Cody,
it's like tipping a bartender.
I'm going to need you to take a breather because that was a little aggressive.
Okay, fine. I'll take it
Alex,
back.
did you try to rebuff and be like, oh, no, so unnecessary? You know that thing?
Oh, yeah, we all do that
That's
sometimes.
the move I go with whenever someone...
I did you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, take it.
But here's the side. It turns out.
I just like that whole interaction because we've all done that a million times. Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, that happened, and it actually turns out we didn't know this at the time until later in the conversation. But they actually were in town to support a friend of theirs
who may or may not
manage the Kansas City Royals. There you go.
The skipper?
They were friends with Q.
So they were best friends with the skipper.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got to be pretty good friends if you're going out to dinner with him.
Yeah.
The night he managed his first Major League Baseball game on opening day, and you flew in from, what was it, Connecticut?
So that's pretty cool. I mean, who knew? What chances of that happening?
I will describe them as being dressed like
Are you now best friends with the Royals manager?
I didn't talk to him.
You should have invited yourself to dinner.
Away.
Oh,
hey, can I get them dinner with you guys?
Cody. Yeah, I should have been like, by the way, since I returned your purse, invite me to dinner.
Where are you guys going? Where are you guys going to dinner?
Oh, my God, great spot. You got a chair?
Yeah. And the car's full. It's like, I love sitting in the middle. I do it all the time.
She did say, she said, when she said that when she was thinking about what to do with the purse, she said she looked over at our table and she said, they looked like really nice guys.
Wow. Little did she know.
Wait, you don't think we're nice? You don't think we're nice, Nick?
You don't think we're nice people? We helped this woman
Cody,
get her purse back. I offered to ship it back to her.
Cody, do you think if Nick was sitting with us that she would have said, I can't do it. Can't do it. Looks sketch. Do you think that's what would have happened?
What made us trustworthy? Just the fact that we were on the radio?
I'm sure that helped because public facing, there is some sort of accountability there. And, we look approachable. We're approachable people.
We look approachable?
Approachable people.
You don't think so, Nick?
No, Nick's probably not. Yeah,
I don't think
many
Nick.
times. I'll tell you this. I would have got more than $20.
So you would have saying you would have gotten more money?
I would have dangled it. We
didn't do it. We didn't do it for money.
Oh, little puddle.
What did you do it for?
We were being nice people.
We didn't know who they were.
We didn't know that they were friends with Q.
How far would you have been willing to drive?
Here's where it happened. Because initially we weren't. If they would have been in Liberty or something, I wasn't going to drive 45 minutes. Literally, the hotel was 8 minutes from me, guys. So that's why it happened. But before we even agreed to do that, or when we agreed to do that, we didn't even know who they were.
Originally I had offered to ship it. And then when it made sense to go it off because it was close to his place, we decided he would be the person who dropped it off.
I want to give you guys do have a history of having ulterior motives and always just sort of.
What do you mean?
Yeah, you guys.
Can you please give an example?
Yeah, there's too many to name. First off, but there's always.
Can you name one?
There's always something. We don't have time right now, but there's always something.
Okay.
Always something else going on. You guys are always scheming.
Show fund?
No.
See, there we go.
$20 show fund?
Yeah.
Let's get ourselves back in the black.
Wait, Gold. So are you sharing that money with Cody?
No. Did he drive to the hotel?
What? I was the initial person who agreed to help her.
That's not very selfless of you.
That's a good point, Nick.
Yeah.
Would you also like a cut?
So later on,
We're a team.
later on today during Club 610, I think we need to get more perspective on honestly, like what would you do if maybe your wife is in a similar position and the purse. You just ditch it?
Josh Klinger told us that his wife once just threw one away. I don't think it was I can't speak to their financial situation, but I don't think it was a $4,000 bag.
So we'll get to that during Club 610. The other thing I think everybody was paying attention to and will for the first couple months of the season, if not the full season, is the new rule changes, right? And the pitch clock in particular. And I will tell you this, getting out of the stadium other than the parking mess after the game, it was incredible to see how quickly the game moved, man. Only 5 of the 15 games yesterday across all of baseball went over 3 hours. Only 5 of the 15.
Did you see the score in 3 of those 5?
The score of the 3 of 5 were 10-9, 10-9, 11-7. That's why they went. That's the only reason why those went over 3 hours. Yesterday's game was quick, man. It was fantastic. Also, it was a low-scoring game, so that attributed to it. But the base was nice. Like normally, I can have the beer in the cup holder, pick up the beer, put it back in the holder, and I still got like 5 more seconds till the next pitch. Cody, I was barely getting the beer back down in the cup holder, man.
Couldn't get enough drinks.
That's how quickly things were moving along yesterday.
It's a very interesting measurement system you're using there. The beer to the cup holder
I'm pretty
ratio.
sure Rob Manfred in the league used the same type of measurement. We need to make sure that before the person puts the beer back in the cup holder, the next pitch has happened.
I was interested because I hadn't gone to any minor league games in which the pitch clock existed last year, so I wasn't really sure exactly how it was going to lay out. I didn't even notice the pitch clock. And maybe it's the particular angle in which we were sitting. Because if you were sitting like out in the fountain seats, or you were on that end, or maybe if you were a little higher, like if you were at a certain angle, maybe you could see it better. But from where we were sitting, you could barely notice it. And I was watching baseball the same way I normally watch baseball, which is the pitcher, wait for him to throw, turn your eye to go see if the hitter is going to, and then move on with your day, right? The pitch clock, you didn't even notice. It felt like, I think this Vern put it well. You know what it felt like? It just felt like a well-paced game. It just felt like one of those baseball games you're like, wow, this game's really kind of around. And for first of all, in our lives, I thought I would notice it more, but it barely even, which is great because in addition to that, you're not even going to feel like, but you're only going to notice it when you get to the ball or when you leave the ballpark, what time it is, how much daylight's left, how much time's left in your day. If you go to a game, let's say it's one of those 1:10 first pitches at Kauffman Stadium. Hell, you might be home before dinner. Like, there's plenty of times you and I have stayed for a day game. It's 1 o'clock, game goes to like 4:15, 4:30. Then you got to get out of the parking lot. It's like 5:30 by the time you get, and I get it. There's still time for that, but you might be home by 4:30 at this rate. The only insight I can see is if you used to be I'm going to arrive in the 3rd inning person to the ballpark,
right?
That's going to be tough. Because that game flew by at times.
Yeah, if you're a late arriving person to a ballpark, you're going to miss more game than you normally would. I would also say this, though, and you have kids, so maybe you agree or disagree with this. I would say if I'm someone that has kids and you're trying to go on a weeknight, the benefit now is you still might have to leave early, but before leaving early might mean you left in the 4th inning, Cody.
Yeah.
Now you leave early, you might leave in the 7th. Like I think that's a nice element to this as well. And I thought it was great. It's one game, but that was a heck of a showing across all the league that this isn't some fluky thing. Like it's going to be like this, I think, throughout the entire season and going forward. We're going to look back years from now and be like, what the heck took so long to do this whole pitch clock thing? I thought it was great. The other part is stolen bases. The change in the limits on pickoffs and also the size of the bases, which I'll be honest, watching the game, I didn't notice.
Couldn't tell. Not from
our seats. Now, when Cody's in his hoity-toity club seats or whatever, Crown Club
one time.
The Crown Club seats, you'll probably notice the size of the bases a little bit more than everybody else. But last year, on opening day, there were 5 stolen bases, 4 caught stealing, 56% success rate. Yesterday, 21 stolen bases in one day, 2 caught stealing, 91% success rate. Stolen bases are going way up this year, and it's not an overreaction after one game. I mean, that's pretty wild. 21 in one. Cody, it was only 5 in one day in opening day. You're getting 4 days worth of stolen bases.
You know why? Because the analytics people want to find out if it's actually worth it. Because like there's a just like anything else in baseball, there's a line threshold in which baseball teams are willing to steal. That's essentially what it is. It's not worth it unless you have X percentage chance to steal it, which means they factor in every other thing. how good of a runner it is, how often the catcher throws them out, the pitcher who's on the mound. So you only ran into these like, all right, once a game where it's worth even attempting a steal. The Royals operated a little bit less or a little more aggressively in that. That's the smallest of sample size, I will admit, because it's one game versus anything else. But I don't know, man. That's such a hop. I have to think that teams are actually going to take advantage of it because, like, I saw the number of like percentage of ground balls that turn into outs. Right, look, it's one day. There's no way I can take that one day in Major League Baseball and tell myself I'll factor it in just because there's a 5% decrease in the amount of outs to get there. But the stolen bases thing seems real. I think these changes for baseball are going to make it more fun, more action. That's all I'm asking for baseball. More balls in play, more, and more steals mean like more things are happening, more things to see, more, as you pointed out, you want to pay attention to while you're at the bar or watching the game on TV, assuming it in any particular way. So, not like a game. So, I liked the portion of it, which just made it feel very, quick and well-paced and fun.
A lot of people on the text line, Jay Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7610, mentioning, I've seen it a couple times pop up already about, hey, getting stuck in the food line. That's the only thing. Now, you get stuck in the food line or the beer line, you're going to miss a full inning or an inning or 2 innings in some cases. I would just say, like, that's just the way it's going to be. And I would also say the lines won't be as bad on non-opening day. You'll probably get through the line a lot quicker if you go to the game on Monday, let's say, or Tuesday of next week, which I just saw the Royals are doing some quick flash sale. You can get like $5 lower level tickets to the Toronto series next week.
$5
right now. They're doing a little flash sale. They just sent out a blast on that. Alpha View outfield tickets for the Toronto series.
Why'd you pick up a pair?
I mean, we have press credentials, so I'll probably just go sit in the press box.
But you could sit down with the people.
It's not fun. You can't drink up in the press box.
Cannot drink in the press box.
You can't cheer.
Can definitely not cheer in the press box.
I don't even think you're allowed to have fun.
Like it's forbidden? You think fun is forbidden?
Unless you just happen to stumble upon it in the line of work.
Nick, there's unlimited glizzies for you up there.
What is the most anybody's ever eaten during one game?
Oh, wow. Should we start setting you want to start setting records for the Royals press box for things?
No, because first off, I've never been in the Royals press box, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to eat more than like one. I'm a one dog guy. Now, I will snarf that thing down. I will inhale it.
And you prefer that?
But I don't want to go for a second.
Really? But you made a full one. That's essentially two.
I had 2 hot dogs yesterday. They were terrific. First,
Did you
2 hot
space it
dogs.
out?
No, I went and got the combo right away. 2 dogs and a bag of peanuts
and
a space camper.
And you just hammered them.
I inhaled I was starving at that point in time. Really, I was really hungry at that point.
So you got through the first one, and you were not slowing down at all.
I could have had a third.
Are you serious?
We got out to Kauffman Stadium. We were out at Kauffman Stadium. We got there like at 8:15 yesterday. And Cody, same boat. We were not able to eat during the show, right? So from 8 o'clock, 8:15 in the morning, didn't have anything. Next thing you know, it's 3 o'clock. Yeah, I was hungry. Yeah.
Did you eat something before you said?
No, I didn't. I was running late yesterday because we had to get out there a little bit earlier. So I didn't. Usually I would grab something from the convenience store or whatever.
Wait, but I've been told that there's a number of locations in which you could get food near the stadiums.
No, is that not true? It turns out that the current stadium has a gas station and a Taco Bell across
and
the
a Subway. There's a Subway connected to the gas station.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's important to note.
Yeah,
that's true. That's very true.
You could have gotten some gas station
I enjoyed
donuts.
A couple hot dogs, peanuts. Cody was freaking out that he couldn't find a bag of peanuts.
He had his face in Pete Sweeney's crotch just to get his peanuts.
Wait, excuse me?
You heard
Pete
me.
stole my seat.
Cody, there were plenty of seats around us.
My jacket was in it.
Oh, well, that's a little weird.
He just shoved him down to the ground, shoved my peanuts to the ground, stole my seat, and then I had to, I wanted them back.
And beer sales.
And then I shared some with Pete.
Beer sales went to the 8th inning yesterday. That's the new rule.
I love that.
8th inning because how quickly these games are going on. It's kind of funny how when it came to maybe losing money on beer sales, Major League Baseball, wait, all of a sudden, 8th inning is perfectly fine. I thought it always had to do with, we want to have more time between you getting your last drink and leaving the ballpark.
But the game's shorter, so less time to drink during the entire game, so
I understand.
less risk.
Less time to drink, but also now your last beer is coming closer to leaving. It's almost like the revenue is very important.
Who knew that people in baseball cared about money?
All right, coming up next, though, we'll talk some Chiefs football. We'll get back to the Royals a little bit later on and what yesterday's lineup kind of told us about maybe how the Royals are viewing things. But the Chiefs' first round Is this position actually on the table still, or is there only one way it is? We'll get to that next.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com. Subscribe and download to the Character Concerns podcast right now on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. 610 Sports Radio.
The tournament is heating up, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. That's because right now, FanDuel is giving new customers a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. Just go to FanDuel.com/win and sign up today to claim your no-sweat first bet. Then you can wager on everything from the point spreads to which team will be cutting down the net. All on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use.
Must be present in state where lawful to wager. 21 plus in select states. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable sports bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. FanDuel is offering sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement. Kansas Star Casino LLC. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or visit FanDuel.com/RG. Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 or visit KSGamblingHelp.com Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP Louisiana. Visit MDGamblingHelp.org in Maryland. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. 1-800-522-4100 Wyoming or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net West Virginia.
Experience the future of connectivity with Spectrum One. You get Spectrum Internet delivering the fastest speeds in the nation for $49.99 a month. Advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced privacy and security, free for 12 months. And a Spectrum mobile line with unlimited talk, text, and data, plus nationwide 5G, free for 12 months. That's Spectrum One. Visit Spectrum.com or your local Spectrum store today. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
We're talking with Dr. David Bach, board-certified urologist at Kansas City Urology Care. What's the most important thing men should know about prostate cancer?
I would strongly recommend PSA testing. It's a simple blood test. It's inexpensive, and basically every male over 50 should be having this PSA once a year. Prostate cancer is the second leading cancer killer of men.
And why should they go to KCUC?
We not only treat more prostate cancer than anyone else in this part of the country, we also start with cutting-edge diagnostics to offer the most precise diagnoses of prostate cancer using ultrasounds and MRI. We can offer surgical, medical, and radiation types of treatments. And even for men who require additional therapies, we're able to offer all that at a single site.
Get your PSA level tested by the experts. Kansas City Urology Care. At KCUC, you see the best in KC. To make an appointment, visit appointments.kcurology.com.
Hi, I'm Rex.
And I'm Crystal.
We're KC Real Estate Buyers.
And we buy houses for cash.
If you own a house and want to avoid the hassles, sell fast, and at a fair price,
call us today at 816-330-6000.
We can pay cash and close quickly. More.
We buy inherited houses, divorce houses,
behind in payment houses,
smelly and outdated houses, tired of being a landlord houses,
vacant houses, your grandma's shag carpet houses,
foreclosure houses, hey, even perfectly fine, great-looking houses.
If you want to avoid the hassles, get a fair price, and sell your home fast, call us today at 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000.
Call us today or go to rexbuyskc.com.
That's rexbuyskc.com. Don't forget the number, 816-330-6000.
If you like hunting and fishing, Outdoor America with Tommy Bench is your destination. Great camping and fishing tip Saturday at 5 a.m. on 610 Sports Radio and the Odyssey app. Listen on demand at 610sports.com, the weekend programming channel, presented by Wholesale Battery.
Remember when you were told bigger is better? Well, that's just simply not the case. Do you want a big bill? No. A big burden? No. What about a big bulky tank water heater taking up space in your basement? No, I didn't think so. What you do want is to make all of those things smaller. Navien tankless water heaters are more efficient and take up less space than outdated bulky tanks, with cutting-edge features that improve safety, simplify processes, and increase capabilities. Once you go Navien, you'll never go back. Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running, no matter the weather or supply chain. But we have Raymond in Buffalo, Maria in Miami, and Jules in Troy, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with high-quality supplies for every industry, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Lowe's knows how to get your lawn ready for spring. And right now, you can take up to $10 off select Scott's fertilizers. Plus, you can save $50 on a Craftsman 20-volt 13-inch string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit. Now just $99. Get set for spring. Visit us in-store or online today. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 3/23/45. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Tax refund shock is everywhere. But what is it?
My tax.
Mine too. The culprit? Pandemic-related stimulus payment and tax credits expiring. In this reporter's opinion, you need a tax expert.
Hey guys, Jackson Hewitt guarantees your biggest refund.
Tax prep is 50% off? Going there now.
50% off is a limited time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
It's March, and that can mean only one thing. The madness is here. Not in front of a TV on game day? Listen to every round of NCAA March Madness live from Westwood One, free in the Odyssey app. Catch all the biggest moments of the tournament, no matter where you are. From Cinderella's,
A 15 seed will head to the Elite Eight.
to buzzer beaters,
Atkinson scores! 1.4 seconds left.
to champions.
For the fourth time!
It's time to go dancing. Download the Odyssey app today to get started.
The 610 Sports Radio phone line is brought to you by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
Chiefs coverage on 610 Sports is brought to you by Park & Go. Book parkandgo.com.
Getting ready to go on vacation can be stressful. Lucky for us, there's Park & Go. Easy online reservation, free instant shuttles, luggage assistance, and all spots are covered. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in airport parking. Park & Go, family owned and operated.
All right, just getting started here on a Friday. Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Nick Schwartz coming your way, and the 1 o'clock hour. Really excited about Club 610 today. We've restocked the fridge with some beverages. We got 2 guests coming in the 1 o'clock hour. Rumor is there might be bottle service. That's the rumor on the street.
Working towards it.
We'll see if it actually happens.
I hope I pulled the trigger on the velvet rope. It's just like a little more expensive than I want it to be.
Yeah.
It's like it would be my personal fun. It's like, what am I with this thing?
Stop spending your personal money.
We don't have any more money.
You got to stop spending your own money on work-related items. It's not. I mean, maybe you make enough money to have that expensive purse and other thing for your wife as well, and so you don't care about the money.
Well, then how are we supposed to have things? Can we bartend again? Can we go to social and bartend again, Nick?
I don't know. I don't run the bar.
Nick is the.
But you're friends with the person. You're the person who set it up the last time.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like a standing invite or if they just
every time, anytime we need money, just come in and bartend. I don't think that's what it
peel
was.
us off some.
Is there another bar in town that
I'm
would
sure
like
there's
the
probably
3 of us to guest bartend at their location?
My guess is there's probably another bar in town that would love the exposure, would offer probably us the opportunity to do that. Yes, something tells me, and we could get a little cut of the tab.
I'd be happy to name a shot after Vinny or Michael Massey, good friends of the show.
I love how you're just offering to
Pasquassi shots
to volunteer their name and likeness for your endeavor.
Pasquassi shots?
Pasquassi's good. That's our own creation.
That one works.
Pasquassi shots.
I like that.
They got to be blue, right?
I should probably, yeah. Put some blue curacao in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Make them a little fruity.
Text line already said, so-and-so, I think this is your buddy. Said, yes. Shoot said,
love that.
We're already done. Just like that.
Just like that.
I like that we just
we're back at social. Now we got multiple offers of bidding war. Ooh, don't fight over us, guys.
Look at this.
So maybe in the future, maybe we'll have to do the guest bartending again. Let's talk some Chiefs football. Tomorrow, the calendar does turn to April, which means we'll actually be in draft month. The draft, pretty soon, we'll be able to say is happening later this month. We'll be able to start saying that pretty soon. And we know the mock drafts all exist. Mock draft 1.5 of the Character Concerns podcast. You can check that out on the Odyssey app and 610sports.com. Nick and Bink put that. They didn't mock a wide receiver this time. And if they're going to take a wide receiver, you seem to think that it's not going to be at 31.
So I'm convinced, 100% convinced, because part of like their exercise in these mock drafts or going through who other players or other people think are going to be available at this spot. The reason why I don't think they took a wide receiver at 31 is because a wide receiver that they should be taking in the first round won't be available there. The only way I think the Chiefs are taking a first-round wide receiver is if they trade up. Because I don't think they're going to go and think about every other thing. Because I think if they take a first-round wide receiver, it means no Odell Beckham Jr., no DeAndre Hopkins, no other hypothetical trade.
You think even at 30, like let's say they didn't trade up and they were just picking at 31, you think that means that they missed out on everybody else?
I think the wide receivers who would be available at that spot are not worthy of that pick. It's more likely at this point, the way this draft is laying out, that there'll be a defensive lineman who is valuable of that pick or an offensive tackle, both needs for this team that are much better value picks at that location. I think if they're taking a wide receiver, they're going up. They're going up and they're going to take Quentin Johnson at 22.
I mean, I would
and
love
they're
that.
just going to assure themselves the wide receiver of their dreams. Because here's the thing, you can't afford to. Because if they're taking a wide receiver in the first round, then that means whatever their plan A, B, C, Smith-Schuster, Odell, any of those isn't working out. They know they're going to need somebody to contribute immediately, which means you can't just sit on your hands and hope that guy's there at 31. You'll have to be aggressive.
Does it necessarily? I mean, I guess does it have to mean that it means they struck out? I mean, we've done this show for a couple of years now. Every draft, I think, going into it, I believe, and I've agreed with you for the most part. You have said, hey, they should just draft a wide receiver in the first round every year. I just draft a wide receiver in the first round every year. Now, this year, you're saying that you don't want them to draft one of the first round?
I'm not saying I do. I don't. I just think the limited number of and look, we could limit this to pass catchers, the tight ends that they might be interested in.
Okay.
I think the talented pass catchers are all before 20, 22. I don't think any of those guys, based on the way the NFL is structured this year, the lack of free agent wide receivers and pass catchers available, and everything in between, I don't think any of those guys are going to be there at 31. It's not that I don't want them to take a first-round wide receiver. It's just if they're doing it, I don't think they're doing it at 31.
I still think the Chiefs have so much flexibility here because you can talk me into the scenario that you just presented, that they trade up to pick 20 and they go draft Jordan Addison or Njigba or whoever you think's there, right?
I think Quentin Johnson, based on the way the draft is starting to look now, maybe.
We can debate whether or not it's realistic that one of those guys is there at 20 or do you have to get to 15 and all
12.
that. We can certainly continue to discuss that over the next month that we have until the draft. But I also think they have options because you know that I'm fine with them taking a right tackle or a future left tackle at pick 31, that whether it's going to be the one that Nick and the guys mocked out of Oklahoma, whether it's the tackle Jones out of Ohio State, I'm good with that. I'm also good with Will Anderson Jr. out of Ohio State, the kid out of K-State, the kid out of Northwest. Like, I think they have multiple options that this is why for weeks and weeks we've been discussing they could draft 3 or 4 different positions, and I'm probably down to 3 now. At 31, and I'm not going to be like, what the hell are you doing? That doesn't make sense. They can draft an edge rusher, they could draft a tackle, they could draft a wide receiver, they could draft a corner at 31, and I wouldn't hate it. Corner would be my least favorite, considering they drafted
I assume tight end, depending on the tight end would also be.
Yeah, sure.
Look at through the way this draft looks like it's setting up. But here's the other thing. Are you fine with that if they don't sign a wide receiver? If they don't sign a free agent wide receiver of any note, which there's only a couple left.
Yeah.
So, let's say I don't know, who's the best even free wide receiver remaining? It's not good, right?
I'm still convinced
it's like a 500-yard guy?
It's still Odell.
No, I mean outside of those, if it was outside of that spectrum, I guess.
Well, really, the only guys out there that would, I think, move the needle for anybody would be trading for Ayuk, trading for Hopkins, or signing Odell Beckham Jr. I mean, those are the only 3 that remain that anybody would actually say, okay, there's your clear number 1 wide receiver. Elsewhere, they would have to go. Otherwise, they would have to go elsewhere into the draft. And yeah, I'm with you that I don't think the wide receiver they would draft at 31 would come in and have a chance to be wide receiver 1 or 2 right away. If you trade up and get one of the 3 guys, Addison, Johnson, and Njigba, Smith and Njigba, one of those guys, I could see them being wide receiver 2 immediately, if not eventually wide receiver 1 by the end of the season.
So we've talked about this before, because the problem is, this is why I think they'll trade up if they don't end up getting a wide receiver here, is if you do the math, essentially what they're looking to have production-wise is 1,800 yards. That's Juju's number, Justin Watson's number, McCole Hardman's number, and Sky Moore's number, right? Because Sky Moore's going to be a part of this conversation. All right, so where did the 1,800 come from? Which is a conversation we've had a lot of times. 500 for Sky? That's being that's not being out of control. Justin Watson's of the world? Do we just assume there's another one floating around? Yes. Does he come back?
Him or somebody else. Somebody else can.
Fine, let's just say he's the D-Rob. That's just a guy. Anybody they sign off the street, that's Justin Watson. So then we're down to the remaining 1,100 yards. Where do they come from? Like, I think it's got to be 750 from a rookie wide receiver and a low-end free agent.
I don't know if necessarily if the rookie has to be all
or
750.
Kadarius Toney's number takes a huge shoot up, which is fair. He had 171, so let's say 500's his.
Yeah, I mean, I think the number probably isn't going to be as high as you would think from the rookie or whoever they asked to come and replace, because I think we're going to see an uptick from Toney. He's going to be given more of an opportunity. We know the big question mark around his name, and it's fair, is going to be availability. And is he playing in 8 games? Is he playing in 12? Is he somehow playing in 16? That will dictate it. But I do think Toney's going to have an increase and eat into that yardage. Sky Moore, I do think we'll see an increase. Last year, I thought he was going to be a 500-yard receiver. Of course, that did not happen. I'll put that number at 500 again for this year. I do think he got some confidence.
Doubling his production doesn't seem
so. All of a sudden, if he's going up a little bit, and you think Toney conservatively, I think it is a conservative estimate, saying he's going to go up 350 yards. I think he's going to go up more than that, by the way. But does that, all of a sudden, there's 500-plus increase in yardage, and it's not that crazy to think that.
But there's still 700 or 800 floating around out there. Like, that's really what it comes down to. Even if you say project everyone a little bit higher, there's 700 yards, 750 yards floating around out there that doesn't belong to anybody. And the question is always like, who is replacing that in this?
And maybe the
wide receiver's not doing that based on their history.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's fair, but I would say that we all think Patrick Mahomes is still throwing for 5,000 yards next year. And so with Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce and Matt Nagy and this coaching staff, like, I guess it's not automatic free pass where I have zero concern, but I'm really not freaking out about it, man. I think this organization and this quarterback have proven what this offense is, as long as, I keep saying it, as long as Kelce and Mahomes are part of the equation with Andy Reid, I'm not worried about what this offense is going to be next year.
I think there's just a certain amount.
I just panicked last year. I'm not doing it again.
But there is a certain amount of, I don't think there'd be a bad offense. I guess that's the thing to make important. I don't think there'd be a bad offense. But there is a certain amount. They wouldn't have won the Super Bowl with the sixth best offense last year. You know? Like, there is, so unless the defense is going to take this big step forward, which is certainly possible because they got so many young players, and they might draft even more good, maybe draft another defensive end in the first again. Right? It's not to say that they can't, but it's always going to have to do this balancing. And there is a certain, look, the Patriots learned this and other teams have learned this. You can take a drop in talent because you have an elite quarterback and you can make up the difference. But there is a level you shouldn't drop below. There's still a baseline of don't go below. Going into a season with Kadarius Toney as your number one wide receiver is irresponsible.
I would argue, though, again, not your number one.
Because Kelce.
This is why you can get away with it. If Kelce was not part of the equation, we'd be having a way different conversation. And look, I do trust that Brett Veach is looking at if we're sitting here and we're discussing the wide receiver room, they're not going into the season with a room that the coaching staff and their quarterback doesn't believe is good enough to get to where they need to get. We have no indication otherwise that this front office is going to assemble an offense that they think is going to come up short. I'm not guaranteeing a Super Bowl next year, but they're not going to go into the season and say, you know what, we left Patrick Mahomes with inferior parts, and it's just not good enough. And we no, they're gonna put together what they think is actually capable of doing it. And time again, they've been correct. So I'm just not going to do the whole, man, I don't know what they're going to do. It's March 31st, the draft hasn't happened, and free agency's not over yet, and act like that they have no plan at wide receiver, because I don't believe that, number one, and the end product's not there yet. I have confidence by the time we're sitting up in St. Joe doing shows up there that we're going to look at the weapons on offense, whether it's going to be more production from running backs, whether it's going to be they drafted a tight end, drafted a wide receiver. I think we'll feel pretty good about where it's at. And I feel even better that if we were to make a bet by the time we're in October, do I think we're going to be panicking about the offense? I'm going to tell you, I doubt we will be. I'm pretty sure we're going to be saying, wow, they've done it again. They lost this guy, and look, here they are, and they're still top 3 offense in football. My guess is that's the more likely scenario than us sitting here saying in mid-October, man,
they're
just not scoring. They're ninth best offense in football. They're just not scoring.
It's not just scoring at all. It's scoring in important moments. You know, we talked about this with third down and ability and fourth quarter and those things. Because to me, it's not just the end product of the number of points, but that as well. By the way, the Chiefs have extended their stay in St. Joe through 2024.
Okay.
So
I guess more trips to St. Joe.
No big deal.
There were some rumblings that maybe they were going to go on the Kansas side for that, but that's not happening. Okay, we're driving up to St. Joe again. There it is.
For at least next year and the year after that, assuming the show is still on the air. You know? Do you think the show will still be on the air through 2024, Nick?
That's
What's
the
your
plan,
official prediction?
Yes.
Wow, that's nice, man. How about 2025?
Yes.
Man, how far out are you willing to go?
I think this show's just we've seen the tip of the iceberg, Cody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we're still doing this show.
Oh.
So 8 years from now?
No.
You're looking at us like a crazy.
No, 8 years is a long time, man.
Take it easy, pal.
8 years is a very long time.
Well, at least we know what the limit is. How far he's willing to take it. I want to know how long. How long you think you're going to make it to 40 on this show?
On this, I have no idea. Here's the one thing, like, peel back the curtain radio, I would say, like, the shows that last
We're an open book. We've discussed
the
this.
shows that last for 8+ years usually are in the morning and afternoon drive time slots. Middays typically has more turnover, either because the show didn't work or they moved to afternoons or mornings and they moved to different market and all that. Midday shows typically don't have a 50. Tell me, honestly, do you know a sports talk midday show in the country that's lasted for 10 years?
I mean, I don't really follow the industry that hard.
Okay.
But
the answer, I don't think, is yes.
So who do we need to usurp? That's what you're asking. Who do we need to go after? We have to go after the morning show or the afternoon show. He's calling for war.
Are you calling your own firing?
No, I gave you the explanation. You're asking me, do I think this exact show, the odds are in our favor or not for having this exact show, especially since Nick's leaving for Arrowhead Pride next year.
I think he's calling for war. I think he says
that. Nick's leaving in 8 months, excuse me.
Yeah.
So
let's go to war with either the mornings or afternoons. I think that's what he's calling for.
I didn't.
It's the only way to survive.
Steal their time slot?
Yeah, only way to survive.
Yeah.
Let's just switch.
Kill or be killed, you know?
What are you going to do?
You never answered the question either.
What if
At least I answered the question.
No. No chance.
So
We're going to
you're
get
done-
fired
so
for something we do.
You're not going to make it to 40. So you're done in 2 years. So you're planning on leaving. So you're done in 2 years. You're 40 sooner.
Well, I mean, I would be trying to make it to like 50, you know? Slightly different. 45, depending on the number of years we're talking about here. I'm a pessimist.
I know you have notes today because I already heard them a little bit earlier.
Nick's notable notes.
So the real reason why you heard them earlier is I don't know what happens in this building after 6 o'clock. But
Well-
it's like I walk in and the studio looks a certain way, and then I come back and there's just gunk and crumbs. And dude, we need to launch a Cody and Gold investigation.
Oh, man.
Who is absolutely trashing the studio?
Just eating over the
There
buttons?
was just gunk underneath the mouse. Like the mouse wouldn't move. So I had to go get disinfectant spray.
Yeah.
And that's why I accidentally clicked it, because I had the mouse in my hand and I was trying to clean the bottom side of it. So.
Well, that's disgusting. Do you think it? So B-Dub was on this morning. Last night, I think Julio was running the board for Dusty, if I remember right. And Chad was running the board for the Royals game.
So,
Are you blaming one of them?
I'm not blaming B-Dub. I'm not.
So you're blaming
You're making
Julio
it very
or-
clear you're not blaming B-Dub.
Are you afraid of B-Dub?
No, no, he's an ally.
Okay.
I would say B-Dub is probably one of my strongest allies, both literally and figuratively, of everybody that worked at the station. I do need to revisit something from earlier in the week. I just want to, for posterity's sake, I feel like it's going to come up later, so I just want to get it out there right now so we can all address it and then move on, but then inevitably come back to it many, many times. On Wednesday, you guys were broadcasting live from Rally House.
Correct.
And at one point, we had a few listeners come on. We had one of the, I think, what will end up being one of the more memorable moments in the history of 610 Sports Radio. We had a cheese naming competition.
That's correct.
We had a cheese naming competition to see who would win a pair of tickets to opening day. And when we were bringing these contestants on the air, we had to put the headsets on them, and we had to make sure, the mics are positioned correctly so that the listeners could hear them. And in doing so, Alex, man, you poor guy, you had a very interesting turn of phrase here.
Oh, no.
What did
Because at
you
the end of the
say?
show, we didn't have time to address it, but I did pull the audio.
Uh-oh, here we go.
To debut.
This was on Wednesday?
This was on Wednesday in the 1 o'clock hour.
Get that up towards your mouth there a little bit.
Why'd you say it like that?
I was clearly adjusting the microphone.
Oh, no.
Mouth there a little bit.
That's why you say it. That's what makes it creepy.
Like his toes are curling right there.
I didn't even know I did that. Did you know, Cody? Did you know I did
No,
that?
I didn't catch it in the moment.
Oh, man.
I was more
That
focused on the
towards
cheese
your mouth
competition
there
at
a
the
little
time.
bit.
Yeah, right there. And that's it, right there.
Nick makes it 100 times worse adding that on the end, by the way. 100 times worse.
But that does sound like what this sentence would finish like, you know?
Yeah, we were adjusting the microphone. You weren't going to be able to hear her on the air, and so you got to adjust that microphone to your mouth a little bit. Get that up towards your mouth there a little bit. Oh, yeah, right there. Nick adding that at the end. Stop adding that. Stop adding that at the end.
If the sentence were to continue, I feel like those would be the next words out of your mouth. Oh, perfect. Right there. That's it. Right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You're just like holding that for 2 days?
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't bring it up yesterday.
It's tougher when you guys aren't in studio.
Fair.
And you guys, we don't visual cues and stuff. So
yeah, I'm still upset with you. You didn't Borg. We all Borged, and you didn't. We know you didn't Borg, man. You did not Borg. Very disappointing.
I bet you my Borg's out in the trash can.
I bet you didn't Borg yesterday. No photo evidence. You didn't Borg.
I did Borg. I threw it away. I mean, they had to carry me out of here. I was so wasted.
Somehow you made it to the ballpark, though.
Well, I got an Uber. That's why I was so late, because I passed out in the bullpen, and then I woke up. I was like, oh, crap, got to get to the Royals
You had to
game.
pick up your girlfriend on the way to the stadium. I saw you and Peter right together.
Yeah. That girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
That's different.
I did pick up my girlfriend, my actual, real girlfriend.
Did Pete
female.
come? Did Pete come to... Did Pete come to pick up Lindsay?
It was the pause afterwards, because I didn't actually hear what you said, so I was waiting for you to repeat yourself. But the fact that I paused made you think that and then Gold immediately, his mind went there, and I wasn't even thinking that.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you fell out of your damn chair.
I didn't say a word.
Yeah.
I did not say a word. I don't know what you're discussing at all.
What was the what were you even trying to ask?
Did Pete come with you to pick up Lindsay because you guys rode to the stadium together?
No, and you know that I left at the same time as you, Cody.
Oh, I
we
guess
walked
Pete
out of
didn't
the
leave with us. Yeah,
stadium
that's a good
together,
point.
and Pete wasn't with us.
In fairness, I'd been Borging, so I mean, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you remember being at the game yesterday? Do you remember what happened? That's probably why you don't remember the pitch clock at all.
No, it was
You're
just like
pissed drunk, passed out in the seat.
I told you we had to explain what Borgs were to JJ Piccolo yesterday.
We did.
What, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
How'd that go?
Well, so he's like, "What are you drinking?"
Yeah, he was wondering
because
why we
clearly
had
it's like, "What's with these
gallon
containers. Jugs full of colorful liquid?" And so he's like, "This doesn't make any sense." And we explained that a Borg is like a younger person training. He's got kids in college, so maybe they know about Borgs. I think maybe he was going to
He's a
check in
concerned
later.
father, yeah.
Yeah. And then he was like, I said, it's an acronym for Blackout Rage Gallon. And he went, oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just even more disappointed in us, I think.
Yeah.
Get that up towards your mouth there a little bit.
It's the way you said it. Why did you say it that way?
Because I had to reach over and make sure that it worked.
Just like the guy in the handicap stall next to you. Just like, hey, you prairie dogging in there, pal?
Oh, man. Didn't even know I did that.
Well, now everybody knows.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to really lay, if you're for a drop like that, which I imagine will get used for a while.
Oh, you think?
You have to set the base layer early. So I couldn't wait till Monday to debut it, because at that point too much time's passed. It's like the moment's gone. Now we've really hammered it home.
Strike while the iron's hot, you know?
Yeah.
Those are Nick's notable notes. Coming up next, we'll talk some more Chiefs football. Going back to the draft a little bit, I told you the one position that I actually would like them to draft in that particular spot at 31. So what does that mean for this position group? We'll tell you that, and we'll also get back into what the NFL is attempting to maybe do in the future.
Cody and Gold.
Would I rather have my ween slammed in a car door? Or would I rather have my fingernails ripped off with a pair of needle-nose pliers? I don't know. I can't decide.
Brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com.
Take your shot during BetMGM's March matchups and instantly receive $200 in bonus bets. Simply sign up using bonus code CTAP200 and place a $10 bet on any college basketball tournament game. Win or lose, $200 in bonus bets will be added to your account right away. It is that easy. Plus, you'll discover a wide variety of parlay selection features, daily boosted odds specials, and much more. Download the BetMGM app today and use that promo code CTAP200. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager, Kansas only. New customers offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hi, Sarah. I'm sorry I'm late. The traffic is crazy.
Yeah, it is. And it doesn't help that gas prices have skyrocketed. I can't believe how much it costs for gas now.
Everyone's talking about how much gas is, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app, and I get cash back for every gallon of gas I buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid real cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yeah, real cash every time I buy gas.
What? That sounds like it could really add up.
I've made around $200 already.
Wow, that's serious extra money. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code EARN40 for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code EARN40 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus in your first tank. That's code EARN40 for 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill up. Cashback's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
The tournament is heating up, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. That's because right now FanDuel is giving new customers a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. Just go to FanDuel.com/win and sign up today to claim your no-sweat first bet. Then you can wager on everything from the point spreads to which team will be cutting down the net. All on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use.
Must be present in state where lawful to wager. 21 plus in select states. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable sportsbook bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. FanDuel is offering sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino LLC. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG. Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 or visit KSGamblingHelp.com Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP Louisiana. Visit MDGamblingHelp.org in Maryland. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. 1-800-522-4700 Wyoming or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net West Virginia.
Well, it's springtime, and you know what that means. Baseball season is here. Grand slams, no-hitter, double plays are back, maybe some web gyms. And there's no better place to get in on the Major League Baseball action than with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And right now, new customers can step up to the batter's box with a no-sweat first bet that's good for up to $1,000. All you need to do is go to FanDuel.com/CDOT to sign up, place your first bet, and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win. Do not miss your chance to get a no-sweat first bet good for up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. All you need to do is go to FanDuel.com/CDOT to sign up. FanDuel, the official partner of Major League Baseball, and also 610 Sports Radio. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued to non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with the Kansas Star Casino LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit KSGamblingHelp.com.
Hey, guys. This is Keenan Thompson. I have a problem with you. Yes, you. None of y'all told me that AutoTrader has millions of new and used cars that I can shop from home. I thought we were friends. I put smiles on your face, but I'm not smiling. No one told me that with AutoTrader, a dealer can deliver cars to my home or that I could shop by price on AutoTrader. No one. Consider this friendship that you just learned we had officially over. Finally, it's easy. AutoTrader.
Dazzling decal on Daisy's Donuts window. Bold banner at Barry's Barbershop. Prominent poster at Penny's on Park Place.
This is your sign. Well, signs. To try Staples and see the difference. Get $15 off signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more.
From Staples, and I couldn't miss it.
Ends 4/15. Visit staplesconnect.com/printbig for details.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nick Schwartz.
And Bink. And Kristen Osero.
With the NFL Draft coming to Kansas City this April, we've launched the Character Concerns podcast, leading you all the way up to the first round at Union Station.
We'll get into all my award-winning mock drafts, who I want the Chiefs to take, who squatted what weight at the combine.
What awards?
We all know why it's called Character Concerns, because Bink's got some problems.
We're going to release new episodes every Tuesday, so subscribe now on the Odyssey app at 610sports.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
On your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Mac Motors Studios.
Hey, it's Royals first baseman Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to 610 Sports Radio.
KCSP Kansas City, WDAT2 Liberty, always live on the free Odyssey app.
11 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. I didn't think we mentioned any college football related stuff, but this one's a little fun for the rivalry between KU and K-State. Dennis Dodd of CBS Sports reporting that KU football has hired Illinois special teams coach Sean Snyder as KU's special assistant to Lance Leipold. That would be former K-State football great, the son of legendary Hall of Fame coach Bill Snyder. His son now going to work for KU.
Isn't that like the only school he can't go work for?
I love it. That's fantastic. That's great. That's great. Well done. Also, their special teams could use some work anyway.
It feels like his dad would have just been like, look, you can coach for any team in this entire country. It's fine.
Just can't go
just
there.
Not Kansas. No, look, I remember because he was the one that his dad was desperately trying to get to just like essentially be his successor. Mm-hmm. He was like, you can't do that. You can't just name your kid the successor, even as great as you are. And now he's going to coach at Kansas?
As a special assistant. Ugh. Again, special assistant, by the way, still one of the greatest job titles and gigs you can get around. Just special assistant. No, that's don't have to have not the coordinator. A special assistant, man.
It actually feels like, how could someone accuse you of not doing a good job? Like, hey, you're not doing a good job. At what?
Special assistant to the general manager. I mean, that seems like a great gig. Special assistant to the head coach seems like a great gig.
It does. I'm not going to lie. But the first cut of Sean Snyder rocking a Jayhawks polo is going to send K-State fans into a frenzy. It's just not going to be good for anybody.
We are still, by the way, thinking of assistants and all. We are still working through the internship process, which you might as well be a special assistant at that point.
Do you want to, instead of calling them interns, do you want to call them special assistants?
Special assistants. It sounds way more important.
Special assistants to Cody and Gold, or just like to Nick, like a specific person?
Special assistant to Nick, yeah. Just a special assistant to Nick to help him when the board's dirty and there's crumbs and the mouse is disgusting.
Wait, is that one of the things we're going to ask interns to do?
Oh, yeah. Lots of cleaning.
Got to learn a bit. Nick cleans that room every day. You got to learn how to do that. Very important stuff.
You clean it every day?
Yeah, it's like a chef. You know, what separates the great chefs from the good chefs is they wake up and they sharpen their knives every morning. Same thing with the producer.
That's what separates the good ones.
The great ones. Buttons.
Yep. You got to clean the boards, clean the switches.
You can teach them how to do that without pressing buttons that go on the air?
No, I mean even the greats, even the all-time greats make mistakes every once in a while.
That's a good point, Nick.
Let's talk some more Chiefs football, though. You know that when we did our little Cody and Gold mock draft and we were going back and forth on picks, I went tackle at pick 31. If, let's say, they do that, whether it's him or it's the mock that Nick and Bink and Chris put out for Character Concerns where they had the Chiefs drafting a tackle as well, if they did that, and Juwan Taylor's going to play left, and you got Joe Tooney, and you got Creed Humphrey, and you got Trey Smith, and then your right tackle is a rookie, but a first-round rookie who's clearly at that point they can say a competition with Niang, but if they're drafting,
it should be more talented than the guy who was doing the job before.
Then an offensive line that still was one of the better ones in football. Then you want to talk about elevating it. I think it has a chance to get there if you believe that right away Juwan Taylor can swing over and play the same level of left tackle as Orlando Brown Jr. Because I have said this over and over with the whole transition from Brown to Juwan Taylor. I think as time goes on, he can be just as good as Brown and has a ceiling that's maybe higher because there's the unknown. But there's a chance the first portion of the season that there could actually be a little bit of dip in what you're getting at left tackle. And I know there's some people listening that'll say, oh, Brown was terrible, can't get any worse. Yes, it can. Yes, it can.
It absolutely can get worse, but it's the only reason why I would entertain a tackle in the first round. You know that it's not my first choice is if they take a right tackle in the first round, you can make an argument the offensive line is immediately better. And the reason why is Orlando Brown Jr. did not have that many games at left tackle. He just didn't. When he came to Kansas City, he had played primarily right tackle. He'd obviously gotten part of a season at left tackle because of the injury to Ronnie Staley. And then he spent the entire first year in Kansas City playing pretty much the same level of left tackle he played the second year in Kansas City. He didn't improve. Orlando Brown Jr. didn't wow, he's such a better left tackle than he was the year before. No, he's about the same level of left tackle both years he was here. He got better late in the season both times, which was relevant to his play, but he didn't get he wasn't even better in the second half of this year than he was before.
You're still needing to maintain average/above average play at left tackle.
Yeah, but I'd say that because they already made this transition, it makes them pretty confident that the guy's athleticism is going to allow him to transfer to left tackle. Hell, Jawan Taylor talking about it's I don't know, I just turn my hips a different way. It's pretty much the same position. We've seen the NFL shift to right tackle and left tackle having almost equal importance, not quite, but it's getting closer to that point. And Andrew Wiley, as much as he did what I would call a serviceable job at right tackle, considering all the other talent they had around him. Let's not just I'm not trying to rewrite his. Let's not pretend like Andrew Wiley was some even above average.
No, he was an average right tackle
most of the time, and other times he was a below average right tackle, depending on the game or the matchup that he was going up against. He had one of the higher pressure rates at tackle in the entire NFL last year. So I would tell you that the only appeal to me of an offensive tackle is I'm pretty sure you can pencil in or damn near right in pin that this offensive line would somehow be better. And the Chiefs, I think, had a top 5 offensive line last year. If you're telling me that they can be better than that, then I can forgive some of the lack of weapons, right, they might have if the wide receiver position doesn't play out well. Because a 800-yard wide receiver is good, but just as good as that is your quarterback having all damn day to throw. If Patrick Mahomes has all the time in the world, then the effect is the same as getting a 700-yard wide receiver in the building.
Yeah, I mean, I get the point. I don't know if it directly, automatically equates to anything like that. I would say it gives, if you're struggling for guys to get open and you're wondering about separation, you give them an extra half a second or an extra second or, whatever it may be to get open, then that's going to benefit you in a great way, with especially what appears to right now be a very young wide receiver room, and maybe there's a chance it gets younger unless they bring in a Beckham or a Hopkins or a Brandon Ayuk or somebody like that. But the tackle scenarios at pick 31 are intriguing to me because it fills a long-term hole at right tackle. So then you're feeling like left and right tackle, you're good for at least 3 or 4 years at that point.
Well, if you draft one too, yeah.
So, I mean, there's a benefit to that. All right, my tackles are set, assuming they're what they think they can be. Tackles are set.
At least one or maybe two of my interior offensive linemen are set.
That's a nice spot to be in as well. I mean, that's a really nice spot to be in if you're able to actually assemble the line the way that it potentially could go in the next 4 weeks.
This team could use a spot that they're good at. That's, other than quarterback. We understand that. But on offense, if they were to draft a right tackle, okay, the offensive line's set. Let's just say we pay Trey Smith, whatever, left guard, one spot, we're good. Both the tackle spots are secure. We're good because they still have questions at wide receiver. We don't know what the long-term future at wide receiver looks like for this team at all. None. You've said that maybe they don't know the long-term security at tight end, depending on, how far down the road, right? So maybe they view it like you, and it's a little bit different on tight end, but let's just call it secure. But it's like they have no security yet at right tackle. They have no security yet at wide receiver. Running back doesn't matter. That's always going to be a position that moves. But pay me their linebackers? Are they going to, or is maybe, depending on how they still have a lot of questions for the long-term stability of some spots. If you take the first round, I think you're 3 years from now, you're the line's the same. I don't have to ask any questions for 3 or 4 years in the offensive line. That's the only spot other than quarterback I could say that about on the field right now. There's a real benefit in that. That's the only way I talk myself into this possible the offensive line, because they could be better and they could be set. That seems valuable for the Chiefs, especially because of Mahomes.
I just go back to when they had Mitchell Schwartz playing right tackle. Go back to when he was playing, and he was underrated because he played the right tackle position. But if you could tell me you could, and Mitchell Schwartz was an all-pro, but if you can get anybody that you can plug in at right tackle long-term versus this kind of spot start stuff they've been doing the last couple of years, I just think we remember how dominant at times, even though people could be critical early on in Eric Fisher's career. But when you had a left tackle you believed in and you had a really good right tackle, there's something to be said for that. And I think they have a chance to actually stabilize themselves in that area if they take a tackle at pick 31. And it also gives you a little side benefit just in case something were to happen on the Jawan Taylor front and he, for whatever reason, couldn't transition to left tackle, it gives you a chance. Do you think the guy you drafted at 31 has any chance himself at being a left tackle one day? I'm not saying that's a possibility. Like that's a
no. If that ever worked out, then that's
scenario.
gangbusters. Because then you'll find another right tackle hypothetically, and if you think that guy's good enough to be a left tackle, you're going to save yourself money in the long run.
And look, I know they have Niang in house, and right now, if you were to ask them who's going to be right tackle and who's going to compete for right tackle, he certainly has the inside edge. But I don't think there's anything wrong with drafting a tackle, and then you have him have the leg up on Niang and make Niang really impress you. Listen, Niang hasn't been able to stay healthy. He just, I don't know about you, at right tackle, we can talk about the Tony stuff, as we always do with health, but at right tackle, a guy that, let's say, midway through the season I have to replace just because he's got a health issue is way more problematic than having to replace my third wide receiver because of an injury. So
for a couple of games, yeah.
So, and I know they've been able to do this. Andrew Wiley at once was just that 1 or 2, 3 game fill-in guy, and he ended up being a long-term starter or a full season starter, not a long-term option, but a full season starter.
It says a lot about their development and scouting.
And I mean, if there's an area on this team where you do feel good about development and coaching, Andy Heck has done a great job on the O-line as a coach, and then Andy Reid himself, of course, is a former offensive lineman. So you feel if there was an area where they can judge talent, O-line, and develop, O-line fits that.
It does. It's just I still I'd still take a wide receiver or some of these other positions. Just like if I'm going to have to talk myself into, because we get more of these mock drafts that come through and it's showing tackle, or we did for maybe our one and only.
As I said, I think we might only do 1.0. That's it.
Cody and Gold mock.
1.0, baby.
It was very strong. I mean, remember,
A- grade. I mean, A- grade. We can shoot for an A+ if we want, but that might be difficult.
Shoot for an A+. Come on, A-? Well, it's pretty good. That'll work. And then Binkley's going to text us pointing out some of the draft grades that the Chiefs got for Mahomes. Nobody else has graded ours, just Pro Football Focus. Although, in fairness, Nick, did you grade our mock draft?
Yeah, I think he said A+.
Did you give us a letter grade?
I don't remember. Did I?
I'd like one at some point, if you haven't.
I don't remember it.
DeJuan Jones was the first pick.
No, I don't like that because you passed.
You guys took a tackle.
Well, but you guys passed on Darnell Wright of Tennessee. You passed on Anton Harrison of Oklahoma, and I think both those guys are better than DeJuan Jones.
I don't know if they were available.
DeJuan Jones too tall. He's like 6'8", literally.
Too tall?
Yes, he's 6'8". Guys, like when offensive linemen get to a certain height, they no longer have leverage because guys could just undercut them.
But they're long.
Low man wins.
Not all
low
the time.
Man wins.
Otherwise, why aren't all offensive linemen 5'11"?
Hey, low man wins.
Okay, so let's just make offensive linemen 5'8". Problem solved.
No, that's too low.
Here's the exact opposite is listed by Lance Erline, though. It says, human mountain requiring long hikes to navigate. That's his description for DeJuan Jones. A human mountain.
That's a weird description of a person.
I've never seen that before in a draft play. Now, human mountain. Okay, I like it.
I think you should just give us an A.
Now there's no chance.
Why?
You can't ask for it.
I just have to ask. Can I ask for the grade?
I think I gave you like a B+, or B maybe minus.
Why are you saying
it might have been like
maybe minus?
It might have been like a C+ or a C. And I think I could have went as low as a C-.
I don't think so. I don't think you ever went that low. Nobody thought that poorly of our draft. We covered a lot of major needs. Your very first draft didn't take a wide receiver until the 5th. That's ludicrous.
One spot before Stetson Bennett at quarterback. Right, Bink?
Why would you bring that back up?
Why
would you bring Stetson Bennett back up?
Their draft. You got to move. They're on 1.5 now. Can't mention 1.0 anymore. They're on 1.5. Character concern.
But they only did the first round. I can only judge the one player they took in the first round, which was an offensive tackle, I believe.
It was out of Oklahoma.
Anton Harrison
fits right into this conversation.
Way to really bring it full circle.
Perfect.
We know earlier this week we talked about the NFL's decision to allow teams, or force them if need be, to play 2 Thursday night games. There's also still the chance come May with the vote that the NFL may allow flex scheduling still for the Thursday night games. And we mentioned the concerns that clearly the players have, right? Patrick Mahomes reacted on Twitter to that. Roger Goodell claims that he hears from players, right, that they love the 10 days that they get off on the backside of that. Well, it's brought up more discussion, and one we kind of had, but now you've seen some national talking heads pick up on it some more, which is that at what point, though, do we not just have games on Thursday, Friday, because that's happening next year, Saturday, more Saturday games. We already have Sunday. We already have Monday. Like, I think we will get to a point where it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because we already do, but I think on a regular basis. Now there's some speculation. Could the NFL Tuesday and Wednesday. And the reference they give is the COVID year, where games happened on Tuesday and Wednesday, not by design, but they were able to do it. They were able to make the schedule work in that way. Mike Florio says the NFL may not stop at Tuesday and Wednesday, although the league's broadcast antitrust exemption hinges on not televising games on Friday nights or Saturdays between Labor Day weekend and the middle of December. He said if it's expanded to expressly include pay for internet broadcast, you and I hinted at this, which is if the games are streamed, that might be the workaround. I know the game on Friday nights, those are on Amazon. That's not TV. That's streaming. That's different.
First, that's clever maneuvering. Second, this would be the first time that I'd say the NFL is getting too greedy. This is a bad idea. The quality of your product is why people like it. Expanding to 40 teams is a bad idea. Playing football this often, this many days is a bad idea. You're going to get way less star players in the game. You want to talk about load management in the NBA? It's all people complain about, right? You buy your ticket gold, you want to go see LeBron play against the Thunder, and nope, he's just taking Tuesday off because he doesn't feel like playing basketball today. That's going to start coming to the NFL. If you start making them play Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays, they will push injuries back a day. Look, the quarterbacks will still play, but they will have less players available for every given day. This is too greedy. Also, I don't want football every day. It's perfectly fine Thursday, Sunday, and Monday. That's half the damn week.
So, yeah, I don't want NFL games on Tuesday or Wednesday either. I'd push back on the notion that teams would just start, rest management, load management like they do in the NBA. That to me, I think is a little far-fetched. But I don't want Tuesday and Wednesday games. I think it's far-fetched to suggest that the NBA, which plays 82 games, and the NFL that has 16 of them, that the NFL teams are going to be willing, or 17, soon 18, are willing to do that. I think we can recognize the difference in the value of each game. But I don't want football on Tuesday or Wednesday. We already have, by the way, college football on Wednesday nights anyway. Bink will tell you that with some action. So we already have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday football anyway.
I think they're going to lose some portion of their audience. They're just saying, hey, we have no audience on a Friday and we'll get some anyway.
Yes, they will.
But the way that it works, like I just know for a fact, like I can speak for myself on this, I guess, not everybody. But like Friday night, and I know the matchup's going to be worse because you can't just not getting like 8 great games, right? Not going to have a great game on Monday night and Sunday night and Thursday night and Wednesday night and, whatever. It's not going to work out. So it's going to be another bad matchup, and I'm not wasting my Friday night watching Atlanta. Pass. I just won't watch it. I know that there are exceptions. I think you're more the exception to the rule, not the majority of people who just be like, well, it's Friday night and the Falcons are on, so I'll watch it. Like, I think more people just be like, no. Unless it is just some marquee matchup, some marquee version, I'm not going out there and seeking out these games. This feels like the level of greed that it's not worth it. You have
and by
a
the way, I want
great
to point
thing
out, the
going.
NFL is not suggesting this is literally a complete speculation by Mike Florio that they could do. So, I don't want to make it seem like the NFL's voting on this.
No, but we know that we do know that they're starting to play games now every Friday, the day after
I think
Thanksgiving.
We're gonna get,
so how long before they're like, what if we played Friday all the time?
Oh, I think we will get to Thursday through Monday on a fairly consistent basis in the next 5 to 10 years. I think that's pretty clear. We already have it Thursday. The Saturday thing is the one that I would not mind at all. I know we have college football. People love college football. But if you tell me that we don't wait until December for Saturday NFL games, I'm perfectly fine having 2 Saturday NFL games starting in October. That's perfectly fine with me. The one point that someone brings up, we all love NFL Red Zone Channel. It would suck if they split this up more days because then all of a sudden Red Zone Channel just doesn't seem like the same thing. No, because
it's going to be like 3 games. Not going to be nearly as interesting. Because that's the other thing. It's just diluting the product. And maybe they'll be like, well, no big deal. We'll just add more teams. That's how we'll negate it, right?
Yeah.
That's because this is when this is going to happen. You're saying, when would they actually go to an everyday, weekly Friday game? It's when they make a European expansion and they put 4 teams there. That's when they would do it. Because now they're like, well, now we have even more. But, like, think about the quality of play you get amongst the bad teams anyway. Whenever teams get added to this mix, it's not going to be good quality football. We don't have enough quarterbacks anyway that are good enough to play in this league. My God, Derek Carr's going to play at least 50. Someone will still want him as their quarterback by the time we're done
That's
here.
the balance all the leagues have to consider when they do expansion. It's why the league hasn't had expansion since the Texans. Houston Texans came in the league in the early 2000s. I mean, it's not something you do very often for that reason. It's why the NHL is kind of discussed. There's thoughts of Houston or Kansas City or Atlanta adding hockey, but the league's like, well, it's kind of there's some rosters that are pretty thin already. That's the concern. As much of a cash grab as it is, that's like the concern even with soccer. MLS is expanding like crazy, right? They just added a St. Louis franchise, but you start wondering, like, the product and the talent level, and you can get the quick money.
Do you
grab.
have enough players, good, talented players, to fill out all these rosters? It's a fair question with the NFL. I just feel like this would be one of those times you'd be like, don't let the greed get the better of you. you have the best product in sports. You own 3 days a week anyway. That's good enough. To me, it's like if you want to change how often or where you're getting more, then do the Monday night double headers more often. Like, take even more advantage. Spread the thing out. Don't add a new day. I don't see the point of adding a new day.
Trash of the day.
All right, let's get to the trash of the day. We know we've discussed stadium proposals on the show before. You know, I'm not a huge fan of the idea of proposing at a baseball stadium or a football stadium anyway.
That's not where you want to get proposed to? Or that's not? You just in general?
I just think in general, I don't think they make any sense.
Would you be fine if a lady proposed to you instead of the other way around?
Sure, whatever. You're not going to turn this into some like sexist thing, that conversation that you would like to have.
No,
but anyway,
I was just asking Wow.
No, because Cody likes to do this thing where he tries to act like he's sometimes a little bit more superior to people on this kind of stuff. But when it comes to
posturing,
baseball fans, there was a baseball proposal last night where fan was on the field, spread on the field, trespassing. Normally we see this and the guy just gets tackled right away and we move on. The problem is he was trying to propose and he sprints on the field, proposes to his girlfriend. He gets down on one knee and he gets absolutely destroyed and flattened.
Talk
in
about
a
form tackle.
It was impressive.
Why did he run at him so fast? The guy was kneeling. It's not like he was going to get away.
I don't care. Dude, if you're a security guy working a baseball game or a sporting event, you're looking for any opportunity to level someone because you have clearance to do so. So why wouldn't you?
So there was a Dodgers fan. It was at the game, and yeah, he tried to propose to his girlfriend on the field. He gets slammed by a security guard, and he never dropped the ring, though. Never dropped the ring in the whole process.
So do you think he just was prepared? Like he knew that hit was coming? I mean, if you run on the field, you don't think that you're just going back into the stands afterward. Do we know if the girl said yes?
We don't. I don't think. There's a camera.
There's video. They tried to show her, but you couldn't really tell what was going on.
Yeah, it cuts back to her. Oh, here we go. Here's the update. Yeah, his girlfriend, now fiance, said yes.
Fiance,
After getting sacked like that, she said yes. And there's a photo. I don't know. He's not in a wheelchair. I would expect him. And the dude got just destroyed.
I mean, it was a clean tackle. There was no targeting. There's no head-to-head contact.
You got to give him credit. This is different than a normal stadium proposal. Normally, it's just like you're sitting in the stands. This guy went onto the field to propose. Extra effort.
Do you think that the punishment should be the same? Because normally you run on the field just to be an idiot. This guy had a mission behind it. Should his punishment be the same?
Yes.
It's still trespassing.
Of course it should be the same.
No, I think he was doing it out of love, and they should punish him less.
So they just, new stadiums start having policies. They're like, okay, so, don't run on the field unless it's for love.
If Fountain Lady was proposing, I feel like she should have gotten less of a fine, you know?
What was her fine as is?
I don't know. I don't remember what didn't she get kicked out? Like, she wasn't allowed back in the stadium?
I mean, a lot of these, if you go on the field, you're done at the stadium, and then you end up in jail
never can return to the site where you got engaged?
Yeah, he can never go to Dodgers. He's got a hell of a story. And the video went viral. I mean, this guy's going to have problems walking here very soon if he doesn't already. I mean, he got destroyed.
Yeah, but he got hit up top, right?
He did. Yes, he did not. He got hit up top, but still, with the concussion.
I'll bet you the security guard's in more pain than that guy is.
You think? I mean, the video.
He was
if you
running
haven't
full
seen
speed
it,
and hit something sitting perfectly
and then
still.
you hit you hit an object that's not moving. I bet you that it would hurt your shoulder.
I mean, the video in the still frame of the guy not knowing it's coming yet, and he's on his knee, and the ring's out, and this dude you can see is already lunging towards him. The still frame is fantastic. You should watch the video if you haven't already. This guy at a Dodgers game last night ran on the field to propose to his girlfriend.
And I think he should. I think the security guard should tackle him like that because you don't know if the guy is going to stand up and start running at any point. So you can't give him a moment to try and get up and evade you. You got to get him to the ground. It's the name of the game.
The entire time. He hit him so hard. I thought maybe my biggest concern was he's going to get his leg twisted up underneath his body. But the guy's fine. Got arrested.
Why are you so concerned for the criminal?
I think, everyone deserves some protection, This guy's allowed to just run a 40-yard dash and lay somebody out?
Didn't somebody
just because they're on a field?
Didn't somebody sue a security guard last year? Was it
that soccer match one, right?
Yeah, I don't know what ever happened. Oh, the NFL player. It was
that's what it was.
Bobby Wagner, right? Who just signed back with Seattle. Bobby Wagner of the Rams. There was someone that ran on the field, and he came off the sideline and tackled this dude. And as he was the security guard tore his ACL as he was running after the guy too. And so there's someone sued Bobby Wagner. Then the security guard was upset about it. This happened during the football season this past year.
I kind of vaguely remember that.
I think as a security guard, you're less likely to get sued.
Well, that's
than
your job.
NFL player.
It's your actual job description.
And they're fired up to just go and demolish somebody.
Honestly, that security guard's probably going to have. This is his one chance. This is his only chance to tackle someone who's on the field. This is going to be his only opportunity. And honestly, he crushed it.
All his friends are texting him today. He's the man today.
Yeah, probably.
His phone is blowing up. Dude, you laid that guy out.
That's why more people are doing. I don't know if we're having him happen more. We just see him more because of social media. But some of this kind of stuff people are doing because they know they're going to go viral for it, so they're more likely to do this.
I was talking about the security guard.
You mean
he's saying the security guard's
phone's blown up today.
The security guard,
that dude.
Yeah. I'm thinking also
he's the hero amongst all security guards.
The guy that proposed, probably people think it's hilarious. His friends probably think it's great too.
Yeah, but that's a little more sophomoric, where it's like, okay, anybody can run onto a field if you really wanted to. If you didn't care about the repercussions, if you didn't care about getting arrested. That security guard, though, not everybody brings down a streaker or a guy crashing a game quite that well.
If we did a poll question on Twitter before they stop allowing us to do poll questions on Twitter tomorrow, I think actually, as a matter of fact, we better get poll questions up tonight.
Wait, is this my last day with a blue check mark?
Well, if it's yes, I think it might be. It might be. Unless you
had a good run,
If we did a poll question of who's most likely the station to run on the field at Kauffman Stadium and get tackled, you're winning the poll, right, Nick?
He has run on the field before.
You are winning
in a ketchup costume.
Well, yeah,
in a legal manner.
I was permitted to be there.
I think the answer would be you. Like if we were to put a poll question to you, Rob, B-Dub.
I would never do that. I would never. I mean,
but you'd be most. I don't think you would.
I guess I understand that, but I want people to know, like, it's not something in a million years I would ever, even for a split second, consider doing.
I believe you, but you have to agree. Like out of everybody at the station, your on-air persona, everybody would believe that. That's more likely to be you.
Yeah, but that's just a persona, man. Deep down, that's the thing. When you really peel back the layers of this onion, you're going to find a softie. You're going to find a good man, a good American man.
Who's your pick then? Who would do it at the station?
Well, there's a lot of people at the station who aren't who they claim to be, who aren't who they try to be on air. A lot of people are putting up a front for their radio personalities. And I think maybe over the weekend, a lot of people should spend some time in the bathroom looking in the mirror.
So who's your answer?
I think Cody would do it. I think Cody.
No, I wouldn't.
I don't think he
for
would.
attention. He wants attention. Like,
I don't think he would. I don't think he would do that.
I mean, I do love attention, but not that kind.
What if you got Dusty just absolutely rip-roaring drunk? If you got Dusty just absolutely tossed.
He might be number 2 in the poll, like, results. If we were to do a poll with 10 people, you two would probably have the most votes.
I think that's the common denominator for everyone is we just assume you're wasted when you do it.
Yes.
Right?
Well, this guy was proposing. I don't think he was drunk. I think this guy was sober as can be. You don't be drunk while you're proposing. That's terrible.
Wait, you think this guy was sober?
Yeah, he brought the ring with him. Like, he had intention to the ballpark. He brought an engagement ring.
Yeah, but I don't think that – I don't necessarily –
did he have a beer or two? Sure, but I don't think he was trashed. No.
I don't know, man. It's just tough to imagine ever making the decision to go on the field sober.
If you're not proposing, I think so. Like, I think if you're not proposing, then yes. But because he was going there to actually do that, I think maybe he planned on it for a while. All right, let's get to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. That's coming up next. Clark Hunt was asked about that NFL PA survey where the Chiefs did not grade out very well. His reaction to that and what actually could happen going forward. We'll get to that next.
You're listening to Cody and Gold, brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com. Subscribe and download all new episodes of Nick's Wavin' in the Wheat podcast, released every Thursday on the 435 Podcast Network and the Odyssey app.
Hey everybody, this is Andrew Filipponi here, bringing you the parlay of the day, brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Let's take one last look at the Final Four matchups before Saturday's games. In the last 20 Final Four matchups, favorites are 10-10 against the spread. But I'm going with two favorites to cover. San Diego State -1.5 versus FAU, with a smothering three-point defense that held Alabama and Creighton to 11% from the outside. UConn looks like national championship material, beating teams by an average of 23 points in the tournament. A UConn and San Diego State parlay pays +250. That's it for the parlay of the day. Brought to you by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app today with America's #1 sportsbook.
21 plus in President, Kansas. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering professional-grade industrial supplies, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to answer your toughest questions. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Imagine a world with endless possibilities. I'm talking endless saving and endless hot showers. Yeah, you heard me right. Endless hot showers. With Navien, that dream is now a reality. Navien tankless water heaters deliver a continuous flow of hot water for as long as you need it. No waiting for a tank to reheat more water, wasting time and energy. The compact design saves you space and money in comparison to traditional tank water heaters. It's time to make the switch and make your hot water dreams come true. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation and discreet shipping if prescribed. You'll love your results. To start your free online visit, go to 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Some people bring joy wherever they go. Some whenever they go. Mark Twain found humor all around. Never argue with a fool. Onlookers may not be able to tell the difference. Humor. Pass it on from passiton.com.
Storms ending, becoming cloudy. High today 71.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Staples stores are a new world of possible with innovative tools for small business and remote workers and learners. Explore more at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com.
The 610 Sports Radio phone line is brought to you by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
This report is brought to you by KC Customs. We put the customs in KC. KC-Customs.com. This is an urgent message for all truck and Jeep owners. Is your rig ready for spring? Jeep ready to hit the trails? Truck ready to tow that camper? If not, you got to see the pros at KC Customs. KC's most trusted truck and Jeep outfitters.
Chiefs Kingdom. This is Mitch Holtis, and welcome into the Chiefs Red Half Hour on Cody and Gold. Every day at 11:30 on your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
All right, let's get back into the Chiefs during the Chiefs Red Half Hour on Cody and Gold. So Clark Hunt was asked by Nate Taylor and reporters at the NFL owners meetings about that NFLPA survey. You guys remember a couple weeks ago, the NFLPA came out with a survey. And it was the first time they had done this. They had players. We still don't know how many players actually participated in this, but the Chiefs did not grade out very well. A lot of it had to do with the facilities, and we talked about that. That probably won't,
a little with their training staff.
Totally change until maybe there's renovations or a new stadium. But yeah, the training staff won, where Rick Burkhalter and the training staff graded as one of the worst, bottom two, I think it was, in the NFL, which we were surprised by as well, especially it was coming on the heels of the great story about how much they did for the ankle of Patrick Mahomes and the praise they were getting. So Clark Hunt, in particular, addressed the survey results. He took issue with some of these. He said, quote, "The comments on Rick," talking about training staff Rick Burkhalter, "I thought were really surprising," Hunt said. "The feedback I hear from the players about Rick and our training staff is really, really positive. That didn't mesh for me." He went on to say that, quote, "You're always disappointed when an evaluation comes out and you're not high," Hunt said. As we looked at it and then talked to Andy Reid, he felt like there were some reasons on some of the things that were mentioned from a football standpoint. Nevertheless, he sees value in the process. I think surveys like that are also positive because maybe they show you some blind spots. He went on to say you can always learn from them. If there are things we can improve, we'll do that. In the long range, those things will be fixed. But it didn't sound like he was all that happy with the results of the survey, where the Chiefs finished last with a D-. And that's a team that is a championship organization. I'm sure you don't like what it looks like publicly to your fans that you're a championship organization. And based on this survey, you didn't grade out well.
Well, in a year that you're trying to attract free agency. This is the whole point of this, by the way, is the NFLPA wants to shed some light on some of these teams who maybe have some skeptical practices or have had some or sketchy practices, right? Who over time have maybe cut some corners or have been more willing to put players that are hurt or whatever, right? It doesn't really matter the individual thing. And I do think that you have to take them somewhat seriously because the NFLPA has been wanting to do this for a decade. This is not going to be the only thing they put out, which means on an annual basis, one version of this report will come out. And if you consistently rate poorly, like Washington did, and probably, well, maybe not will, now that they're going to have a new owner. But the little things that show up in there is going to matter to free agents. It just is. If you're a player who's oft injured, whose training staff doesn't rate well, that would factor into my decision. If you're a player who cares, I don't know, but cares about having to pay for Wi-Fi on a plane, right? That was the Yankees example.
The Cardinals, though, were the
Cardinals are making them pay for food if they come in for training in the offseason. You're like, are you insane? I'm doing off-season work for you. I don't have to do.
I think it matters more. Look, they should all strive to have great facilities and all this kind of stuff. But if we're being real, the free agency thing is way more important on these grades for the crappy team, right?
You can't. The Royals used to pay this price in baseball. It's the bad team tax,
right? So
the bad team tax exists everywhere.
So, for instance, the Chiefs. We already knew the grades here. We're just talking about it again because Clark Hunt addressed it for the first time, but. They got a D+ for food service and nutrition. That was tied for 18th in the league. The quality of food ranked 15th. And then it said only 50% of players say there's enough room in the cafeteria. The quality of food.
You can't control the room in the cafeteria.
Yeah,
it's the size of the cafeteria. It's a limited space building.
Yeah, I don't know what to say on that. The weight room, C+ for the Chiefs, tied for 22nd. It says the weight room is seen as slightly below average. 97% feel they have enough strength coaches. So there wasn't really much of a reation why it graded poorly. It just was a C+. So some of the stuff, there were more specific details that when we discussed, like the lockers, one of the comments from players where the Chiefs rated D- for the locker room. Many players complained that they want to have a chair at their locker instead of a stool. Okay. Very simple solution.
Going back on that. It's so silly.
That one, I roll my eyes at. Okay, fine. Get him a damn chair. Okay? Easy fix.
But maybe it's that they have stools because the limited amount of space available in Arrowhead. You realize that every couple of inches and all that stuff makes a difference, and that could be part of the, the hang-up. To me, this is the thing. Clark Hunt should take this, and if he's smart, he'll use it as leverage for why he needs new facilities. Look, guys, we want to do everything we can for you. We really do. We want to give you chairs instead of stools. We want there to be more room inside of the cafeteria for you. But we can't do those things, Chiefs fans. We can't do that unless we're this. This is the whole thing that still seems confusing to me about the stadium stuff. That I understand they're not going to be on the same property anymore. But, man, they should have figured out a way to ask for these stadiums at the same time if you're Kansas City, if you're the Royals, because the Chiefs are going to get whatever they want. They're too good. They're just way too good. They're not just kind of good. They are the best team in the NFL. They're one of the best franchises in all of sports. If they come to the city and they're like, we'd like some money, please. I don't care what part of the city we're talking about, Kansas or Missouri side. They're going to get it. They're just going to get it. If it has to go to ballot measure, they're going to get it. They're going to get every penny of it. It's just, but you can use these things as leverage for why you need it. Hell, if I were the Royals, I'd be saying this. Look, we feel some of the same. We would also like better facilities, and there's limitations. We all get out to Kauffman. It's a beautiful stadium. It is. But when you talk about those concrete issues, you can still see them. You can see in the concourse. They got big hot glue strips down the middle of it where you got to fix cracks all the time. It was just built in a weird time for stadiums. Turns out that the 70s and building a big concrete dome, maybe bowl, maybe wasn't the best strategy. And they didn't know that at the time. It's going to cause problems for these teams going forward.
Yeah, I wonder your point about the Chiefs and the Royals tie-in with the stadium stuff going forward. I still, before the Royal Stadium project gets on the ballot, or when it does, if we, at that point in time, will have our answer on what the Chiefs' intentions are as well. Maybe it's not voting on the same ballot measure and the sales tax increase at the same time, but by the time someone steps in to to go vote, whether it's August or it's next April, whatever, I would wonder, will we know already at that point what the Chiefs' intentions are? Not what the plan fully is in terms of dollar amount. But at that point, when you vote on whether or not you're going to approve a sales tax increase or extension, right, I think is what they would say, do you know if the Chiefs are renovating? Do you know if the Chiefs' intentions are a new stadium? Do you know if their intentions are to stay at the complex? And I wonder if we will have that clarity by the time the Royals are asking you for that vote.
Doesn't it feel like the Chiefs are trying to be quiet until the Royals announce their plan?
Yeah, because it directly impacts them. And they also can't get ahead of the Royals. Like, they don't want to say, oh, yeah, we're going to build where Kaufman is. And people go, wait a second.
We're bulldozing, and you're like, dude, they're still there.
It's like, they haven't even approved the new stadium yet. How are you going to do that?
You can't promise to bulldoze the stadium? That's the saddest part. Like, I don't know what you would do with it. I've seen, like, in other countries' way. Like, I don't want Kaufman to go away forever, but also, like, is there not enough land around there to just not bulldoze Kaufman and turn it into something else?
You just want it to just...
I don't know. In other countries, I've seen people like turn old soccer stadiums into like retail space.
Well, and if there's like a zombie apocalypse, they'll have to use it as like a safe haven. They'll like it'll be a fortress.
Look, like the
Would that make a good fortress?
Yeah, hell yeah, concrete.
Like the Astrodome,
but it's failing concrete based on the reports.
Like for some reason, for some reason, the Astrodome is still up in Houston. Makes no sense. It's got asbestos. You can't go in there. It's a mess. Like, but why not? Why is it not torn down?
Well, I mean, Kaufman doesn't have like asbestos.
No,
it's still a very nice building.
No, but my point is, you said like, why did it turn? Like, I don't need a stadium 30. I don't need Kauffman Stadium 30 years from now vacant and not being used and just there. Go ahead and tear it down if that's the case. Like, the Astrodome should be torn down in Houston.
Well, do you think that's going to happen to like what happened to the airport? That like they're just going to stop fixing stuff once they now start going downtown? It's just light bulbs burnt out, and they're like, I'm not dealing with this. That's somebody else's problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. If they weren't leaving Arrowhead there, we wouldn't care because you'd never go out there anyway. So you'd say, whatever, leave it, don't leave it. I don't care. I'm never going to get off at that exit again.
Man, that Taco Bell is one of the best in the city, man.
Their sales are going to crater.
I'm joking.
Have you ever been to that Taco Bell?
Of course I've had. Yeah, I'm sure Cody has too. Yeah.
I've been to the Minute Mart too, and the other gas station at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
There are 3 spots to go to. I've been to all of them.
Yeah, I've been to the Denny's, Taco Bell at some point in the last 30 years.
I hope this is a mock draft of food options near the stadium. What's the number 1 pick?
Taco Bell.
Probably Taco Bell.
Denny's, you got to go in and sit down if you need something quick. Taco Bell's the only option.
More like Mako Bell.
Oh my God.
Because that's the mock draft sounder, guys. That means there's a new mock draft out there on the internet.
Okay.
And this one comes to us courtesy. This is a big boy one. This one comes to us courtesy of Bruce Feldman, one of the most
football guy.
Plugged in college football insiders / reporters / writers in the biz. Also very plugged in with NFL draft happenings. And in his mock draft, his first one, I don't even know if he does multiple, but this is the first one he's come out with. At pick 31, he has the Chiefs selecting Will McDonald IV, edge rusher from Iowa State.
And his name is still the most popular one.
Bruce Feldman does his freaks list for college football every year, which is basically pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Most freakishly athletic guys in football. He had Will McDonald at 5th on the list. Says if he were 15 pounds heavier, he'd be a top 5 pick.
That's it? Just 15 pounds?
Well, so
maybe he could eat at that Taco Bell across the street.
That's the thing with some of these guys that people have been mocking to the Chiefs, the edge rushers that will probably be available. I don't know if Nolan Smith will still be there, but Will McDonald IV, B.J. Ojulari, they're under. These guys are like 6'3", 240, 6'3", 230. Super athletic, but that's why they're available at the end of the first round, is because you question the physicality. What's that going to look like at the next level? Your athleticism better really shine, because even Frank Clark, who we think of as being a speed rusher, he's not this big. He had slimmed down last year, and I think he was playing at like 250.
It was so noticeable
255, 260.
How much weight he
lost.
So
he had been at like 270, and that was undersized for an edge rusher. So if you're coming in the league at like 235, 240, you're really, really undersized. So bare minimum, you have to put on weight, no matter what.
It feels like when the Chiefs, this is the one thing that doesn't make sense. So the way you're describing him, Nick, the Chiefs have pretty consistently under Brett Veach gone with versatile defensive linemen, but always the guys who are versatile on the bigger end. Minihue, Jones, even Clark for a majority of his playing time, they were versatile on the like 270, 280 end. Can we think of a single guy that they targeted that was like the 240, like the 240-pound defensive end?
No, I mean, the only one that you would look at is Frank Clark, who you didn't draft, obviously. You traded for, and even he was, over 260, 270 when they got him. So,
I'm looking at George Karlaftis. They're saying he played at 265. So, I mean, even that's still, that's skinnier than Frank Clark was.
That's a built 265.
Yeah, I feel like that's an underestimate. 6'4", 265, does that seem right to you? I feel like he must have been playing 280.
He's just so freaking strong. He's got big old legs, strong arms. He's got a good base to him. So, that's not who these dudes are. Most of these speed rushers that we're talking about that are maybe going to be available to the Chiefs at the end of the first round, a lot of them don't have that strength, which, yeah, you're going to add strength when you get to the NFL, but that's still going to be a question mark. If I gave you those three dudes and just told you one of them is not going to work out in the league because they're going to be undersized, they're just going to get manhandled by NFL offensive tackles, and they're just going to be dudes.
But that guy's only going to be able to play outside. You're not putting somebody 240 pounds in the middle. They'd get run over.
Well, no, and I think ideally they would be, a traditional outside linebacker, but Chiefs don't really use those.
No, and that's the other thing. It's those versatile guys that are tweeners, the in-between size, because they run this very, not fully traditional, but they run more of a structured 4-3 with what looks like a traditional middle linebacker with kind of somewhat slow and outside linebackers at times. It's they don't run with those guys or blitz with those guys. That's not who they send on, Pat. They send their corners and stuff. They do it different than a lot of teams in the NFL.
As we've talked about with Will McDonald multiple times, the thing with him, of course, is age as well, right? So you're getting a more experienced football player. Do you feel like he's already reached his physical capability as well anyway because of his age? I think that's a question. But also any of these undersized guys, don't you feel like they're just mainly going to be third down passer? They're basically you're going to have to rotate someone in there even more than you normally
Chiefs,
would. Yeah. More of a third down. Hey, he is strictly in here.
Year one, 100%. I think if you're drafting any of these guys, you are banking on the fact that 3 years from now, they'll be 15 pounds heavier, they'll be stronger, they'll be able to match the physicality and be like a 3-technique pass rusher, which is a risk, but kind of feels like a broken record, but we keep going back. Yeah, there's risk no matter what. Whatever position you're taking.
At 31?
At 31. If this guy, like Bruce Feldman says here, if he were already 15 pounds heavier, the Chiefs wouldn't be in on him. He'd be going to Las Vegas or Detroit.
Yeah, it's funny as we're talking about. NFL Network has their top 50 players. Nolan Smith, who you referenced, they have him listed as the 16th best player. The Nolan Smith.
How long are his arms? Can we talk about that with McDonald?
If you run long, dude, that's the thing about McDonald. He's not physically. He's not heavy. He is not super strong. He's not tall, but his explosiveness. He's got long. He's lanky. And he's very explosive. And that's kind of, I think, one of my favorite comparisons I've seen for him is Bruce Irvin, who's been a good, if you drafted Bruce Irvin
at 31,
you'd be pretty happy.
Wasn't he like a surprise pick at 17 when they took him?
I don't remember the background on him.
I feel like he was one of those guys that people thought he got taken too high at the time he got taken.
Yes, I think
it was a full round higher. People had him as a second round grade guy, and he ended up going quite a bit higher than that. And look, I don't know that he's ever worked out to that, but he's got 55 career sacks. You're right, Nick. It's if you took a guy who got, because Bruce Irvin is a 5 to 8 sack guy. It's if you take that 31, you could do a lot worse.
Yeah.
You can have a balanced pass rush at that. Because our hope at this point, the Chiefs' hope at this point should be very simple. Chris Jones maintains his level as a dominant interior player as around a 10 sack guy. Karlaftis develops into that guy we were talking about, 8 to 12 sacks, right? He'll run into those 10 sack years. Most of the time, he'll get you 8, 9, 10, and then you can fill in the Bruce Irvins of the world. That makes for a really great pass rush. A guy who gets 5 to 8 to couple with 2 guys who can get you double digits in a year, that'll put you in one of the best pass rush units in the NFL consistently year after year.
Yeah, that's the perfect scenario. All that.
It is. Well, one thing's true for sure. Chris Jones is going to, at least for now, maintain his dominance in the middle. We don't know about Karlaftis yet. That's optimistic to say he's going to turn into an 8 to 12 sack guy. But it's not out of question because he already outperformed expectations in year one.
We know every offseason there's new head coaching hires. Typically there's 5 new coaches that are hired. And Travis Kelce and his brother Jason Kelce on the New Heights podcast, they were going through and Jason asked Travis to name every coach that was in the owners meeting photo last week, and the audio is fantastic. I'm also curious how many of these we would have been able to name as well, but just listen to this. This was from the New Heights podcast.
We show players this picture, and they have to name each coach in this picture. Let's give the Travis Kelce try right now.
I'm the worst with names, but I can tell you team.
Starting on the left.
Chargers, Giants.
Yep.
San Fran. The f*** is that guy?
That was
No
Josh
chance you're getting
McDaniels.
this one. 0% chance.
No clue. Jets. After Jets, nothing. I've never seen that man in my life.
This is so good.
I mean, 3 in a row. I have no idea who those dudes are.
That was our offensive coordinator, Shane Steichen for the Colts. Come on, Travis.
So who's next to Dougie P? Who the?
You should know that one. You should definitely know that
I know
one.
D'Amico. Who's the other one?
You should know him because he's arguably your biggest rival.
Oh, that's Cincy. He's a dog.
Start with Matt Foley.
Cowboy. Matt Foley. Again, never seen this fucking guy in my life.
It's my defensive coordinator.
Miami. Damn it. There's no way that guy coaches in the NFL, man. Then Pete Carroll, Harbaugh, obviously, the next Rivera, Broncos country, let's ride. Gordon Bombay, we got the Packers, and then no clue, and then Bills.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how much better I could do.
The Jason Kelsey laugh is incredible.
Because it's genuine. He's just
Jason
blown
Kelce.
away that Travis knows 3 coaches in the NFL, and the rest he's like, I don't know who that guy is.
I was trying to think, how many do you honestly, if the exact same exercise? I feel
2/3?
I feel like I could get to 25 or 26. Because Shane Steichen, I couldn't. He could walk in right now. I would. So there's a couple of the
am I
new
also
guys.
going to know Jonathan Gannon?
Those are the
I only
two.
know that because those are 2 of the guys in the list that he doesn't know who they are.
Yeah, Gannon and Steichen, I wouldn't be able to pick out. But I think you'd surprise yourself how many you could do as well. Because if you watch a lot of football, you do see these guys on the sideline. This is way different. The NFL's the only sport where you could even get anywhere near this. You did baseball, we'd be talking 4.
Oh, no.
Be like
Maybe.
4.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
It'd be like
I get Q, and then
you get Pedro Grafal only because
Pedro Grafal.
so you get that. You get AJ Hinch up in Detroit.
Yeah.
You get Dusty down in Houston.
Yeah, that's about it.
And that might be.
I was surprised. I'll say this: as far as baseball managers go, shocked to find out that Jack McKeon was still around. Yesterday when they announced the manager, I was like, Jack McKeon? I hadn't heard that name in so long.
Yes, the manager's one you really have no. I mean, don't even talk about hockey. I couldn't.
Well,
name
it's
you
the same thing. It's
hockey
like
manager.
It's like he can't name baseball players. Like Nick went through the guys who finished top 10 in Cy Young last year, and he was like, I don't know who any of these people are. That's baseball's problem. They don't
so regionalized. Too.
Yeah, and they don't advertise their stuff well.
By the way, you shouldn't be able to name 30 of the 30 baseball man. I mean, honestly, there's no reason why
baseball, but there's just no way.
There's no reason why you should know that. The man, it's just different.
They're also the least important coach of all the major sports.
It is funny to me though that we know the NFL's king, right? But the NFL coaches, thank goodness, they don't wear football uniforms. Right, baseball managers wear baseball uniforms, and yet those are the ones that we don't actually know who the hell they are, and they're the ones in uniform.
I know, but they got to get rid of it. They got to stop.
It is weird.
It's bizarre. How many NBA coaches do you think? You sure it's just
more
football?
More than MLB, yeah, more than Major League Baseball, but not anywhere near the NFL. But
anywhere near half.
That
NBA's probably not half.
Pushing it, I don't think so. We're not an NBA market. I don't watch NBA every night. I watch NFL basically every damn game. NBA, it's during the regular season here and there, and then, of course, the postseason.
Nick, how many do you think you could name? I'm not surprised Travis couldn't. He's played with one team his entire career. It is not his job to know any other coaching staff.
But I'm surprised because I feel like you would you literally sometimes hug them after game. Like, you see them after games. I just feel like you would notice the NFL head coaches.
I don't know. I wouldn't have known the Colts coach. I wouldn't have known the Cardinals coach. I wouldn't have known the Bears coach. Like, I know it's Matt Eberflus, but I don't know what he looks like.
Picking him out, okay.
I have no idea what he looks like.
You can name coaches, but yeah, the look is the.
Yeah, I know all their names. I just don't know. Like, I don't think which is weird. Like, Matt Eberflus has been in the NFL for a full season, and I don't know what he looks like.
It's like pulling up a photo of him. I'm like, that's what he looks like.
I have no idea what he looks like. I didn't know what Nathaniel Hackett looked like till week 1. I didn't know what Kevin McConnell looked like until I didn't realize he was so tall and jacked, but I didn't know what he looked like until like week 8 or 9.
Do you only notice the handsome ones? Is that why you know what Kevin Stefanski looks like?
Do a little double take. Like, whoa.
Who are you? Oh man. No, it's like Cliff Kingsbury. It's like you in the NFL, they make you more of a star because everyone agrees you matter a lot. They show you on the sidelines a lot. Yeah. They show you talking to players a lot. Like they don't show baseball managers nearly that amount.
They do. It's regionalized. I mean, they do. It's just like you're not sitting around on Sunday night watching baseball, like you're not sitting there on a Sunday watching 7 different baseball games. There's not, on Red Zone channel, they cut to so many games. Like you feel like you can name so many players and so many coaches in the NFL.
I just love that audio so much. Travis was being unapologetically himself there, which is just like, look, he's like, I can't even name their names. He's like, but I'll tell you their team, which is like, okay, good enough, right? To still not know, to like hesitate on Cincinnati's coach, to not know Josh McDaniels at all. Like, some of the ones that kill me are the ones that are, like, in his own division or have been main rivals of his team forever. It's like the only guys he knew for sure are the guys who'd been NFL head coaches for the better part of, like, his entire NFL career. It's like Harbaugh, Peyton, like, it's those guys. Those are the only ones he was for sure of across the board, which is the best, I guess. I'm glad I wish Jason would have sent out the video of his attempt, but once he announced him, it's like there's no point in both of them doing it.
They're doing that live taping of their podcast during the draft week as well. New Heights podcast. It'll be at KC Music Hall. All right, coming up next, we'll get to what's trending. Then we get back into opening day. Yesterday, we were all out there, had a great time. A couple things happened involving this show, and one thing clearly stood out when it comes to baseball going forward. That's next.
There's Kelsey to the end zone.
Cody and Gold brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com. Don't miss the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day at 11:30 on your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
Every once in a while, I'll run into someone, or we'll get a text right into the show that'll say, hey, DuraVision, I hear you talking about it. I've been putting off LASIK for a while. Is it really as easy as you make it seem? And the answer is yes. I called DuraVision, same way you guys should do it. Call them up. Schedule that free consultation. You're going to go in. The staff is great. They're going to take all these images of your eye. They're going to put together a great plan that's designed just for you, not a one-size-fits-all approach. And they'll show you the images. They'll exactly explain, here's what's up with your eye. Here's where your eye can be. Here's where your vision can be. And here's how we're going to do it. And just a few days later, I was scheduled for my SBK Advanced LASIK. The very next day, I was able to drive into work. And as the weeks and months went on, I don't have any pain. I don't have any vision problems. The haloing I had at night while driving, all that is gone. Now I just wake up and I see every single day, and it's better than I've ever seen before in my entire life. DuraVision is the best in Kansas City. 913-491-3330. That's the phone number to call for your consultation. 913-491-3330. Or go online to DuraVision.com.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns. And here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering professional-grade industrial supplies, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to answer your toughest questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Take your shot during BetMGM's March matchups and instantly receive $200 in bonus bets. Simply sign up using bonus code CTAP200 and place a $10 bet on any college basketball tournament game. Win or lose, $200 in bonus bets will be added to your account right away. It is that easy. Plus, you'll discover a wide variety of parlay selection features, daily boosted odds specials, and much more. Download the BetMGM app today and use that promo code CTAP200. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager, Kansas only. New customers offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
When people have a craving to explore new and traditional Asian cuisines, they head to P.F. Chang's, where scratch-made dishes come from the 2,000-year-old tradition of wok cooking. P.F. Chang's wanted to explore new possibilities for their website. They turned to AmericanEagle.com. AmericanEagle.com re-architected P.F. Chang's website, integrating multiple third-party systems to create a unified digital experience. The results? Improved page speed and performance, personalized content based on users' location, intuitive online ordering, and increase in organic search, 40% increase in new users. For scratch-made Asian cuisine, visit your local P.F. Chang's or go to pfchangs.com for website design, development, digital marketing, and hosting that produce efficiency, revenue, and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. P.F. Chang's and AmericanEagle.com. Another example of the best businesses in the world, turning to the best in the business for websites. Go to AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Max Motors Studios. Subscribe and download to the all-new Character Concerns podcast with new episodes every Tuesday leading up to the NFL Draft in KC. Find it on the Odyssey app, 610sports.com, or wherever you get your podcasts. KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty, always live on the free Odyssey app. What's trending?
All right, let's check in on the hot topics trending.
Number one on what's trending, the Final Four. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it, certainly with the field and with opening day and everything, but the Final Four tomorrow down in Houston, and the ticket prices, man, are absolutely insane. Like $75. Like $75.
Insane in a weird way.
Yeah, not as outrageously priced, but you can get in for $75 for both of this national semifinal games tomorrow night. The first one will be Miami and UConn, and then, of course, the second one will be Florida Atlantic. The first one's Florida Atlantic in San Diego State. The last one is Miami and UConn. It's crazy. I mean, if you're in Houston, this is your chance to go to a Final Four, even if they're teams you don't care about. But when else are you going to get into a Final Four for under $100? There's also the women's Final Four going on today. That's 3-seed LSU against 1-seed Virginia Tech. And then Caitlin Clark in Iowa. She's awfully impressive to watch on a nightly basis if you can. Didn't catch her performance. What was it?
40-point triple-double?
Yeah, which is insane. Iowa's going to take on South Carolina, who's amazing. But that's tonight, so there's Final Four weekend.
It is weird that the NCAA, that the men's tournament is so, but it's also like it's a football stadium, man. The seats aren't good, and then you get lesser-known teams. And I don't care about theirs. I'm still excited to watch Florida Atlantic hopefully win the national championship.
I'm going to watch the game. I'm going to watch the games, but I'll be out. Like, yesterday, maybe it's just because here in Kansas City we're locked in opening day. Like,
yeah,
I was kind of, I forgot. Like, that is tomorrow. That is tomorrow, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's Final Four weekend. Yeah, it does come up on you quickly. Next up on What's Trending, the Chiefs have announced they will extend their stay in St. Joe for training camp through the 2024 season. There may be some rumblings about the possibility of some other sites that might work, but I gotta be honest, Andy likes a routine, and going up to St. Joe has been a huge part of their routine. So for at least the next 2 years, you want to start planning those dates, you can go out there. They're expected to announce the dates of when training camp will be around mid-June.
Nick, do you think your hometown of Topeka, the fact that you were not a part of maybe a bid for that's why it didn't happen, why they're staying in St. Joe?
Yeah, they didn't ask me to kick into that pot, but I would have been willing to help. Anything for Top City.
You would have been prideful. You would have been really happy, man, if your hometown would have been hosted. We would have been going up to Topeka every day for shows.
Your parents still live in Topeka, right? You could have gone to go see the folks all the time. It'd been nice.
He's eating right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forget.
What's trending?
That's on me.
That's the
That's on me. He started talking to you first. I didn't realize. I'm sorry.
I did. That's my fault. We know what's trending's where he can sneak in some food normally. Next up on what's trending, Aaron Wilson's reporting that the Chiefs have a top 30 visit. Each team gets these top 30 visits, a select number of them, with TCU wide receiver Quentin Johnson. Now, it can mean a whole lot of nothing. Because there's plenty
Sometimes they have visits and it doesn't mean anything.
Players that visit that they really don't have a total interest in. They're trying to throw teams off the scent, if you will. But Quinn Johnson would be someone I would absolutely love for the Chiefs to draft. Let's be clear. If they're going to get Quinn Johnson, they're not going to be able to wait till 31. Maybe you don't think they have to get to 15, but he's not going to be there at 31. So it's a visit with a guy that if they really want to draft him, they would have to move up. We all agree, right?
Kind of goes back to the conversation we had a little earlier in the show, and I'm sure we'll revisit, which is... Yeah, I mean, I think if you're taking a wide receiver at that stage, you're trading up. A good note by Matt Derrick, by the way. He said that the Chiefs played on Monday night, October 10th, and then a bunch of people were in the facility Saturday for the Kansas TCU game. So a bunch of people for the Chiefs watched Quentin Johnson go for 14 catches, 206 yards, and a touchdown against him. So they had a lot of scouts on hand watching that game the first time around. We'll see whether or not it actually leads to something, but I would definitely be interested in Quentin Johnson, even though it's not quite the same guy they've had in time. Next up on What's Trending, Kansas City Current will have their home opener tomorrow at 11:30. I think originally it was scheduled a little bit later in the day, and then it got bumped up to 11:30. It'll take place against the Portland Thorns. So if you want to see the KC Current in action, tomorrow, home opener, 11:30.
I wonder if that got moved with the Final Four taking place Saturday night, and this game is going to be on main CBS, the Current game, so I wonder if that played a role in that. But I think they're expecting maybe to break the record. They set a record last year for attendance in that one particular game. It was the media game that we were at, and I think they're planning on being able to maybe break that number tomorrow as well. Lastly, on What's Trending, we mentioned that there was a report that this was going to happen, and now it's official. The University of Kansas announcing, in addition to their football program, Sean Snyder. Yes, that Sean Snyder, the son of legendary football coach Bill Snyder. Sean Snyder hired KU to be a special assistant to Lance Leipold, be part of the football program, and the image has come out. We were waiting for it. Sean Snyder, K-State great, son of Bill Snyder, wearing a KU pullover. Photoshopped or not, he's still in a KU pullover.
Do you think he's doing this to spite them? Because remember, he got demoted. Well, so he didn't get that coaching job, and then when Kleiman showed up, he got demoted.
I just think
maybe he's got some ill will towards K-State versus his dad.
I just think it's hilarious.
It just seems weird. Like, it'd be like, I don't know what the comparable is, maybe from a local end, but like Kim English, we joked about that. Kim English just got the Providence job. It was announced today, actually. He's keeping 2 big-name players from out of the transfer portal for him. But let's just say Kim English, 5 years from now, is doing an incredible job at Providence. Bill self-retires and he takes the Kansas job? Oh, God. But, I mean, it's at a smaller scale because it's Sean Snyder, but Kim English is one of Missouri's best basketball players, and all of a sudden he's taking the Kansas job? It's so weird.
What's funny about this one is the connection, but also it's not. He's not taking it, but, hey, man, this was a head coaching opportunity I couldn't pass up. He's going there just to be an assistant, a special assistant. You know, you can say you're not going to fault anybody, Cody, for taking a head coaching gig. There's very few of those opportunities that exist. It's just interesting. He was a assistant at Illinois, and now he's going to KU to be a special assistant, which we've said it earlier, seems like the ultimate gig to get. Special assistant to anybody.
Very good job.
In sports in particular. Special assistant to the athletic director.
It's like being a consultant.
Yeah.
Nobody can say you're doing anything wrong or not wrong.
Special assistant to the GM, special assistant to the head coach. Great gig. That's what's trending. Here on Cody and Gold.
I'll say this, man. These Twitter DMs are out of control. Are you guys getting
bots.
just an insane amount of bots?
Yes.
I just got a new one. Said, hi, this is Lisa. My bestie happens to be single at present, and she is seeking someone nice and sweet.
There you go.
And most importantly, mature.
There you go, Cody.
Okay, Lisa.
Okay, Lisa.
Take a shot at my age? If you were a gentleman and over the age of 30, I think you two might have matched. Add her on Telegram and a bunch of numbers.
Yeah, these bots are out of control. It's because, frankly, Twitter has been going downhill. Tomorrow they're going to get rid of your blue check mark as well, I believe. But the bots are all over the place. And the whole setup for Twitter, the app works crappier now. They fired a bunch of people behind the scenes that did like the coding, I guess, for it. It's a mess. But yeah, each day we come in and we all have random.
You got a new one for today?
Have you got one, Gold?
I did. Honestly, I already delete. We read it before the show. I did delete it because I don't want that popping up on my timeline.
Nick,
what do you mean? What do you mean on your
Or
timeline?
on TweetDeck,
Like on TweetDeck.
the messages on the side of. So I
Do you have a
deleted
fresh one, Nick?
Let me see if I can find the old one.
Yeah, I've got a few. I
You don't delete them?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I just don't even. I don't clean up my Twitter DMs at all. So like, if you ever DM me, I'm sorry because there's a 99% chance I didn't respond.
Hey, everybody,
to you.
slide into Nick's DMs, please.
Yeah, here's a good one. Hey there, I lost my sleep tonight, taking some pills that won't work and thinking to have someone to talk with. Scrolling up and down on my phone and voila, here you are. Got to admit, you kind of have shared interests and similar experiences with me. Kind of embarrassed, but truly wish you can hit me up on Telegram in case I am off the line.
Here's the thing.
Why is it all these single women are on Telegram?
Off the line, you know?
Off the line. I mean, there's so many things wrong with the message, but the fact that every single one is like, because it's complete, even if somehow I don't even know, someone actually for a half second thought the first 2 sentences were real.
Yeah.
Telegrams where people are meeting each other. Anyway, the bots are crazy.
Can I read a few more? Actually,
Yeah,
this is
please.
fun.
Actually.
Okay. All right. This is from 3 days ago. Hello. I'm texting you because there's something about you that interests me.
Oh.
I've been following your posts for a time now. A time. When I check for updates, it's like a sensation inside me that I can't describe, and it drives me to learn more about you.
Okay.
Can we have a brief talk?
On Telegram?
Catch me on my Telegram.
But she's excited about you, Nick.
Yes, she is.
A lot of shared interest.
Oh, Nicole reached out. Hello. I am so happy to have this friendship with you. I think you will be the same. I am waiting for a reply. I think you will be the same. I mean, like, dude, it's like I'm beating women off with a stick right now. They're coming from every direction.
You might be getting even more than me right now.
This is like, just chat GPT bots coming through your DMs.
It's so funny because with all the technology that we have, they still have a long ways to go in like making these bots sound real.
Hi, my name is...
Hello, I have been following you for quite a time.
Just like, I feel like I get like 3 a day.
Yeah, it's daily. It's definitely daily.
Download Telegram here real quick.
It is daily for sure.
That's just good. You're immediately not going to have a social security number anymore. The second you download that app, you're going to cease to exist somehow. Someone else will own it. You'll be like, wait, but that's my social. You'll be like, no, the database says that this belongs to a completely different, belongs to Lisa. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. Do you think there's anything that isn't illegal taking place on Telegram?
I don't know.
Do you know anybody who uses it?
What is the purpose of Telegram?
So like Telegram can be used. There's some betting groups that use it. So like you guys have heard of like Discord channels and stuff too, which sometimes it's for betting or gaming has Discord or can be used for community aspect.
Discord.
We used it for NBA Top Shot.
So we did.
During our run.
We did. Yeah, and so it's a lot of projects like that actually use Discord. But Telegram, maybe people could disagree with me, tell if I'm wrong. My understanding is Telegram is very similar, like to Discord. It's like a private group, and it's supposed
to be like WhatsApp. It's like a private encrypted.
I don't know if it's
messaging or like.
I don't know if it's
an
that.
app. Discord's not an app, right? It's just a website.
I mean, I have a Discord app on my phone, but I think I thought Telegram was closer to Discord. I don't think it's WhatsApp. If someone can tell us.
I assume
the only one I have is Discord.
Whenever somebody launches a new app that's like, hey, it's a new way to communicate, I'm like, okay, well, then you're obviously doing something illegal because we already have many ways to communicate that are perfectly acceptable.
We talked about this. It's like, well, if Twitter goes down, are you going to join a new social media app? And I'm like, no, this is it. These are the apps.
I don't know. I don't know if I believe that.
I'm not adopting a new app.
You don't think that?
Might as well just take you out back and shoot you then, because you're not good to us if you're not going to get on the new social media channels, bud.
Well, then let's all download Telegram and start a Cody and Gold group chat.
No, we don't need to do a Telegram. We can do a Discord for that. But
we're doing Telegram.
How long will it take before full frontal nudity makes its way into that chat?
Someone says Telegram is used by far right and drug dealers. Someone else says Telegram is like Signal.
Well, I don't know what Signal is.
Yeah, what Signal?
Oh my God, how old are we?
What's
We don't know
Signal?
what any of these apps are.
They're trying to dumb it
Someone
down for
says,
us.
sounds like Nick's getting more of these because he's been sending out ween pics again. He did admit on the show that he's sent quite a few of them recently even, so.
Yeah.
Someone says VR is next, boys. Get ready. VR is already out. I mean, VR is next. It's already.
Cody it's
VR
up next. Like it's next. Like he's next.
Cody has VR. Cody has a VR headset and the whole thing.
It's true. Can you get Telegram on that?
What do you use? By the way, what do you use your VR headset for? I'm a little
games.
What kind of games?
Just regular games. My kid probably uses it more than I do.
Okay, I'm just curious. I just didn't know.
Games. That's it.
Okay. Yesterday was fun though, huh? Good
Opening
back at
day?
Kauffman Stadium.
Yeah,
The
it
weather was nice. Yes, it was windy, but it was great. Very comfortable out there. First
I had no
sellout.
jacket for a while.
Yeah, first sellout since 2018 at Kauffman. It's crazy to think it's been that long, but I understand why. Last sellout was against the Cardinals in August of 2018. All of us were out there. Nick had the Pasquasi jersey or whatever, Pasquasi, whatever we call it these days, that jersey. And he was late. He was a little late to the show, a little late to the party. We thought you were going to no-show us.
Why are you so consistently late? Why does Pete always make you take him?
Yeah, that is interesting.
That's part of the reason you're consistently late is anytime you come to an event like this, you somehow have become responsible
because he knows He's smart. He knows that I'm the only person here. And so he's like, hey, you going to the game? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, do you want to just come pick me? He goes, like, do you want to just come, meet me here and then we can Uber? And I was like, well, I'm driving because I got to go pick my girlfriend up later.
Didn't you lose your car in the
So-
parking lot last year?
Yes.
That was 610 day. Or 610 night at the K.
But you guys found your car all right this time.
Yeah, I didn't leave with. I mean, I was only there for about.
Oh,
an hour
you
and a half.
ditched him. You ditched Pete. You didn't leave with him.
Well, that was the plan. I told him I was like, I'll give you a ride there, but I can't take you home.
Was Pete the reason you were late?
No, I wasn't late. I waited in line for about half an hour.
You were called Radio Boy by someone at the ballpark too.
Yeah,
that's Radio Boy.
Yeah, he saw my Pasquasi jersey, and so he just. I think he was trying to get my attention before that, and then eventually, I think maybe I'd heard him say Pasquasi, but I thought he was just reading it. So then he yelled, "Hey, Radio Boy!" I turned around. He's like, "Let's go, Pasquasi! Let's go, Royals!"
Is that how it went?
Yeah.
It was a very bro down moment you're describing.
He wasn't.
Were you guys like smashing beer cans on your head while you were doing it?
No, come on.
By the way, did Pete supply like a parking lot beer that you could have while you were waiting to go in? That feels like that would have been the nice thing to do.
I didn't drink in the parking lot. No, I only had one. I had one beer in the stadium. That was it yesterday.
Nick's saving his alcohol consumption for Club 610, which is 45 minutes away. We have some special guests coming by.
We do have special guests?
For Club 610 today. And we'll talk about the other thing that happened at the stadium with them because we got to lay out this scenario. Something that happened before Cody and I even made it into the stadium that ended up involving a hotel visit later on in the evening. We will get to that.
Hotel visits.
Yeah, it did. It's the second hotel visit on this show. We'll see what everybody thinks of it.
I will say one thing about opening day. At least it made me feel somewhat optimistic about what was taking place.
Okay.
I know it's going to sound rich because the Royals didn't score a lot of runs, or
any
runs.
Any.
They had 2 hits and no runs.
Yeah,
but their starting lineup tells you that they are interested in offense more than defense, at least for now. They chose, and look, Michael Massey made a really good play in the field. But like generally, Nicky Lopez is a Gold Glove second baseman or a Gold Glove caliber shortstop. So a lot of times you would say Nicky's probably the better choice from a defensive standpoint. Edward Olivares is not considered some all-star outfielder. They have better outfield defensive options, including guys like Jackie Bradley Jr. They instead opted on opening day for offense. And I think we talked about this at times last year and the year before, where it's like, look, I know you want to be a defensive team. I understand your desire to be a defensive team. I get this notion that this is how you've been forever, but baseball has taken such a huge swing towards offense that if you're like, we'll be the one defensive team, that's a huge mistake. It actually brings me some relief to see the lineup the way it was constructed yesterday and say, I think they're trying to be an offensive team because they know that they're going to have to outscore opponents most of the time.
I'll be curious to see, like, for example, even tomorrow, what's the lineup look like tomorrow? And what's it look like over the first week of the season before I'll jump to saying that? But yes, it's a good sign in that regard. However, as you said, it's one game and 2 hits in the game. It was the fewest on opening day in franchise history, actually. So just one of those days where the bats were not alive. They let the Twins off the hook there with, 11 men left on base, the Twins did, and the Royals just didn't have anything going on offense to kind of answer that. I do think, and we'll talk about the changes to baseball. I thought that was glaring, though, yesterday as well. Like the pitch clock, it was so glaring, man, to see how the game has sped up across baseball. There were 5 games that went over 3 hours out of the 15.
And by the way, that was the average length of time of game last year, 3:01. So
Right.
in any given day, most games probably went over that.
But only 5 of 15 games went over 3 hours. And those were because there were 19 runs scored in 2 of them and 18 in the other one. That is going to be one of these decisions rule-wise that we look back, I think, 5-10 years from now, like, what the heck took so long? The fact that it was 5 o'clock yesterday and they were in the 7th inning. It was 5 o'clock and they were in the 7th, heading into the 8th. That was incredible. And it didn't feel like they were rushing or anything. It just was smooth. And
It just felt like a well-paced game.
There wasn't a ton of offense, so that also is why it seemed even quicker. But it just had nice flow. I mean, I joked with you guys that normally you can grab the beer from your cup holder, take a sip, put it back in the cup holder, and you look back over to the mound, and the pitch isn't about to happen. You actually, by the time you grabbed a sip of the beer and put the beer back in the cup holder, man, you looked up. Greinke was already pitching. He was already in the process of pitching.
There were multiple games that were under 2:15. Like, if you go through the length of these games, because the Royals played in 2.5 hours. All right, well, I mean, there were only 2 runs scored and like 8 hits between the two teams. Sure, that game was always meant to be fast. That game would have gone fast even under normal circumstances, but probably not 2:30. The Mariners finished the game in 2.5 hours. There were several 2.5, there were a bunch of 2.5 hour games. Something less like 2:02. There was a massive shift. It was about, I think, last year's opening day, according to the Athletic article from Jason Stark, it was like 3:12 because it's opening day, right? So in addition to that, everything took just a little bit longer. And once again, just like we saw in spring training, we saw 35 minutes, 30 minutes carved off of these things. But I don't notice it in the stadium. I wondered what it was going to be like. Because if you weren't out at opening day, and they sold out, right? So 38,000 people were out there. But if you weren't out there and you're like, is this going to impact me watching baseball? And the answer is you will not notice, other than it'll just seem like things are happening slightly faster. That's it. And that you won't notice after what, an inning or two? You just it's all of a sudden you look down. That's what it is. You look down, you go get a drink, you go get a beer, and you're like, whoa, what did I miss?
That's the part.
I went to go see a friend for what felt like a very short period of time. I didn't even finish the drink I was having. I had brought it back to the seats. I didn't even finish the drink I was having with a group of people I knew. And even by then, I was like, did I miss 2.5 innings over? And I was paying attention to the game. I just wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't with the seats. It just felt like I was gone. It was gone forever.
Yeah, it felt
like
I
missed a third of the game.
Because we've been trained watching a game, after an inning and a half passes, you're thinking, that's been a while. We just went through an inning and a half, and now it's not taking nearly as long. And so that's, opening day was unique anyway, because typically they're not going to have 38,000 out of the crowd. It was the first sellout since 2018. So you're going to be able to get to the concession stand, get your beer, and get back to your seat quicker than yesterday. Yesterday is just one of those rare ones. So I know some people were saying they missed an inning and a half waiting for their hot dog or whatever at the concessions. That's not the norm. So you're probably not missing an inning and a half or two, but you could definitely miss a full inning, even if you're at a concession stand that's kind of quick, just because of the timing and the pitch flow now. But I loved it. The other thing is we didn't see it necessarily reflective in the Royals-Twins game, but across baseball, stolen bases are going to be up. We knew that, but just how much will be interesting to see if this is the pace that we see. Last year on opening day, 5 stolen bases, 1 caught stealing, so a 56% rate. Yesterday on opening day, 21 stolen bases, 2 caught stealing. Stolen base at 91% clip. That's fun. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Let's see if
that means if that rate continues, then everyone's going to steal all season.
I mean, you're getting, and we'll see if the trend and the pace keeps up, but you're getting as many stolen bases in one day as you were getting every 3 days. Based on the opening day average from last year, or every 4 days. That's crazy.
I don't think I only slightly disagree with Vernon, because Vernon said, I think what this is going to do is going to bring everyone back to the Royals. So the advantage the Royals might have had in previous being a stolen base team won't have that advantage to create offense anymore because everyone will be where they are. I'm like, well, I just assume the Royals will do it even more. If the Royals were already doing it a lot, you would think that they're going to be even more aggressive on the base paths. And they have a lot of really good athletes for it. I understand maybe not as many as they had before because they used to have Witt and Mondesi when he was healthy and Bobby Witt Jr. all on the roster at the same time. But on those days Nicky plays and gets on base, you would think he's going to steal. You would think Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be doing that regularly.
He should.
Throughout his time. But it actually brings into play, and Kyle Isbell, anytime he's on base, should be in that conversation. But it's going to bring in some of these other guys who haven't really been people you would ever even consider stealing with, maybe taking advantage. Because if you get somebody uncomfortable enough, you're a stolen base guy, you should get a big enough lead to make that guy actually throw over. Because then you get a free shot. You get a free shot. They only get to throw over twice, and then you get a free shot. You know that you can get whatever jump you want. Just time, almost as big as you want in order to steal. It's a massive advantage for a base runner that I assume we'll see more of throughout the year. I liked the rule changes. I think you can barely notice them other than it just felt faster.
You definitely don't notice the
You don't notice the physical clock. I'll say that. That's for sure.
I mean, you see it, but it's not something we were focused and locked into or anything. And the base size, maybe on TV, you guys can tell us if you watched it on TV. We in person, couldn't tell. At least from where we were sitting, I didn't. You could have told me the bases. You could have told me the bases were any increase or smaller, they look the same to me. Maybe it's one of those where if you're up close and you're sitting closer, you notice, but we couldn't tell any. I forgot that the bases were different size. I didn't even notice that.
It's weird. It's still weird because that's the thing to remember about this. You're like, is this big of a deal? But I'll point out what Jeff Passan's article said about it, which is correct. It is pretty rare that a company that is operating in tens of billions of dollars in any given year completely changes their product. They chose to change their product. It's still baseball, but they made so many very critical changes, getting rid of shifts.
It's long overdue.
Trying to increase stolen bases.
They had to do it at once.
Adding a pitch clock. We're probably only a couple years away from an electronic strike zone. Like, all of those things is going to make it more and more and more geared towards the offense. They fundamentally changed the way their sports look. But yesterday, it looked like baseball. Like, it's crazy. It looked like baseball. It just felt like, and this was not a high-scoring game, so maybe people who went and saw the 19-11 game was it. Because one game is tough. You're like, hey, there are way more stolen bases. There are also way more walks across baseball than normal. Was that because pitchers were sped up, or was it just a day where people got walked?
Right.
You know, I think it'll be way more interesting if we revisit this around the All-Star break and somebody puts out that article of, like, here are the numbers of how it's working.
So 161-1. Or one, is that where we're at now? You feel good
Nick,
about
would you
that?
have them at 88 wins? And I had to go to 130.
Thereabouts.
No, I still feel the same. They have been shut out on opening day 5 times. They made the playoffs 2 of those 5 years and won the division.
So they're making the playoffs. Okay. All right.
40% chance they're making the playoffs right now. It's decided.
Playoff push now. It begins tomorrow. Playoff push right now.
Here we go. A couple of those other times they were bad. But, you know, we'll ignore that part.
Baseball's weird, man. They scored no runs yesterday, and they're going to score. Yeah, they're going to score. Yeah, they'll score 8 runs tomorrow. I mean, that's just the way. That's the way this stuff goes.
That's baseball.
Yeah, you think so?
Nick, right?
How are you feeling about your home run bets?
Well, you know, there's 162 games. Vinny's not going to hit a home run in all 162.
Yeah, very true.
Otherwise,
Very true.
I mean, he'd be smashing records.
That's right, he would.
So, the fact that he didn't hit one yesterday, opening day, his first opening day, inclement weather.
Inclement weather?
Windy.
Oh.
Gray skies.
Okay.
Gray skies have nothing to do with home runs.
Really? So you know that for
I wish he would have.
He's already 2 behind. C.J. Cron hit 2. What if he leads the league?
I just think it's great. If
Crohn's disease?
No.
If was in Colorado, it could be a problem for you.
Just for the sake of the show, it would have been incredible if Vinny would have somehow have hit like 2 yesterday. Because Nick today, it would have
That
been
was our entire 4 hours.
absolutely insane and absurd. Nick would have already thought he could cash his ticket.
Yeah, see, this gives me a reason to stay locked in all year long.
Okay. You're going to be tracking just the home run numbers for Vinny.
Yes. I may make some other sprinkles.
Is it a different Royals play to lead the league in home runs? Or
No,
just a
different
bet?
bets. Just different bets. If anything speaks to me.
If anything, right now, you should be taking the over on anybody's stolen base number if it hasn't taken a significant jump just based on the one-game sample size.
You can do leaders, but you can't do individual numbers anymore because the preseason bet. Because otherwise, yeah. But Bobby Wood Jr. has a chance maybe to lead the league in stolen bases. Obviously, we'll see. Way too early for any.
Did you place that bet?
I did. $10 though.
10 to win. What was it?
120. Yeah, it's not a. I don't like for futures bets. We're not exactly in the income bracket to be having thousands of dollars just floating for 6 months. Not exactly.
Investments.
Yeah,
They're
investments in your future.
Put your money to work for you.
That's right.
Don't work for your money. Make your money work for you.
That is what rich people do.
Yeah.
I'm
so
told.
you gotta, if you want to be rich, man, you gotta start thinking that you're rich.
Do you think you're going to be really rich one day, Nick?
No.
Yeah, I don't think anybody in this room feels that way.
About Nick or
no,
Jim?
about us.
About us. That's not how I took it, by the way. About us. I didn't think he was giving commentary on me.
Yeah,
I don't think any of us think you're ever going to be rich. Nick.
So we've all had a discussion, and we think you're screwed.
All of us. Yeah, I did. Could you imagine? It was like, yeah, Nick, we actually
combined
really
future
agree.
marital income. Nick might be richer than all of us.
That's probably
unless you marry someone rich, and you're not even dating right now.
That's right.
That I know of.
That's true. That's accurate. That's an accurate statement. Definitely an accurate statement.
Okay, we'll get to that in Club 610. Let's get back into your dating life.
Yeah, that's a really good club topic.
Income.
Financial income futures.
Marrying people for wealth.
Yeah, investments.
Yeah. That's never happened at the club.
They're dating someone because they're rich. That's a great topic we can get to.
Well, maybe you'll meet
Club
somebody
pastime.
in the club. Yeah, meet somebody rich.
Maybe you'll meet someone rich today in the club. Who knows?
Oh yeah,
Club 610.
Okay, that's coming up.
You walk in single, you leave single, but maybe you've got your eyes on somebody.
All right, coming up next, we'll get back to some Chiefs football. And the one scenario where the Chiefs do take this position in the first round, at least the possibility that sets up the best for KC in 2023.
Cody and Gold on 610 Sports Radio, brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com.
Grand slams, no-hitters, and double plays are back. And there's no better place to get in on the MLB action than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. That's because right now, new customers can step up to the plate with a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Just go to FanDuel.com/610Bob to sign up. Place your first bet and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win. So don't miss your chance to get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. Just go to FanDuel.com/610Bob to sign up. FanDuel, official partner of Major League Baseball and 610 Sports Radio. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issues non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns. And here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering professional-grade industrial supplies, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to answer your toughest questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Take your shot during BetMGM's March matchups and instantly receive $200 in bonus bets. Simply sign up using bonus code CTAP200 and place a $10 bet on any college basketball tournament game. Win or lose, $200 in bonus bets will be added to your account right away. It is that easy. Plus, you'll discover a wide variety of parlay selection features, daily boosted odds specials, and much more. Download the BetMGM app today and use that promo code CTAP200. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager, Kansas only. New customers offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hey guys, this is Keenan Thompson. I have a problem with you. Yes, you. None of y'all told me that AutoTrader has millions of new and used cars that I can shop from home. I thought we were friends. I put smiles on your face, but I'm not smiling. No one told me that with AutoTrader, a dealer can deliver cars to my home or that I could shop by price on AutoTrader. No one. Consider this friendship that you just learned we had officially over. Finally, it's easy. AutoTrader.
Tax refund shock is everywhere. But what is it?
My tax refund shrank.
Mine too. The culprit? Pandemic-related stimulus payments and tax credits expiring. In this reporter's opinion, you need a tax expert.
Hey guys, Jackson Hewitt guarantees your biggest refund.
And tax prep is 50% off? Going there now.
50% off is a limited-time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
Scott for Scott's here. Do you hear that? Bring the mic in close. That's not how the grass should sound. There's weeds everywhere in this lawn. It's time to take action with Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action. It gets 3 jobs done at once. Kills weeds, prevents crabgrass, and feeds your lawn so it keeps growing strong. Ah, much better.
Get a bag of Scott's Triple Action today. It's guaranteed, or your money back.
Feed your lawn. Feed it.
Dr. Rick here, with another telltale sign you're turning into your parents. Getting particular about your drive-through order.
Don't pull away yet.
I like to check the bag because one time they forgot to give me extra ketchup.
People are waiting.
I'm only seeing 4 nuggets. Wait, nope, there's 5.
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
The 610 Sports Radio phone line is brought to you by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
This report is brought to you by KC Customs. We put the customs in KC. KC-Customs.com. This is an urgent message for all truck and Jeep owners. Is your rig ready for spring? Jeep ready to hit the trails? Truck ready to tow that camper? If not, you got to see the pros at KC Customs. KC's most trusted truck and Jeep outfitters.
Back here on a Friday, it's Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Nick Short with you. Club 610, about 25 minutes away. I have a couple guests stopping by. I think bottle service might actually happen. We've upped the game.
I'm working on it.
We have a waitress then.
Yes, that's correct.
To be determined.
No, I've got that
We'll
secured.
find out.
I believe at clubs they're referred to colloquially as shot girls.
So we have a shot girl.
We have a shot girl?
Well, I didn't bring like a bottle for shots, but they can still deliver drinks.
So nobody's going to be ripping shots today at the club.
Would you like to start that? You know what I think?
Have you ever been to a club where people aren't take shots?
So here's what I think needs to happen is by the time Club 610 ends the year, I think we need to go ahead and pre-plan now a 610 end of year extravaganza with a live DJ in here. Do you think our guy DJ Hayden to come in here and DJ in the middle of our show with like 10 people in here?
I'm
15 people?
sure he could probably hook up to the board where Nick's at.
What's the capacity of this room?
I have no idea. 10?
10? More than 10 people can fit in here. It's kind of spacious.
Spacious?
This is a big studio. Is this the biggest studio you've ever hosted in?
No.
Oh, I thought that was going to be a yes.
No, it's more than 10, but...
Wait, what studio were you in that was bigger than this one?
Actually, the believe it or not, the one in Topeka was about this size, if not bigger. It's actually ridiculous. It's actually pretty damn big. Yeah.
If you like that studio so much, then why don't you just move? Why don't you quit the show? You think the show's dead anyway in a couple of years, so why don't you just quit and go back to Topeka, pal?
Cody asked me a question, and then he wanted a real specific answer, and I gave him the answer.
I don't know. Your behavior.
I can tell you the smallest one.
Which was
the smallest studio? Do you have a guess? Do you know? You know where I've worked.
Yeah, but I haven't been to him, so I'm going to guess. Just based off the other things you've said about that job, I'm going to guess Wichita.
Wichita, for sure. That was the smallest studio I've ever worked
Like
in.
smaller than the space Nick works in?
It's probably about that room, than the size of Nick's room.
I think if this desk wasn't so comically large.
It's just a weird setup for a desk.
It would actually feel a lot bigger in here.
Yeah.
Why is this so big? Who thought every person needed to be like a mile away from the person they were speaking to?
I mean, that's nice. Well, distance is good. Distance is good, you know?
What's all this space for? What's this do over here
I'll
to the
be
left?
honest. I don't think we need 6 microphones. Very rarely. I mean, honestly, if you ever have...
We need 4.
If you've ever gotten to the point where there are 6 people on the show together, backtrack. You have made a mistake. There is not enough room for 6 people
Cody
to be in on the
just
conversation.
said for the club, he wants 20 in here.
Oh, no, but they don't have to talk.
They don't have to be
They're just like hanging out. Not everybody's
for the not for the combo.
4 people on a mic, 16 other people just hanging
Cody's
out.
basically saying we need eye candy.
Oh, is that what you're...
Music in the background,
doing?
DJ, people having fun. That's why he's got to be in this room physically, I think. He can't just plug in. Everyone's not going to have headphones on.
That's
the people
fair.
in Nick's side is like the production area of Club 610. This is the actual club. We're not putting a velvet rope in front of his door.
Wow.
The rope will go here.
Yeah, I guess anybody can just come in here.
We want you to come to this side one of these times, Nick. Why don't you come over here?
You know, the text line brings up a good point. We've been talking about interns and maybe calling them special assistants. Should there be a dancing qualification for the interns? Like, should we require
if
them
someone
to
could
dance?
really dance?
Yeah, we should
be
make
good.
them. We should ask them to dance, and we can't make them do anything, but we should ask them. We should politely request that they dance during their interview.
And then you'll order a bunch of mesh tank tops for everybody?
No.
Mesh tank top?
Just let the record state that it's Cody that wants to put the interns in mesh tank tops.
Not you. I think it was him that mentioned once on this show wearing a mesh tank top, which is what made me think of it.
And Nick has, but not with our interns.
Oh, okay.
Not with our interns on this show, no.
We're currently looking through applications, by the way. Don't you worry. If you've applied, you have not been contacted because, we're in the beginning parts of the process.
Yeah.
Somebody showed some initiative yesterday. They showed up to Kaufman with a physical copy of their resume in hand. A gentleman named Quentin with a folder. Do we take that more seriously now as a result of that?
Yeah, I think it's impressive. Way to stand out. Sometimes that's half the battle. Get your foot in the door. That's half of it. And then you got to get the rest. You got to prove. The rest you got to handle the interview process and all that. But sometimes you just got to get your foot in the door. See what happens.
Showed up. Did you show up with a physical copy of your resume when you applied to be an intern here?
No, I actually got offered the internship without actually asking for the internship.
Oh.
Well, you asked the question.
So you were pursued.
I was.
Wow.
By who?
The old two program directors ago.
How did they know about you?
Because I did a contest for a different job at the station. Big gig KC, man. Went out to a car dealership, had to record a 1-minute rant on something sports related when I was in college through 610. And then you had a vote, and I got a co-host an hour with Nick Wright. And I didn't win the overall competition, but I was a finalist. And then program director said, hey, you didn't win. Sorry you didn't win, but would you like to be an intern on Festival in the Morning? And the rest is history.
Wow, I mean, look at this. Just he is the first round pick of us, Nick. The rest of us had to try, grind, fight.
Oh, trust me, I had to bounce around to work my way back to Kansas City.
Yeah,
jet set.
Ask him some more stories about his time in Wichita.
Murder.
He put in the work.
Murder was involved.
You didn't murder someone. Why would you?
But you almost made that imply that you had to kill someone.
There was a murder at the radio.
There was a guy
you are today.
There was
a guy by me.
Cody,
and I murdered him.
Cody said I didn't grind. No, there was unfortunately a murder at the Wichita station.
Yeah, in all seriousness, rest in peace.
Yeah, terrible situation there in the Wichita station.
And it's really, we're past the point of laughter. So if you can go ahead and wrap that up.
What are you doing over there, man?
Yeah, come on.
That's disrespectful.
And in all honesty, you should stop.
I can't.
He really
can't. So funny to you. It's so funny to you that someone died.
Tragedy.
Someone died doing the job that you love. Are you ready to die for this show?
The job I loved.
Are you ready to die for this show?
I don't know much about them.
They worked in radio.
Were they a host, a producer?
He's a young kid.
That's sad.
His mother could be listening right now.
There's just no chance that's happening.
What do you have to say to her?
Nothing. I don't know her. I'm sorry.
Not even condolences.
I'm sorry. That's what I have to say.
Anyway.
Unbelievable.
Gold made it sound like you tried to kill someone in order to get his job. No. I'm the bad guy here?
Cody, don't.
No.
Cody.
You gotta stop making light of tragedy,
Don't,
man. It's ridiculous.
I apologize.
Get that up towards your mouth there a little bit.
It's the way you said that is always just so hard.
Oh, Lord, it's a Friday, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Club 610 coming up in 20 minutes.
Good club fodder.
Murder?
Just murder, finances.
Jeez. We're going to have to get some windshield wipers for Cody's glasses.
They're fogging up their bow.
Yeah. Get some wiper blades on
out
those
of the
glasses,
sauna?
man. Get some wiper blades, man.
He is absolutely lost.
He is. He can't help himself.
Talk about something else.
Hey, you know what? The name of the show is called Cody and Gold. You're one of the hosts.
Let's talk about the wide
Which one am I?
Let's talk what. That made no sense. But anyway, wide receivers. We mentioned today that the Chiefs reportedly one of their top 30 visits. Teams get a certain amount of what they call top 30 visits. 30 of them, I believe. Actually,
a certain amount. It's hard to say.
And one of them is TCU wide receiver Quentin Johnson. And he's visiting with the Kansas City Chiefs. And sometimes these visits mean that, hey, they're actually really, really interested. Sometimes they're trying to make teams think that they really are interested in a play if they're not. Quentin Johnson's going to be one of the first 3 wide receivers taken off the board, if not the first. And he's someone that we would think, along with Jordan Addison or Jackson Smith and Jigba, you probably are not going to be able to get at 31 you're going to have to trade up. So if they're going to draft a wide receiver in the first round, you only want them trading up, it sounds like, because those are the only interesting wide receivers you have.
Yeah, to me, they're not taking a wide receiver in the first round unless they go up. Like it 31, I mean, go through right now and look at what the draft comps are for any of the guys who are available at 31. And tell me you want, like, Jalen Hyatt, right? I mean, maybe he's there at 31. I still think there's a chance he's not even there at 31. And then you start figuring out how many holes they have in their game. It's even more thin at that level than under normal circumstances. I think there's only 3 guys worth drafting in the first round. It's the 3 guys you just mentioned. And none of those guys are going to be there at 31, which means if you're taking a first-round wide receiver, go up. I don't know what all the Quentin Johnson draft comps have been. I think our guy Warren Sharps was maybe A.J. Green just based on size. And obviously they're always trying to target and ability, but I think they're always trying to target guys who look similar to that. And I know that he has necessarily fit their model of wide receiver. He's big, he's physical, he'll go up and get the ball, things that they haven't had in wide receiver consistently. But it's like that kind of player I'm interested in because they got the kind of talent that they can go way above. Jackson Smith and Jigba and him, and Addison even less so for me. Personally, I don't like him as much as the other two. It seems like to me there's or Dalton Kincaid, I don't care if you want to go the tight end route. None of those guys that are worth having there are there. You're just going to end up having better depth at defensive line or offensive line. You're going to get a much better bang for your buck at tackle or defensive line is the way it feels like it's going at 31.
I still think after last year seeing Brett Veach trade up to get Trent McDuffie, I mean, that tells us this idea before, like, oh, he doesn't trade up. We know that's just not simply true anymore. It was always kind of one of those that there's nothing was preventing them from doing it. If there's someone they believe can help the team right away, they've shown in the last year now, they will go up and trade for that particular player. The question is, will they do that for the wide receiver position? Will they give up draft assets because they have a wide receiver number 1? His name's Travis Kelce. They have the best quarterback in football. They got the best offensive mind in football. Do they feel the need to be as aggressive at that position as they were on the defensive side of the ball? And that's something we don't have the answer to yet. But I'm with you. At 31, you're not getting one of those 3. And outside of those 3, I don't think in year 1 you're having a huge impact. And so if that's what you think they have to get someone at wide receiver in the draft,
they don't sign anybody. They do have to have that kind of impact.
So I'm not as panicky on the Chiefs have to go and do this or that at wide receiver as others. I feel like for me at least last year with the Tyreek Hill trade and what they were able to do and the panic and understandably so the questions that were around that move and around the offense. They were the number 1 offense in football last year. I do have trust that if Brett Veach thinks that they can still be effective the way they have been offensively by drafting, let's say it's Jalen Hyatt, or hey, we need to go trade up to go get a guy that can help us, or we think that Beckham is the solution to making it all come together. Or we think that Hopkins. I feel confident in this front office that they're not going into next season feeling like they did not give the tools to Patrick Mahomes to go out and be as successful as they can be. I feel like last year everybody was talking like, hey, man, they're just not. What are they asking him to do? They're asking him to be incredible, and he was incredible. But that's who I'm not worried about Patrick Mahomes not being incredible next season. I still don't think the wide receiver room as it sits today is the end of what the wide receiver room is going to look like either.
I would hope not.
Like, I'm confident that it's March 31st. There's still a free agency period opened. There's still 3 or 4 names out there at wide receiver that we've been talking about for weeks.
Do we think would be upgrades?
And
sure.
The draft still exists. There's nothing like until it's done, we can't sit here and freak out about it either. Like I just think we've seen time and time again with this front office that they've put together championship caliber rosters, and I don't believe they're going to go into the season with an offense they don't think is going to be one of the best ball. And you can say, well, that's what they think. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. Well, if there's one area on this team that I feel pretty damn sure that they know what the hell they're doing, it's this offense that was the number 1 offense in football after trading away Tyreek Hill.
Nick, I know you've done some more deep research in some of the wide receivers available. Once you get past Quentin Johnson and Jackson Smith and Jigba, are they not all just exactly the same person? Addison, Hyatt, Zay Flowers, Josh Downs are all like 5'9", 5'10", 175 pounds, and questions about whether or not they're going to be like that's the whole next group of wide receivers.
Yeah,
I feel like they all have like identical skill sets. So why am I wasting a first round pick? They might be available halfway through the second, or at the end of the second, or in the third even.
Yeah, they might be like
Marvin Mims even.
Yeah, and there are guys that are built a little bit different. Whether it's like Cedric Tillman, these are more of the prototypical wide receivers that they're Trey Palmer from Nebraska, but there's a reason why they're not getting really mentioned amongst the first-round guys. So it just depends on what the Chiefs want to do. I think the interesting thing to ask yourself is how, if they were being honest, if Brett Veach is being honest, what would be his answer as to how this offseason has went in terms of his plan at wide receiver? Because I think if he were being honest, he'd say, yeah, it hasn't went according to plan at all. Like, we thought we were going to get Juju. We thought we were going to re-sign him. That didn't work out. And now we're sort of playing this waiting game with a couple other guys. That's not to say it is a failure or a disappointment or anything like that, but
yeah,
I think we do
their
sort of...
Their plan wasn't just no wide receiver.
Like trusting, yeah, exactly. I think trusting them...
I get it.
To get the job done is different than saying, like, no, this is exactly how they thought it was going to happen.
You're right. And, like, we've seen this play out, plan A, B, C, multiple off seasons, whether it was with the Trent Williams, Orlando Brown situation a couple years ago. We've seen that play out. I will say, though, let's not act like there weren't connections for the Chiefs to Beckham prior to Juju leaving. There were connections.
A year and a half ago.
That's my only point. Like, I get what you're saying, that I doubt their plan was to be sitting here without any wide receiver addition, probably. Or their plan is... Actually, they would say is actually still, they're still in there. There's a chance they're still on plan A. And you know what plan A might be? Maybe it is trading for Hopkins or Beckham. They're just still waiting on plan A to figure out. There's a chance that is actually plan A.
But it's
just not concluded yet. But I just mentioned one thing with him and others. We know they wanted him, right? Because the report is they did offer him a contract, but they weren't willing to go to a certain dollar amount. I just find it hard to believe that they were truly worried that, hey, man, what you're saying, Cody, like there's 750 yards out there, 900 yards out there they got to make up for. If they were worried that they didn't have a solution, whether it's in-house, combination of in-house draft, free agency, I find it hard to believe, though, that they wouldn't have, all right, well, Juju, this is what the Patriot, we got to do it. We feel like we have to have him. We feel like we have to have Jacoby Myers. We feel like we have to have McCole Hardman back on a 1-year, $6 million deal. They clearly didn't feel like it was make or break without those guys. Nor should they, by the way. If they thought Juju had his team, they would have brought Juju back. They would have offered the money that was required.
No, but I mean, it's also just because like they didn't think it was make or break necessarily in the Tyreek Hill case, in which they were right. But it doesn't mean that's not what they didn't want. They wanted Juju back. They just didn't want to pay $11 million a year.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that they don't have other...
I'm just saying not to panic. Like if they were like, man, we cannot. This is not going to work without Juju. He would be back in Kansas City if they actually deep down said, man, he was perfect for this system. We don't care. We got to pay a little bit more than we wanted to. We have to have him. We don't have any other options.
I just don't think they ever act that way. But, right or wrong, I don't think they ever act
not
that way.
Not on offense, nor should they, which is why I'm not panicking, man.
I just think there's a point of, not no return, but there's a point of like, yeah, you can decrease some of your talent in certain areas, but there is a line where you don't want to do that. Like, there is a basement that you want to take it to. And I would say right now they're at that basement. They got a 650-yard wide receiver in MVS who's their leading wide receiver, or they're telling me a guy who's never had more than 500 yards receiving in a season is their number one, who's hurt all the time. Like, I mean, it's just like, that is a thin plan at wide receiver. Maybe it all goes to plan and everything goes perfect and all those guys are healthy and Scott takes a big leap. And there's some, and like, I'm wrong. And all their plans are going to, like, the best laid plans are just going to fall right into place. But it's just, like, I think their plan is still to have another wide receiver.
So do I. Yes, and so do I. But again, it's just like, for all we know, and we'll never get, like, the 100% clear, honest answer on it, but for all we know, back on February 15th, their plan was one way or the other, we're signing, I mean, it's hypothetical. We're signing Odell Beckham Jr. For all we know, that actually has been their number one goal. Technically, they haven't failed at it yet.
No.
You know? I mean, I have
think
no
it's
idea.
It's hard to say for sure. I think Juju was their first plan.
Probably.
And that they had an idea that maybe Juju and Odell could be there together, so maybe it's 1A and 1B.
My guess is, whether it's a first-round wide receiver or not, most likely they're signing, if it's not one of the two free agent wide receivers or whatever, they're most likely signing some other random veteran wide receiver, and they're probably drafting somebody. That's probably what's happening. I mean, if we're being like, the most likely scenario is that. They're going to sign a guy that doesn't excite people in free agency, and they're going to draft somebody, and that's what they're going to roll with. Or they're going to get one of the three wide receivers we've been talking about for a month in Hopkins and Beckham, and I guess the last week with Ayuk, which still seems more far-fetched.
Or any other traded wide receiver we're not mentioning yet. Because, again, I always point out, last year, 2 weeks before this time period, there is no way we thought Tyreek Hill and A.J. Brown, and it's like Devontae, it's like no way you would have thought all those guys were getting moved. There might still be some sneaky wide receiver move out there that we're not aware of. We mentioned Ayuk because he's been mentioned for the last couple of years as a possible trade candidate, but I just don't think there's no way, as much as they want to say publicly, and I think that this is to drive people's number down, them publicly saying Tony's a 1. It's just them trying to signify that we won't get desperate to teams, and you're not gonna fool us into trading up for a wide. No, sir.
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to publicly signal that they're not panicking, even though I think we all know that counting on Tony is like the number one wide receiver is a very risky play. Not that it can't pan out.
Yeah, the good news is
but it's risky.
I'm with you there. I also think, to me, he's really a wide receiver too anyway. Goes back to the whole Kelsey thing. The reason why I don't get concerned, Kelsey, is what they run this offense through. And as long as you feel confident as an organization that Travis Kelsey can still be an 1,100 to 1,300-yard wide receiver, it makes the need to go find the dominant wide receiver one not as stressful because
you have a guy who's good for 1,300 yards.
He is that already. All right, coming up next, Club 610 officially opens up. We'll see what surprises we have in store. I know we have 2 guests stopping by, maybe bottle service. We have a situation that happened yesterday out of Kauffman Stadium. We have to run by these guests, get their expert opinion on it. We'll do that next.
You're listening to Cody and Gold.
He's so good, and everyone knows it.
Brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com.
Hey guys, it's Cody Tapp, and there's no reason to wait any longer. Check out BlueChew.com and get that chewable tablet with the same active ingredient as Viagra Cialis, but delivered to your door in discreet packaging. You don't want to walk into any situation in your life not being sure whether or not you're able to do the job, right? You don't show up to a basketball court without a basketball. Why show up to the bedroom without the tools you need at your disposal? Confidence is what you can get with the chewable tablets at BlueChew.com, and you can do it without in-person doctor visits, without the awkward waiting room stuff. No, you can meet a doctor online, and within a few days, once you're approved, you can get your prescription delivered directly to your door in discreet packaging. Go to BlueChew.com and get that confidence in the bedroom back that you've been waiting for to show up. No, it's a performance enhancer, and make sure that you're ready to perform. Go to BlueChew.com, use promo code Cody, and get your first month's free just by paying $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Cody.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Take your shot during BetMGM's March matchups and instantly receive $200 in bonus bets. Simply sign up using bonus code CTAP200 and place a $10 bet on any college basketball tournament game. Win or lose, $200 in bonus bets will be added to your account right away. It is that easy. Plus, you'll discover a wide variety of parlay selection features, daily boosted odds specials, and much more. Download the BetMGM app today and use that promo code CTAP200. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager, Kansas only. New customers offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing in me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Nothing is everyday.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Max Motors Studios.
Hey, this is Brady Simpson of the home for Royal Space 610 Sports Radio.
KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty, always live on the free Odyssey app.
All right, 1 o'clock hour, Club 610 is opened up. Nick, did you notice Cody's not here? I don't know what's going on. He get kicked out? He already get kicked out of the club? Is that what occurred here?
I didn't know B-Dub was here bouncing people
B-Dub
already.
is bouncing outside the door. Club 610. Cody has made his way in. We got another guest. It's Cody's wife as well. So we got a full club
Well, I left
today.
something, so I needed her to bring me something from the house.
Oh, so
and then she said, "Can I come to the Club 610?" I said, "Yeah, you can come to Club 610."
So Cody's in here now. It's Club 610, 1 o'clock hours on Friday. We got Emma, Cody's wife. We got Deja from 41. We got Mackenzie from 41 here in town as well. We have their mic on. Let's go ahead and get their mic on, Nick. There we go.
Check, check, mic check. Mic check, 1, 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's going on, guys? Thanks for coming in studio. Club 610. When's the last club you guys gone to?
Oh, man. I don't even know. College?
Several years.
Not a
club goer, I guess.
Club goer?
Club glower.
That's all I can think about. You guys got the perfect music. This
Nick,
is great.
see? DJ Nick.
DJ Nick in the hizzy.
What would you guys think if we got a real DJ here one time?
I'd be amazing.
Would that add to the vibe?
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like we got to cover this window though, and we want to get a velvet rope. We want to really make it like you can't just see and look in here.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, it's exclusive, right?
Yeah, that feels like the only way to do it. Are you guys sharing a microphone?
I think
we didn't know what was going on.
You should be able to. You should be able to move that microphone down, and Nick can eventually turn on both, and that make it easier for everybody involved.
Nice.
We're new here, so.
Yeah. This is my first time in Club 610.
Me too.
This is the club has only been open for a month. It's still new.
It's very
We're
new.
still trying to get the word around town, and trying to invite special guests, VIPs.
We are VIP.
Yeah.
I feel so special.
Matter of fact, we still have to. I have to go get my drinks from the fridge because I was late getting back here because I was letting everyone in the building. I'd like to make that clear.
Yeah, we do offer beverages.
But would everyone like a drink?
I think that's what the club's about.
Yeah.
I think
Okay. Okay. Well, then I've been told we have a server for today.
No
so
way.
Is it a cash bar?
Bottle service.
Or can I give you...
just a card's fine.
Card is fine? Okay.
Do you take Venmo?
Most clubs, we don't have to pay for drinks.
That's so true. What's
Okay.
That's a good point. Wait.
Okay, let's start there.
Alex is single.
Let's start
Single
there.
men would normally buy drinks for, I don't know, your current relationship status.
So
I'm
Alex
married
is
happily.
buying drinks.
But you guys can still buy me a drink.
You're going to call me out like that on the air.
Wow.
Single. That is me. I
Okay,
am
here
not
we go.
married.
How often do you honestly? How often are you paying for drinks ever when you go out?
Never.
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 Never?
Never. You don't pay for your own drinks.
Yeah, you don't.
So
You really try not to.
I mean, yeah. And if not, you just walk around, I guess.
Yeah. Someone will eventually hand you one.
Till someone
Yeah,
does.
you just hold out the hat like, drinks, anyone want to buy me a drink?
Oh man.
What is the trick, honestly? How do you get it done?
We have bottle service. This is bottle service. We got sparklers.
They're not sparkling as much as I
such a
would think they
vibe.
should sparkle.
Wait, I have to get this on my Insta.
We have
Is that a candle?
Such a vibe.
sparkler. It's got some sparkles coming off. If you're watching on the stream, we've got some bottle service.
I've had much worse sparklers in here.
Fantastic service.
We've got some drinks being dropped off here for the club. Club 610 is, and so we've got some. Who knew?
Your shirt should be off, but other than that.
Club 610.
Spec
One of those signs.
providing bottle service. It's very
Nice. Oh,
We need to upgrade that to a sparkler, though. It had just
It
a
was
little
supposed
candle.
to be. So there's supposed to be candles that sparkle.
Yeah.
I was limited in my options available on short notice. I've had real sparklers in this studio before, and I feel like they told me maybe a little bit less of those at some point.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad idea.
I don't know. It's probably
we're working on upgrading the club. That was a big step forward. Now we have some bottle service. Eventually, we'll get the signs that they can just go and it says "Happy Birthday" or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna get some of those for the club as well.
shots. We just start taking shots.
Appreciate the no cover charge.
Yeah,
Like we
no
got in
cover
free.
charge was really convenient. I will go ahead and hype up Club 610 because there was no club cover charge, at least for women. I don't know if you guys plan to have like male VIPs.
It'll probably be $20.
We've had a coworker of yours come in. We haven't made him pay either yet.
Wow.
We've had Aaron Ladd come in studio before.
Oh, Aaron Ladd, you know what? Don't make him pay. He's cool.
Yeah.
He's cool with that.
Yeah, but
like
he didn't
Aaron.
drink. He was too stiff. We want people to come in here and have a cocktail.
Well, hold on.
It's a club.
Wow.
There we go. See?
Boom.
There we-
Cheers. And
Cheers.
my shift is over, so.
So you're weekend.
It is Friday.
Wait, you work in TV and you don't have to work on the weekends?
That's correct. I know.
So you do, so tell for people
She's
that
big
know,
time.
What do you mainly do traffic in over at 41, right?
Yeah, so I do traffic in the mornings. Shout out to my morning team. It's really fun Monday through Friday. And then I am the anchor for the midday show on at 11 a.m. and on at noon on 38 The Spot. I also have a fun segment called One Tank Trips that I do and go around, do fun stuff all over town, show people what there is to do on one tank of gas.
Okay, can we do Club 610 for that? You get one tank of gas. Can Club 610 be a stopping point?
Club 610 is our next stop on One Tank Trips.
Wow,
So,
you know?
as
You're
long
going to have a
as
lot
you
of
guys
people wanting to
provide-
come in here, though.
I know.
Because
as long as you
that's what
provide
people
it.
tune in for, One Tank Trips.
Well, so like the way it's like it's a brand new club, so right now we have to invite people to it. The eventual idea would be that people are asking to come, right?
Yeah.
No,
Like, we don't have to text people asking people if they want to come. They'll just want to come to the club.
And they'll
Absolutely.
reach out to you.
Yes, that's the inevitable goal.
How's it feel to be a club owner?
I know.
In Kansas City. I mean, that's huge.
That is a big
That
deal.
might be at the top of your
By
resume.
the way, how many clubs are there in Kansas City? Because every
Going
Chiefs
after
player
Mosaic.
I don't know.
We're going after Mosaic.
Every
Okay?
Chiefs player only goes to Mosaic. If we get one Chiefs player at Club 610, we are as good as Mosaic. Because that's the only club I think Chiefs players have been to.
Listen, the older that I get, a club at 1 p.m. in the afternoon on a Friday, and I can go to bed early, this is legit.
The perfect club for
This
me.
is the place to be.
There's have to have been some moments, whether you just got back from New York City, Mackenzie, as well. You were covering K-State, but at the club or whatever, do you have a story you can share on air of maybe the most awkward or like worst attempt by some guy or anything that happened at the club?
Ooh, I don't know. Well, first of all, it's been years since I've been in a club.
All right, bar as well.
Bars, nothing comes to mind.
Nothing comes to mind.
No.
Mackenzie's one
You're
of those
usually
people-
with me.
It's true. But Mackenzie's one of those people, she'll have like
Oh, boy.
maybe 15 guys at a time come up to her, and she's just like,
15?
"Doo-doo-doo."
Wow.
Not true.
She's just like, doo-doo-doo. And we're just like, everyone loves Mackenzie. And she always is like, what are you talking about? I'm like, did you not notice the like 20 dudes that just
I think
like,
I'm oblivious.
Okay, so we tried to help Alex with his dating life. We're still working on it. We have been attempting to help Alex with his current status of single.
What's going on?
You can answer for Mackenzie first before
Okay.
she answers. What's the
boy.
perfect person
Here
for
we go.
Mackenzie?
Here we go.
The perfect
Yeah, come on.
person
If we're
Oh,
setting
boy.
her up,
Mackenzie.
if there's a lot of guys who listen to sports radio, if there's somebody who's single and interested in Mackenzie,
Are we
what-
going to
what
take
is-
calls on the air?
Can we?
913-586-7610.
If you want to take me for a drink, call in now.
Yeah.
Who do you think?
Okay.
I would say you just heard.
Nick,
If
get
you-
the phone
if
lines
you're
ready, man.
listening- Listen, if you're listening, call in, tell us what your qualities are and what you think you could offer to our girl Mackenzie. But no,
Okay.
I think she needs somebody who is established, somebody who's a go-getter, just like herself.
She doesn't like a
Someone-
lazy person?
Not lazy. We don't do that over here. Somebody who's understanding and patient for sure. And I think somebody who wants to adventure and kind of maybe just a little bit opposite of her, but not completely too much.
It's like she knows me or something.
Wow.
I don't know.
I
It's
don't
wild.
I don't know.
Was that a good description? You didn't even argue it if you were just like politely nodding.
I feel like she knows me better than I know myself, honestly. So
This is getting very emotional.
no, it's so sentimental. Club 610, we don't cry in the
Hey,
club.
That's true.
I want you to go to the back for
we
that.
don't cry in the club.
No,
I
no
will
problem.
say, multiple people have called in. Multiple
Oh my
people.
God.
No way.
Multiple people. I see
No,
it. Multiple people did call
Can we
in.
answer them?
No, absolutely not.
need to
You wouldn't
answer
go
that.
out with somebody who randomly called into a radio station?
I think
All right.
that's the
Can we
romantic,
get this person?
that's
Oh
the
my
most romantic gesture.
Just in fairness,
Yeah.
like they didn't like find you the club, and it was like they heard this person, they thought you sounded fun. We had a person who did a dating game on this station and
Yeah.
got married.
I feel like if people are calling in, we got to get them to call in for Alex too. This is like a lot of pressure.
Well,
here's the thing.
The sports radio audience is a little less female.
Not a lot of women?
Unlike maybe on 41 where you guys have a good blend.
Yeah.
Sports radio, typically more male-dominant audience. We appreciate our female listeners.
But maybe they have a sister or something, you know?
Maybe.
Yeah.
We've tried that before. Okay, Nick, is this the correct person? Is this Andrew? I believe we have Andrew calling in to Club 610. Maybe one day you can get invited in, but we have Mackenzie Nelson from 41 in studio. I guess here's your shot, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Mackenzie. Just want to see if you want to go out sometime. I got a nice sense of humor. I got my own company. I'm an electrician.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I was in one relationship for 17 years. I've been single for 2 years, so I'm a one-woman man. I don't like the cheating thing. So you seem really
That's good. That's a plus. I don't do that. I don't put up with the cheating.
How old are you?
I am 35.
35.
Okay.
We like that. Sorry, this
Is that in the range? Is that in the range?
Yeah. Her dating coach.
Deja, the dating coach and life
dating coach and life coach, and I will
I own my own
approve.
house.
Okay, plus.
Do you like dogs?
Yeah, I love dogs.
Oh, that's a big
Yeah, is that like the winner there?
But if you said he hated dogs, would that have been a deal breaker?
I got 2 Labradoodles and a Pomapoo.
Now those are cute dogs.
Thank you. See?
Wow.
One thing I will say, I do have children.
Okay.
Why did you say it like that?
He's like, oh man, I have kids.
Oh man, I will say, darn it, I
Bad
do
news.
have kids, unfortunately. No,
Mackenzie
how old are your
probably
kids?
likes kids.
Yeah,
I love
Mackenzie's
kids.
for the kids.
I am the best aunt ever. That's all I can say.
Awesome. Well, I have older kids. I have an 18-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 7-year-old. So
All right.
As long as I
2
don't have to
daughters
play
and a
mom.
son.
Listen, I think you sound like a nice guy.
Okay, we've got Andrew's
All
number.
right, Andrew, we're going to put you on hold. and
Andrew,
I'll have,
thanks, man.
We're going to put you on hold. I'll have Nick write your phone number down at least, so then if
Yeah,
Mackenzie
Nick.
wants to reach out, that'll be her decision to do so, obviously. But we'll pass along the name and the phone number to Mackenzie. There you go.
Now you know
This really is a club.
I love that.
Look, you know what I like about it though? A lot of times in a lot of different clubs, they might lie to you. You know, they might lie to you to try to get this date. Not Andrew.
Have you guys
He
ever
put it
given
all out
your
on the
wrong
line.
phone number
all
out
out there.
though? Do you,
Wrong?
like if someone asks you
I've
for
never
your number?
done that.
No.
Sometimes
feel
I'll
like
mix up the numbers a
You'll
bit.
do that.
Oh man.
Alex just gave me the craziest look.
So you'll do
What, you
that.
think she's the first woman ever to give someone the wrong number?
Of course not. I just didn't know how prevalent that is. If you're at a bar now, is it just simply the person just didn't get the clue initially? Is that what usually happens?
Yeah, if someone's putting a lot of pressure on you and they're, not giving up, I will
Fair
give them
enough.
a wrong
All right,
number.
well that's fair. I generally think you can pick up clues. I generally feel like you can tell if the person's actually interested.
For the most part, I'm pretty kind. I let people down easy because I don't like to hurt anyone's feelings. That's how I get in trouble.
It sounds like you've been like this. I was the one time I dated someone for like 4 months because I didn't want to, but I felt bad.
I felt really bad.
Is that an accurate description?
That sounds accurate. And not like a real thing that's happened, but I could see it happening because she feels too bad to say something else. So she's like, okay.
I feel bad to say no.
Well, you better learn, honey. You better learn.
Deja, how long have you been married?
I've been married for a year. We got married
okay.
in November.
Freshly new.
Yeah, freshly new. It'll be 2 years this coming November.
Did you guys meet at the club?
We totally met at the club. No, we didn't meet at no club.
How did
She gave him the wrong number.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
We met at work. What?
Okay.
I know.
That's
So,
usually frowned upon.
Listen, it could either end. I always
They were in
tell
HR a lot.
I always tell people it could either end really, really bad or really good. And for us, it ended really good. So at work, we were both reporters in New Bern, North Carolina.
Okay.
And so young reporters met there, and the rest is history, guys. Been married.
How is married life?
Married
Cody
life.
and Deja?
Yeah, my wife's here.
Yeah.
Emma, step up to
Maybe
the
we should get
microphone.
her on. Tell us what it's like, okay?
Let her tell before I answer.
Yeah, we don't want to hear
Well,
from Cody.
I'm freshly married, so I've got that. We're still like, going
She's
out
in the
and
honeymoon phase.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honeymoon phase, having the time of our lives, traveling, no kids yet, just doing our thing, man.
You're describing the opposite, I think, of our current marriage. Traveling, those things. We do have kids.
Okay.
There's
But
less of that. We are
big
traveling this
anniversary
weekend.
coming up soon, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How many years?
So Mackenzie knows this because of 10.
10 years.
10 years. So yesterday, this is what's insane. Yesterday before our show, a woman came up to us.
This is the best.
Yeah.
This is the
And
best story.
we're on the air, and she's having a hard time getting in the stadium with her bag. which we very quickly realize is an Hermes bag. Like a leather Hermes bag, so it's very expensive. We looked it up later; it was like $4,000.
Of course.
And she couldn't figure out how to get.
No big deal.
She couldn't figure out how to get into the stadium. We eventually agreed to take possession of it to get it to her later. I was like, if I just held on to this, who would know? Then Emma could get a $4,000 bag for her anniversary. It'd be a pretty good deal, right? We gave her the bag back. She's fine.
Well, you did end up giving it back.
Yeah, she's got it back. She
See,
got it back.
I tried to buy it off of Cody yesterday. I was like, let's cut a deal here, okay?
He left out some details. I drove to a hotel and dropped it off at this for this woman or whatever. But yeah.
So why aren't you dating
Great
her?
service.
Well, she's married.
Never mind.
She's
out of Alex's age range.
yeah. My guess.
And
Let's
they
see
were
if
all
you
dressed
agree.
like the Roy family. They were so rich you could just sense it.
You could smell it.
Why do you say that as like a reason
Yeah.
why Gold wouldn't be interested?
Yeah, what's your age range? We need to know this.
It's not to her age. Let's put it's not to her age.
Okay, what is your age range though?
Like even on the dating profiles, I think I have it set 26 to 34 or 20. I'm 32 by the way. But
Okay.
32, okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
How are the apps? I've never been on an app.
And me neither.
Ever?
I've never been on
I'm
an app.
terrified.
I find really you've never.
No, her. Mackenzie, I decided, no, me. By the time we've been together long enough, the apps didn't exist. So
iPhone didn't exist when we started dating.
We've known each other forever.
You've never done the apps. I'm surprised by that. Really?
I've
Neither
been
one of you.
encouraged, but I've
She's
not.
holding out. It's really annoying. I'm the married friend that's like, I want to see what you swipe
You
on.
sound like my I have two sisters. You sound like my sisters because they're like we didn't get to experience this, and so they like going through it. So,
Swipe me up.
I didn't get to
I've seen
experience
that.
it, so I'm like, can I just see what you're doing?
I've heard like terrible stories though, so it's not encouraging to go sign up for an app.
Probably worse for for women on there than the guy. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see it playing out like
But
that.
I've seen a lot of like Tinder weddings. I've seen a lot of people get
Tinder's,
married.
and we'll see if the listeners agree. I am not on Tinder anymore. Tinder's definitely
That one you let go?
Tinder's a little trashier. I think
okay.
Wow.
That's what I've heard. That's not the best app.
Would you disagree, Nick? I know you're in a relationship now, but
I think I don't know if trashy is the word. It's much more casual.
Yeah.
Much more
Wait,
casual.
you're in a
I'm picking up
relationship.
what you're
Is that
putting
from
down.
one of the apps?
No,
Okay.
that's
See, they're not successful.
old-fashioned way.
The three couples in this building did not meet on the app, so therefore they don't work.
Not an option.
Also, what is this? This is delicious.
that is
Hard
from
seltzer.
Four Hands Brewing Company. It is a seltzer. Actually, it's I think partially created by our own Bob Fesco.
That's correct.
Wow.
It is
a
so
collaboration
good.
with Bob.
Powder
Yeah.
Blue Punch.
It is so good.
Shout out to Bob.
Yeah. I like it.
Can I read a text? I don't know if this will make you uncomfortable from the 816.
yeah.
Can you tell Mackenzie that I have the biggest crush on her? This is from the 816. From the,
Yes.
Wait, there's no more?
That's it.
816?
That's just we.
Area code.
It has the full number. We don't obviously say the full number, but it's just from
There's
the
some legal
816.
They're
reasons.
just like, let the number out.
Like, let it out.
Someone said they met their wife on Tinder,
Yeah.
celebrating their 5-year wedding anniversary next month.
Wow.
You see
Okay,
what I
that's
mean?
awesome. A
Tinder
success
weddings.
story.
Yeah, there are plenty of success stories. Like, just as there are horror stories.
But
there
do
are
they
success stories.
outweigh the bad?
That is for you.
We've got a whiteboard over there. Let's make a pros and cons list.
Why don't you just choose the app where you get to initiate the conversation at least?
Because I won't ever do that.
You're just like,
It would just be
Wait.
Stare at
radio
the profile.
silence. I would just not do anything.
Really?
I cannot make the
You
first
won't
move.
initiate
No.
and be like, hello.
Absolutely not.
Oh. What's your pickup line? What's your typical go-to pickup line?
I don't
I was
have
gonna
one.
Oh, so
She-
you're just like,
you're probably
people come
not
to you.
going like the guy's probably coming up to you though, so you're probably not having to do that, right?
Yeah. I don't even know what I would say. What do you guys say? Well, you guys. Sorry, Cody.
again, you're gonna want to.
My thing
You're
is
gonna have
mainly
to ask Nick single a couple of years ago and Alex now.
So I've said that. I think I've said this on air. So if someone introduces me, I can have a I have no problem talking to people, can have a conversation. But if it's somebody that I haven't been introduced to at all, or is not already I'm bad about just going up to you randomly and starting talking to you. That's
hard.
that's something I've never been good at. But if we are talking as a group and we're with a group of people, or someone introduces me, then the conversation, that's easy.
Yeah.
It'll flow because you go from a group setting. You're comfortable. You feel like you've maybe like
Then
talked
you
to the
lock
person.
eyes
Yeah.
with the target.
The
And then
target?
you make contact. That's how everything you were describing. I'm like, okay, this is definitely a setup.
They've locked
And
eyes.
You've locked eyes. You've picked your target. You know what you're going to talk about, and then you just
Go
focus
for
on
it.
her.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
don't
if
know.
it works, then yeah.
Nick, didn't you tell me you used to have a standard You told it to Alex once because we were talking about the apps, and you said you used to have a standard pickup line.
This is gonna be good.
For the beginning of the apps.
Okay.
I know that this is right.
Yeah, but I don't remember what it was. Oh,
Your
gosh.
girlfriend's not listening. It's okay.
No, I know.
It's not like my parents
I'm not
can't
worried
wait to
about that.
meet you or something. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like, it was
yeah,
like
that
a
was
bat,
it.
bat alley.
That was it. Right after you'd match, I would DM them the first message I would send to them would say, "Just wanted to let you know my parents are really excited to meet you."
Oh gosh.
And they would usually laugh.
They don't seem super impressed.
They would usually laugh, or I would never hear from them again. But the ones who laughed, that's like the filter. You know, they're gonna get my sarcasm, and then we would normally hit it off.
Thinking of thinking of DMs. I don't know if you guys saw. So on TikTok, there was an Instagram model. I think Carrington was talking about this on his show earlier this week. I'll play you the audio clip. She explained what happened with an NBA player. Just want to get your reaction to if somebody would have done this. What your reaction would have been.
boy.
There you go.
The NBA player, when he slid in your DMs, what did he put? This is fantastic.
Oh, just a period. But I feel like everyone already knows about that.
Really?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of that? Yeah, but I imagine he probably sends that to like every
Right.
Instagram model he likes, and then
Yeah.
he sees who answers.
So someone just DMs you and they just put a period and they think you're going to respond to them.
That is a
It's
whole
bold.
new level of confidence right there.
Yeah, but if you're an
that's very
NBA
bold.
player, it's like it's not hard to see. They'll be like, well, I mean, I can see that they're an NBA player,
Right.
right?
Like I can see the blue check mark. I can see you don't really have to say much. You just have to initiate something. So I guess
just
the
saying.
period is hello. I'm here. Go ahead and let me know. Let me know when
Would
you're
you
ready
ever
for the
would you ever respond to that? Or does it be like is it just truly a case by case scenario?
It would be a case by case. But I would probably respond with something like not so nice.
No, you'd be like, what? What does that mean?
Quickly, you turned her into a valley girl.
And I'd be like, and?
Yeah. Period. What?
Yeah.
And then it would be sent to the group chat, and then that person.
And
would
then
discuss
the
about.
girls we would have to talk about what this means.
How often is the text or even conversations on the dating apps get screenshotted over to the girls group?
Every
100%
day.
of the time.
Man.
100% of the time.
You just wanted confirmation?
Every day, all day.
Every day, all day.
I'm just
100% of the
educating
time.
myself this whole.
Nothing you say.
Nick, Cody,
is
you guys
safe.
can talk about whatever you want. I'm just educating myself now.
Literally,
That's it, you know?
yeah, what Dave just said, everything you say
is in the group chat.
Yes.
I figured as
And
much.
the girls will take a vote on whether or not
to continue.
Yes.
Wait,
100%.
what?
Or
You
to
said you're
respond a certain
polling
way.
this?
Yes, we pull it.
You have to. You have to.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Because sometimes you're not thinking right. You know, you got to get everybody else's perspective before you
That's what I'm
respond.
saying. Yeah.
This feels like a lot of pressure to be all of a sudden.
It is.
My entire world opened up to an entire group chat as
Yeah.
we're discussing everyone's
It
personal
is.
lives.
You guys are so lucky you're married, you know, honestly.
I don't look. I don't. The idea of dating ever again is.
Cody,
It's
just say
terrible.
yes.
It is.
Just say yes. I am.
Your
I
wife's
am
in the
so
room.
lucky.
Your wife
Oh,
is
we've had
in the
this
room.
conversation.
No, but
Emma and I've had this conversation. The notion of having to actually ever go, like, never, no way.
It just
Not
sounds
interested.
exhausting. I don't want to think of. No.
It's terrifying.
No. Especially when I,
So
when
good luck,
I have
you
single
two, I
friends.
guess.
Basically, I know.
So
Okay,
best of luck.
Alex and I are really excited. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
No pressure at all.
No pressure.
I did see some other people calling in, so I mean, we can try to get you some more.
There were other people calling.
Definitely other people calling
We
in.
need more
Oh
calls.
my goodness.
913-586-7610.
I'm trying to hear. I'm trying to hear these suitors, man. This is like Bachelorette modern day.
Bachelorette at Club 610.
Here's the thing. It's absolutely zero pressure. They call in, you're not interested. They don't
we
have your
hang up.
number. They have no means to contact you.
I said, then we hang up. That's not nice. Just kidding. We won't hang up in your face. We'll just say thank you for calling. And
I
then-
feel like this is like, what's that show? I don't really watch it. Love is Blind, where you don't see the
yeah.
person, you just like hear them. Is that the right show?
Yeah.
I've watched that before.
This is what
It's
this is.
good.
You don't see the person, so you can't make any judgments based off of
I need at
appearance.
least
It's
one
just
more
what they
caller
say.
so I can compare Andrew to.
Okay, I think we have.
Oh,
I
Lordy.
think we'll have another caller in just a second.
Let's go.
That we can see, and yeah, you can
Let us know.
you can judge from
Why
there.
do
Just
you
know
think
I
you
am
should
going to
date
find someone for Alex now.
Great, but why do you think you should date Mackenzie? That's the question that I have as her life coach and dating coach.
All right, let's get that question answered, I guess. We have Nathan, 913-586-7610. Nathan, you're on Club 610. It's Cody and Gold. We got Mackenzie Nelson from 41 in studio.
Hey, guys. So long-time listener, first-time caller. On a completely unrelated note, Mackenzie, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm 26 years old, born and raised here in KC. Not a homeowner like the last guy, still working up to that, but just got out of law school. I'm an attorney, working up, saving up.
What kind of attorney are you?
Yeah, so actually tenant rights. So like
Nice.
eviction
That's
defense. So yeah.
Oh, all right. I like
That's
you.
me.
You don't sound 26. Let me calm my
The lawyer's
married
mature.
behind down. Let me calm down. You go ahead and respond.
Do you think he sounds older? Is that
I
what you're
think
saying?
you sound mature. Yeah, you sound mature and a lot older. Lawyer, that's a great sign. And
I love how he said, I don't own a house. Like, it's not like I have like a list of things you have to check off.
Right.
Plus, Mackenzie owns a house, so you can just move in there. That's fine.
Deja's currently staying with me. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm not. Don't spread that. No. Let's set the record straight. My husband and I live together.
Yes.
Anyway,
I got you.
Ask Nathan a question.
Ooh, this is a lot of pressure.
Wait, Nathan, have you ever seen Mackenzie before?
Of course.
Oh.
Are you a...
He says, of course.
Of course. Duh.
Are you a longtime viewer of 41?
Yeah, definitely. No, I've seen her on the news, on the sideline reports. Yeah, all that good stuff.
Okay, there you go. Am I good at my job?
I mean, I think so.
Okay, awesome.
Quickly turned into therapy as well.
I'm too well versed in the field.
I think we're learning Mackenzie might like validation in a relationship.
Listen,
I don't know. That might be my love language.
Nathan may be good for you. He was willing to give you the confirmation that you wanted.
Being an attorney, though, I feel like everything's up for debate because that's what you do for a living. So that could cause like a lot of debates, right? A lot of arguments.
What is your rebuttal?
Yeah,
And then I'll give my closing argument.
No, I know exactly what you mean, and that bothers me to no end about our profession. So I try my best to not be one of those, because there's a lot of them out there. So,
Nathan, where's your first date spot?
man, it's been a while since I've been on a first date. We'd probably grab some coffee. Probably do it in the daytime. I think that's more low key, than like going out and just balling out on the first date.
Absolutely,
that's her vibe.
That's my vibe.
Chat it up.
All right, Nathan.
Now we have your number.
Next thing, we have your number. Submit your photo, your social security, and your
credit card number. We'll need that as well.
Yeah, Nathan, we're going to put you on
Get my
hold.
cover letter over.
Yeah, Nathan, we'll
Send us your Instagram.
We'll put you on hold. Nick will get your info. Just fax over the credit report and
social security.
everything else.
FICO score.
We need to do a full background check.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, Mackenzie, that's two names. You've come to the club today, and we have given you two names, two phone numbers, and a little pre-screening too.
This is awesome. I feel like I haven't really had to do anything.
This is amazing. I'm really excited for your future.
Am I the Bachelorette?
You are.
Kind of. It turned that way.
This is incredible.
Wow. What a life.
All right, we're gonna
This
get a
club is amazing.
quick break in. Gonna fill up some drinks. I haven't got one. I need to complain to whoever is in charge of bottle service.
Alex didn't get good service.
I need to get a good drink here, and we'll keep talking about dating life and among other things, be a little football mixed in as well. Next.
Cody and Gold on 610 Sports Radio and the Odyssey app.
Talk on the radio. Yeah. You're a fanboy.
Brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com.
Well, it's springtime, and you know what that means. Baseball season is here. Grand slams, no-hitter, double plays are back, maybe some web gyms. And there's no better place to get in on the Major League Baseball action than with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And right now, new customers can step up to the batter's box with a no-sweat first bet that's good for up to $1,000. All you need to do is go to FanDuel.com/CDOT to sign up, place your first bet, and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win. Do not miss your chance to get a no-sweat first bet good for up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. All you need to do is go to FanDuel.com/CDOT to sign up. FanDuel, the official partner of Major League Baseball, and also 610 Sports Radio. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued to non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with the Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online. Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Take your shot during BetMGM's March matchups and instantly receive $200 in bonus bets. Simply sign up using bonus code CTAP200 and place a $10 bet on any college basketball tournament game. Win or lose, $200 in bonus bets will be added to your account right away. It is that easy. Plus, you'll discover a wide variety of parlay selection features, daily boosted odds specials, and much more. Download the BetMGM app today and use that promo code CTAP200. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager, Kansas only. New customers offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage egg croissant plus small seasoned potatoes for $3. It's the breakfast that don't miss. So if you did miss Wendy's breakfast, don't imagine. Fresh cracked eggs, sizzling sausage, crispy bacon, and block out those hot, buttery, flaky croissants. Croissants don't really make a sound, but if they did, for a breakfast that don't miss, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Select a request $3 breakfast deal to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combo orders.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year. Which means... Wait. Hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Lowe's MVP's bonus days are back for pros. Right now, buy a DeWalt 20-volt max power stack battery 2-pack at $199 and get a select DeWalt Bear tool free. Plus, earn 3 times the bonus points on all Metabo HPT tools and products. Shop even more savings and bonus points offers during MVP's bonus days at Lowe's. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid 3/20 through 3/31. Subject to change. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. Visit Lowes.com/MVP's bonus points for details.
The 610 Sports Radio phone line is brought to you by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. Visit GetJim.com.
This report is brought to you by Charles River Labs. Discover the difference. This is your moment. Charles River Labs is a visionary leader in the development and delivery of advanced drug therapies. Be part of a team that is focused on improving global health while providing a culture of teamwork, diversity, and sustainability. This is your moment. Opening soon in Overland Park. Learn more at jobs.criver.com.
Back here, Club 610 continues on a Friday. It's Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Nick Schwartz with you. 3 special guests in studio.
Yeah.
We have Daisha Jones from 41, Mackenzie Nelson from 41. We have Cody Tapp's wife, Emma, in studio as well, hanging out.
She's the best guest.
Actually, this is super convenient timing because you guys on this show have given me a very hard time. And this gives us a good, no, not you two. This gives us a chance to clear the air before we get into more potential suitors on the text line for Mackenzie. They gave me a hard time, Mackenzie, because they once found out that I went to a hotel to deliver baked goods to someone. It's like 11 o'clock at night. and they were very accusatory of me, and I was delivering them to...
Me.
That's correct.
What? This was years ago. I was staying at a hotel because of my cousin's wedding.
Okay.
And I had something going on in my life that it was like up north somewhere, I think, right?
Yeah.
Maybe somewhere. I'm
Real
not great with
convenient for
directions.
Cody. Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And he was so nice and delivered like this just Tupperware full of different cookies. And I mean, I ate them all.
I was trying to be nice.
That is nice.
It
And they
was
said
so
that I was.
nice.
Cody told
They
the
said I
story.
should not meet any women at 11 o'clock at the hotel
It
at
was
night.
in the hotel
delivering
lobby.
baked
He
goods.
If you
handed
were
me
my
Tupperware.
husband-
Is that a
boy.
problem?
Oh, you'd have gotten
boy.
cussed out, fussed
See?
out, all those things. But listen, we'd have made up. It's okay. You didn't do anything.
It was so nice.
Emma didn't even care.
I did
Well,
not
listen,
care.
You guys have been together long enough. I am still in that fresh, new, you know what I mean? I think it's different. You guys have established that, like, you know what? We've been through some stuff. I'm not going to go anywhere. I delivered some baked goods. She's my home girl, whatever.
I think it'd be weirder if I hadn't said. If I didn't say I was going there, fine, we got a problem. Like if I just start visiting hotel rooms at midnight.
But you let your wife know where you
Yeah,
were
she
going.
knew where I was
And
going.
the thing was, he was going to come earlier in the day, but the wedding schedule got messed up, and I had to be somewhere, and then I didn't get back till later. And he
Did
was like,
you
"Well, I
make
still
the
want to give
baked
these."
goods?
I think I might have. There were
I
multiple.
don't remember. It was like
things.
4 different
I
kinds or
might
5
have
different
made one
kinds.
of them.
Yeah.
He made most of
Oh,
them.
okay. So if it's like, you know,
It was
right,
so
right,
nice.
You
I
made
was
them, then it's you're
very
dropping them off.
aware of the entire situation.
Yeah, that's not sketchy.
And I think it actually supposed to happen before you were at the hotel for the wedding, like a few days or a week or something before, and schedules got thrown off, and
Okay.
that's when it timed out.
You should.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't even think that way. How dare you guys?
I'm actually, Nick, I don't
The
know
way
if
that you set it up, I was like, oh no.
I was trying to be nice.
I don't know.
It was so nice, and I wanted to cry because I was like, "This is such a kind gesture."
It is.
Like to have someone do that.
Do you have a brother?
3, but they're all married.
Oh, never mind.
Everyone's
Sorry.
married.
I'm actually, I don't know if Nick agrees with me. I'm disappointed that now you peeled back the curtain so much,
Sorry.
and now we know that it was Mackenzie because
Right?
for
You
guys
for,
didn't know?
for
It
the
was a
no
mystery?
for the last year
Oh, you're the mystery woman.
we've been giving him a hard time saying, "Hey man, you went to a hotel at 11 o'clock at night and met someone in the hotel lobby."
Mystery woman.
And now it's gone.
That was the other thing I tried to make very clear. I said we were only ever in the hotel lobby. That should be, it's an important note.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And it was like minutes. It was like we weren't sitting there in the hotel lobby like catching up and chatting for hours.
Right. It was like, here's the Tupperware. My wife also made some stuff in here.
Eat
Enjoy.
them.
Have a good
Goodbye.
913-586-7610. That's the text line. There are a couple texts coming in for Club 610. From the 913, yo, I promised I'd shoot my shot if I wasn't at a business lunch, LOL. That was a reference to you, Mackenzie.
Business lunch, huh?
Business lunch.
Well, they sound like they have it together. They're having business lunch.
Having business lunches.
Where's the business lunch, and can you bring us some food?
Someone else says, Mackenzie, there's something wrong with my cell phone. It doesn't have your number in it.
Wow.
That's a good
What a line. What a line.
I need that person's name. Because you might
We got
be
their
in the
number.
running.
We have their phone number.
You might be in the running for Mackenzie's next boyfriend. Husband.
boy.
I don't know.
Oh,
Are you
boy.
dating for a boyfriend? Or are you dating for a husband? That's something you should establish.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Someone else says,
What if I don't know?
the voices on this show are tempting me to break up with my girlfriend and ask them out.
Oh, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
What if it's not a good relationship?
Or I
though,
guess
you know?
I should say, don't
That's-
do
I'm just reading the
that.
text. Yeah, wait.
2 of us are married. So that's not going to go very well for him.
True.
I know.
Oh, this is quite the club.
I think now people are asking for advice as well.
Ooh,
So
I love giving advice.
this one says, guys, Mac from 41.
That's you, Mackenzie.
That's me.
Mac.
Okay, that's what people call you as Mac.
Yeah,
Okay,
Mac.
sorry.
She goes by Mac
All right,
sometimes.
it says Mac from
Wait,
41.
for real, or is just this person
No,
just
really.
inventing
Oh,
that?
I was like, how do they
Everyone
know?
at 41 calls me
Calls her
Mac.
Mac.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
it's a thing.
They're asking for you specifically here. My wife says she wears not the best makeup. Contour sometimes looks off. They're asking what his response should be. I don't know.
What his response should
Yeah.
be? You don't
Just buy her
want to
some nicer
offend her.
makeup.
Yes, exactly. Go out, buy some new products, and I think that would be like the start.
Drop some money at Ulta and just call it a
Yes.
day.
Or take her somewhere where they can do a consultation. Like
Yeah,
she's
go get
not
your
doing
makeup
it
done,
right.
and they'll walk you through it. Sometimes you
doesn't-
have to pay like $50 to go get your
Yeah.
makeup done, but they will
Or-
show you all the products that are best for you, how to use them.
Or my favorite, follow Mackenzie on TikTok. Watch her get ready with
Are
me.
you? Do you have a strong TikTok presence?
I do not.
She
I do not.
does a ready with me, like, the watch me get ready, and she could probably learn a thing or two, because, Ken's makeup is on fire, and,
Oh, my Lord.
Well, if you do the TikTok, it must be pretty good.
I've done like 2 get ready with me.
GRWM.
GRWM. Deja's here for it. She's the only watcher
Well,
of the GRWMs.
That's not true. There were some comments on there.
I do get DMs asking where I'll get certain makeup or clothes, things like that.
Apologies
so.
in advance. I'm guessing you're going to have a few more DMs after this full hour of Club 610.
I do have a few new followers on Instagram.
Hey, okay.
Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh.
Let's see.
Follow Mackenzie. Ooh, here
Look
we
at
go.
these followers. Let's see.
Are we
1,
allowed to
2,
read their
3,
name?
4,
No,
5,
we won't.
6 new
first names.
followers.
You can do first names.
names?
Okay,
No,
let's
she
see.
got 6 new followers, you guys.
We've got a Michael, a Matthew,
Matthew,
a Ron,
thanks, Ron,
and an Adam.
Could you have chosen more
we got
stereotypical
more.
sports radio listener names,
Seth,
by the way?
Seth. I like the name
Let's
Seth.
go back to Seth.
And we have a Brooks.
Go back to Seth.
But you guys, if your profile is private, that's not a good sign.
Make it unprivate.
Because I can't stalk you first.
And you're worried they've got hidden pictures of their family or something they're trying to clean up before this moment.
I think one of them has a girlfriend. So we're gonna not.
Well, maybe they just enjoy watching you on TV doing your job, and that's it,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A second piece of advice the text line is looking for is it okay to do on-field engagements? We're asking that question, of course, after the man got
The baseball
straight up
proposal.
tackled.
Destroyed.
Okay, I would just like to say
Did you
that
see the video?
security
Yes.
guard was trying to prove something.
Oh, you think he was trying to be a hero?
Oh, and I think he might have been cut from the football team back in the day.
Yep.
He was in his feelings, and he's like, "This is my chance."
You have a full-on backstory.
Listen, I am prepared.
When else do they have a chance
But that's
to
his
just
only
go,
moment to have
This
a
was his
heroic
moment.
time.
Yeah.
to go out and just level somebody?
But
Now,
did you guys see? She said yes.
she did. We saw the follow-up. What's your stance on stadium? I've said I'm anti-stadium proposal across the board. I think I don't
You're
like
a big
it at all.
sports fan. I would kind of surprised
Yeah, but that doesn't
sometimes
mean-
that that's your anti-stance.
You're gonna propose unless you got some great story that you guys met there. Or
Right.
Otherwise, I don't get it. You're
I'm
at
with
Kaufman.
Gold.
You're at Kaufman Stadium, and what you want everybody else just to be focused in on you. Yeah,
Right.
baseball.
I don't want to
get
be
it.
in front of a million strangers. Like I don't like that idea.
So what, you want 2 people? 10?
Maybe just my family, his family, like a very small,
Sounds like the entire group. Like, I don't see the problem with this stadium proposal.
I know.
Deja, you wanna do it in front of, like,
ask
a
Deja
stadium
her
crowd?
My husband proposed to me live on air. So
Really?
it was in front
In
of
North
the
Carolina?
Whole, in North Carolina, it was in front of the whole viewership there.
Wow.
So I am one
It
that
seems like you're pro stadium proposal.
I am.
But you guys met at the station too, right?
Right. So there's meaning behind
It
it.
was
So that's why
sentimental.
I agree with you about if there's a sentimental thing behind it, like you and your wife or future wife watch the team that's your favorite, it's how you bond, then yeah, I think it's appropriate, but I'm not like, ooh, you should do it at the game. That's
I mean, I feel like they could have just handcuffed the guy. I didn't think they had to completely wipe him out.
Still trespassing.
But can
I know,
I
but
say,
he wasn't going anywhere.
Gold's like he deserved that.
He was on his
Yeah,
knees.
I have no problem with the security guy tackling that.
can I just say it was a very clean tackle.
Good form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good form. Really impressive. I'm sorry to that guy, but
It's a shame he got cut.
A shame he got cut from the team. That's
that
right.
He got cut from his past
I don't know
team.
what team he got cut from, but Deja said it happened.
I'd like to speak with him. I need to know more. The journalist in me wants to know his backstory.
Wait, Cody, did you propose in front of a lot of people?
how did you
It was in
propose?
front of the theater.
In front of a theater.
It was a theater. It was at the Tivoli, which doesn't even exist anymore. Now, we worked together there. And knew
Act
people
like
there
you're
for a very
80
long
years
time.
old.
The time.
You're like, oh,
yeah.
decades ago.
In fairness, well, it wasn't 10 years. It was a decade.
Yeah.
As of, when we were engaged for a little while, right? So, I mean, like a year.
We were engaged for a year, so it was over a decade ago that we got engaged.
So there you go. See, it was a long time ago. Plus, that theater was for like 80-year-olds. So, in fairness,
I miss
it kind of
it.
fits the vibe.
I miss it.
So I was
See, it
also
goes
a public
back to
proposal.
your,
If you have some true
And
connection
she's not
to
a
that
person
place.
who wants to be like out in public doing. And she didn't care in that moment, I don't think.
Of course not.
I didn't like stand up in front of every 100 people like, look, I'm gonna ask this person to marry me. So clap,
Yeah.
clap, please. I'd like a moment.
Did you black out, or were you like totally focused,
Nah,
like
I mean,
ready
we
to
were
go?
together for so long before that moment. I
So
think
you
it was
knew.
probably okay.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was 100% confident I wasn't getting a no.
Right.
We were together way too long. We like
by the way,
owned a house together.
I feel like
we
there's-
were in way too deep to get a no at that point.
Does anybody actually propose now? I just don't without knowing that it's a yes. Like to me, it's your own fault at that point. Like you got to have that conversation, right?
Yeah.
You propose without knowing the person's going to say
I
yes.
I feel
still
like
think
if
there are
you
people out there
propose, you have to
proposing after like 2 weeks.
But you're gonna get a yes.
You still need to be surprised in the venue and when it's going to happen and all that. But like the actual answer you should know it's a definitive yes.
Absolutely,
I think so.
Okay, so I don't know how people are getting caught in this.
But this goes back to the whole thing. It's like I don't think you should marry anyone you've never lived with.
I
It is bonkers behavior to not live with someone before you marry them.
I agree.
What if you move in together and it's terrible? Oh, you guys did not live together, did you?
No comment.
Oh no.
I don't know if my in-laws are listening.
No.
Because technically,
they
we
live
weren't
here?
supposed to. No. Okay, they will never hear this.
They could have
We're not
tuned in on the
supposed
app, though. You
we're
can
not
tune in
supposed
on the
to
app.
live
That's right.
together. We're not supposed to live together before marriage, but we absolutely.
Gotcha.
Not officially. I mean, like he had an apartment. I had an apartment. He was always at my apartment.
Yeah.
You know.
Because what if
It
you
was
did
an
things that were so
unofficial-
weird?
official.
Official thing.
We were just told to not tell my grandmother.
See? You see what I mean?
You lied to Granny?
We just didn't tell her. It was a live admission.
I think ultimately, I mean, she had her marbles until the end, so I think she figured it out.
Oh, well, at least Granny.
But she didn't
died
bring it
now.
up, so we didn't bring
say
it up.
anything, so it was fine. I think she liked Cody enough. She let it slide.
She was like, you know what?
Wow.
You're my favorite. I'm gonna let it slide.
So we had
That's good.
because my parents it was lawless. There were no rules. There were no they weren't trying to none of that.
No.
There were too many kids. We're not trying to track you all down or figure all this out. It seems like you're mostly fine.
Live and let live.
Yeah, so we just allowed that to occur instead.
Great.
The much easier way to go about it.
I feel like it
still
worked out
can't
well
get-
for you.
Yeah, it did.
You're great.
It turned out fine.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
Fine. That's how you fine.
He
is how
turned
you-
out
Don't start
great.
issues.
Yeah, come on.
Don't start issues in the club. Where's security?
I'm not trying to get therapy.
Where is security?
We don't want any fights in the club.
Right? Oh my goodness.
We're gonna have to bring the security from that game and
We have.
I don't want him to tackle him. He needs to be in the other room. I'm scared of him.
Well, he did take some dangerous paths.
Yeah.
To at least.
He chose violence for sure.
Again, I still think he could have taken it a little less seriously.
Don't trespass.
Honestly, maybe he's trying to get drafted.
maybe it made things more exciting.
This is
we needed more excitement.
See, this is where we could try. You're both single. We'd be like, well, you guys just go out on a date. She's describing someone she wants something a little more dangerous, and you're like, just play by the rules, never get in trouble, and things will be fine. you gotta be dangerous sometimes. You gotta get in a little bit of trouble.
I had a feeling that was come up.
Do you like someone to be a little dangerous, Mackenzie? Do you like someone that got a little trouble?
The way that's phrased, by the way.
Yeah, I feel like I was such a married man asking that question. Hey, do you think that maybe you would
Look, I'm not a danger. I'm a very sick. But they give me a hard time because I've been arrested.
What? Yeah,
he's
I
been
mean,
arrested.
if you've been
Just a couple of times,
arrested
and it was
booked,
fine.
Probably.
Define
no.
booked. Define booked. Like I had to go
Were
to county.
you charged and you served
Well, I mean, I was charged with
time?
no, I didn't serve time. I was
Okay.
charged with a crime, and I had to do community service.
Okay, that's different. I could let that slide. But, I mean, if you did.
All right, 913-586-7610. If you've had a criminal past, it is open now.
Okay,
There's a
guys,
limitation.
I'm sorry. The line's blowing up. We're going to have to redact that. Take that back. I'm just kidding.
Now that we've opened up to all criminals.
Yes. No. I don't want you dating a
I
criminal.
would not. No, I could not.
I have to speak out for your mother.
There are some things. Yeah, for my mother, who's probably listening right now.
Hey,
Shout out.
Sally.
Shout out, Sally.
Oh, she's probably like, go, Mackenzie. She's your biggest cheerleader.
Horrified right now.
No, she's your biggest cheerleader.
She didn't know I was Kansas City's Bachelorette.
You are. You are now.
What about so on the sports interest, right?
Yes.
You do a lot of sports anchoring. I mean, we could certainly talk about do you want someone who can talk about the NFL draft with you or know what's going on? Just
absolutely.
Will show some interest in sports. Gold said he didn't care if somebody likes sports or not.
They can't
didn't have
hate
to be
it,
a
but
primary.
I don't know how you feel outside of work. There's sometimes where I don't want to have a full-blown conversation about what I talked about for 20 hours during the week already.
But I do think there has to be some sort of interest in what you're interested in. We don't need to sit there and talk about
Who the
everything
Chiefs
we
are gonna
just
take in the
covered.
first round, right?
Exactly.
Mhm.
But I want to be able to watch games together and talk about certain things, and because that's a big thing for me. I love to go out and watch games if I'm not covering them. So it's huge. We have to have some similarities.
Have to get your
Why
guys'
are you laughing?
I'm laughing because the more we sit here, we're only talking to two single people in the room, and then the question is, why don't you guys just date? Right? I mean, we're all thinking it. Like, why
Alex
don't you guys
also
just date?
does like going to sporting events.
Wow. I had no
I wasn't
idea.
gonna
I don't
say
know what
it.
would make you think that, but
You
yeah.
know, I'm pretty sure Alex was at my house growing up because he went to school with my older brother. They're the same age.
That's true.
And
Is
I'm
that-
pretty sure,
I don't know. Yeah, we
Might
went
have-
to high school together.
yeah.
Were you
I've
friends?
known him for a long time. Oh, I'm 2 years younger.
That's how all romantic love stories begin.
It turns out they were childhood friends.
Turns out they were childhood friends. He came over to my house.
In fairness, it turns out
brother.
like my wife and I, our sisters were friends when we were in like elementary school. so-
Wow.
See?
And we've known each other since we were 12.
Yeah, we didn't
what I mean?
date all that time. We did go to the 8th grade dance together though,
did.
so there's photo
I'm not
there's
saying
evidence
anything.
for that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying. We
A
can
lot of
turn
people on
it-
the text line, I will say, have tied it to. You mentioned the criminal past. They want to know if Chiefsaholic is on the table.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay,
Bank
but
robberies when
Isn't
he's
he
done.
on the run still?
No.
yes.
Have you guys enjoyed that story as much as we all have?
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
How long do you think he'll be out? We haven't over. Gold originally set the line at 7 days. He's down to like 4 days, I think, on that original timeline.
Yeah, he
now.
needs to be caught in 4 days, right?
I said I think he's got 17 days in him. He's a guy who clearly knows how to live life on the run. He's always living in a car, found a bunch of money over the course of time. That's the kind of person who's going to evade police for a long time.
I feel like he's definitely in another country by now.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I feel like it's too movie. Like everybody has this movie script idea. Like he's
Everything
already.
up to this has been
Fair enough.
a
Fair
movie
enough.
script.
That's true.
Because this
But
does not seem real.
Now
That's
he's
true.
gonna flip the script and he's somewhere chilling in Olathe, hanging out, eating barbecue, listening to 610.
He's in some mom's basement.
Yeah, he's just hanging out and everybody's freaking out, scouring the earth, and he's just chilling in his backyard.
Where do you think he stashed his outfit? You know, the
Well,
mask.
that's got to be under. Don't you assume that was just in the trunk of the car?
That's probably long gone, right?
Because he was driving down to Houston. So
Probably in the Missouri River.
I think it might be in an evidence locker.
An
I do
evidence
think he
locker?
could live an entire new life as a different superfan, just as long as he never took his
Absolutely.
I mean,
his
he was
face
doing
off.
good for a
Maybe
minute
he's
there.
in Las Vegas. That would be like no one would guess
Fits
that.
in with the Raiders.
Absolutely.
Criminals,
That would
trashy. Fan.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know. That would be like switching it up, going with the enemy. I don't know if he would do all that.
He's got to lay low.
That's the
I
last
mean,
place
no
you
one-
look for
yeah,
him.
you
A
would
Chiefs
not.
super
You know
fan
what?
you would not expect living
Now that
in
I'm
Las
Cheering
Vegas.
for the Raiders. Absolutely.
Now that I said it out loud, that's the perfect place to go.
Yeah.
Raider Nation.
We made it very clear. He is welcome on the show anytime.
So look for
We will
him.
not disclose his location.
In
So
black and
if
silver.
you're listening, go ahead or call from a burner phone and
Yeah.
let us know.
What's
Do
the?
they still sell burner phones? Can
I
you
don't
just
know.
go pick up like one that just has minutes on it?
I feel like
I
you
think you can
yeah.
buy prepaid
Station.
phones or whatever.
At the gas station.
We watch a lot of true crime. I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like you could get one.
Yeah.
Easily.
Easy.
Just hit up a guy.
Just go on Twitter.
I don't think you need a guy. I think you honestly can just go to the store.
I think
I
go to
think-
the 7-Eleven.
Your guy is the clerk at Quick
I think so.
Does Quick Trip sell them?
Probably.
I think
The
so.
Quick
don't
Trip
know.
sells everything.
I just feel like
Yeah.
we need a code word for Chiefs like to reach out to you guys if he does want to call in and be on the show.
I'm sure you guys would love the sit-down interview at 41, but we would love the phone. For us, phone interview.
You want the exclusive.
Phone interview exclusive.
Absolutely.
Phone interview would be a little more safe, I think.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
in
'cause he
studio
can
is a
call
problem
from
because then
wherever.
I have to call the police.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I know where you are, I have to call the cops,
gosh,
don't I?
Is that like a
And
moral?
at that point, am I
that's
not
ethical? Yeah.
Well, you're in the news. Isn't it like harboring a criminal at that point?
I don't know.
I mean,
technically,
let's
you'd just
get
be interviewing
technical,
him.
I don't know.
Is that yeah?
Hmm.
Is an interview?
What
like,
if you just played
aiding
the
and
fifth?
abetting?
You know what? Let's call the lawyer. What's his name? Nathan.
Nathan.
You need to call Nathan back.
What kind of law did he say he practiced?
Tenant.
It's
Yeah.
Oh, see, it's a stay. You know, overstaying your welcome.
He could let us know if he's staying in someone's house,
Yeah.
like what the I don't know
What
the
his
legal,
legal
yeah.
rights are.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like if he shows up in studio, do I have to report him
I
to the
think so.
feds that
Nathan.
he's here?
I think
I
so.
would think I would have to.
Legally and ethically, I feel like are two very different things.
And in journalism, we get, we'll just for that day, only that day, we'll call ourselves journalists on this show because that gives you a little more flexibility. The whole it does. It gives you a little more flexibility in the,
Yeah.
talking to criminals part of things.
I have to ask, what would be your first question for him if you
Right?
brought him on the show? Or,
He's
even
sitting
if
right
he
here.
called in. If he called in or was sitting here in our spot, like, what is the first question you would ask?
Okay, so
Why
hey,
did you
I'm
run?
Chiefsaholic.
Why did you run? I mean, that's the first question. Why did you run?
It
'Cause
would
I
be
want-
like, why'd you do it?
Well, I think
Why did you rob? Like, did you
question
rob?
two is
did
like,
you
did
rob
you
the
rob
bank?
other banks?
Right.
Yeah.
Because where did he get all that money is a very real question.
Well, I would be like, what are you gonna do with the money?
Go to the games. He's betting on the games and going to the games.
That's right. It did happen.
The Chiefs are a really popular team. If you didn't know that, it's expensive to go.
I know. Well,
But now he's going to have to go to the Raiders games, and that's probably more expensive. Allegiant Stadium, Vegas.
Thanks to you guys for coming in studio. This was a ton of fun. Dacia Jones, Mackenzie Nelson, Cody's wife Emma, Club 610.
let's get it.
It's open.
It is definitely
Open
wide
for
open.
business.
It's open.
We'll
be
have to
back.
have a follow-up. We're going to have a follow-up visit and find out what happened with the two gentlemen who left
Okay.
their numbers.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Get an update on that. Hope everybody has a
You guys
great
want to hire us
weekend.
as a bouncer here?
Right?
I think we should be here all the time.
I agree.
We do need bouncers.
Have
Need
a great
doorman.
weekend.
Deja will tackle him.
We'll talk to you
Yeah, I
guys on
will.
Monday.
Cody and Gold brought to